Hello, folks. Welcome back on this April Fool's Day, April 1st. Yeah, disclaimer, I'm not into the whole April Fool's thing, so yeah, please don't troll me more than usual. It comes down to it. Oh, it's a different opener today. Interesting.
É isso aqui mesmo, então. Vamos lá, pessoal. Boa tarde. Sejam todos bem-vindos à nossa transmissão.
And I wish there's translations. Okay, yeah. Today is day 7 of CD, Circuito Desafiante. It is an interesting one too because of the way the standings are broken down. So, currently as it stands, most of the teams have already, like, today will be the last day of the third round. So after today, every single team will have played 3 matches. And the teams we're getting today are VKS Academy, Flamengo, Rats, and Kaboom. And just coincidentally, it so happens that those 4 teams are all neck and neck in the standings right now, with 1 win apiece and 1 loss apiece. That's super interesting, actually, that they're going to be playing today, because that will kind of sort out most of the teams into 4 tiers at this point. 3-0, 2-1, 1-2, 0-3s. The teams themselves, it's actually quite a wide spread of how we got here. Kaboom, for example, probably should be more of a 2-0 team or 2-1 team. They are the only team to take a game off of Corinthians right now. So, yeah. They are a good team. They're a strong team. Very much so. But because they had the misfortune, I guess, of matching up against Corinthians, they've dropped the game. That said, when they went up against VKS Academy, they also dropped the game. So right now they are a rather inconsistent team, but still a team that I think should be a top 3 team without any doubt. Kind of just need to stop trolling a little bit and they'll be fine. Up against them is Rats, who is kind of on the other end of the spectrum. If we're looking at Kaboom as like a top team, then Rats is probably a bit of a question mark team. They are one comes off of Rise Gaming, who right now don't look like they know what's going on. Rise is looking rather lost. So, yeah. And Rats had their own little set of issues as well, including benching Burrow, who was a big part of, like, the founder of the team, effectively. So, yeah, they're kind of having their own set of issues right now. Yeah, they had Soweto actually subbing in as AD carry, which I think tells you a lot about the situation they're in. Interestingly enough, when I hover it, it's showing Beanie as their new AD carry, but when I click on their Leaguepedia team, it's not showing Beanie. It's still showing Guerrero and showing Soweto simply. So I wonder if Beanie will be starting today. They're the one roster that doesn't seem to have quite settled down what's going on. I think Beanie was like, he's a solid tier 2 AD carry. Might struggle a little bit against some of the teams. And against, well, Skuro, he has traditionally not had a particularly good time. And then we also have, of course, VKS Academy versus Flamengo. Kate Stars Academy, we talk about inconsistency. They're another incredibly inconsistent team. You look at this team, and on paper, they should do really well in Tier 2. And Smalley should be utterly dominant. Smalley has been kind of inconsistent, but I really think it's the rest of the team as well. Sarulu especially has been very, very hit or miss. When he's good, he's really good. They take games off at Kaboom. When they're bad, they just look kind of messed up. So, yeah. Kate Stars will be up against Flamengo. Oh, I just realized. The partner of Red Dragon? That's cool. I like Red Dragon. I actually used their peripherals myself. My keyboard and my mouse are from Red Dragon. I've heard that they were big in Brazil before when I was looking them up, so that's cool. Yeah, Flamengo, though, they're another really strong team. They and Kaboom, to me, are probably the number 2, number 3 teams. I haven't quite figured out who's number 2 and number 3. I'm slightly favoring Kaboom, I think, in the head-to-head right now. But I think Flamengo is much more consistent than Kaboom, which is interesting. Flamengo has also really impressed me. Their macro has probably been the cleanest out of all the teams so far. Oh, well. Them and Corinthians are the 2 cleanest, I think, macro-wise. So, yeah. And going up against Kate Stars Academy. Yeah. Flamengo also are unfortunately 1-1 right now. Same problem as what happened to Kaboom. They met Corinthians early. Corinthians actually kind of had an incredibly hard schedule for their first week. But they won, and I think those were the two toughest teams. Facing them early is probably actually a good thing before Kaboom kind of settles down. I think once Kaboom settles down, then it gets it's actually going to get much tougher for teams to start trying to beat that team. Yeah, because I think Kaboom is more just inconsistency and that's a little bit messy. It looks like once again the schedule is reversed from what's showing on Wikipedia. So we're opening with Kaboom Rats, it looks like.
Nessa primeira série, eu acho que o time da Kabum e DL, né, até por todo o elenco e tudo mais, tende a
And this one, yeah, I'm really looking at Rats trying to punch up right now. Like I said, despite the fact that all these teams are 1-1, I don't feel like they're at all equivalent. I do think there's definitely a gradient here on the 1-1 curve. Yeah, and again, the fact that Flamengo and Kaboom are here, this is why I actually personally kind of like round robin. In regular season, that is, I should specify. And I especially like double round robin. I like the old format that we used to have. Because it creates situations where you get these where kind of the week to week matters, you know, and can create some interesting situations. But at the same time, it doesn't you don't get the elimination match where like two top teams face each other and one gets knocked out sort of deal, right? Like there's chances, there's ways to get back in. Yeah, all the Kaboom portraits are there. That's cool. Literally every single person on that roster has had tier 1 experience at some point. Skuro is probably the least. I haven't talked too much about their coaching staff, Ranger and Medina. But, I mean, Ranger is obviously super well known. I actually don't know Medina that well, but the name sounds familiar. Rat still doesn't have the pictures. And yeah, it looks like Beanie's starting today. Okay. That's cool. That's good. I'm happy about that. This is the team actually I'm looking at for Nefuri. Like I was talking about yesterday, because we did see Nefuri in both series yesterday. That if there was a team, was a jungler specifically in Brazil who I feel like would probably fit the style of Nefuri the best, based on what I've seen, it's probably Drake Hero. AC was the other one, but I don't know what happened to AC. So yeah. Oh, Medina used to coach Los Grandes. Okay, that's where the name sounds somewhat familiar. Oh, interesting. This last bit under Dion Ray. Oh, and here we go again. They've done the draft off screen, and it is in unfortunately roll order once again. I kind of low-key give up at this point. I don't know why they keep doing this, but here we are. Super interesting to me right away, like even before because I don't know draft order necessarily. Maybe I'll try and figure it out later, but right away what catches my eye is Darius Jungle. That's a thing that was happening a little bit in solo queue. It struggles in comp quite a lot because Darius just has problems getting actually into the fight. I mean, pairing it with something like a Rel is probably ideal. You Magnet Storm them in, Darius actually gets to get in there and do damage. The big concern, of course, with the Darius jungle, with this comp is lack of engage. I think that's probably, again, the biggest worm. I don't know why the split, we're seeing so many problems with the lack of like full-on engage. They're just relying on Rel as the primary engage on this team, which is, it's okay. But I really feel like champions like Alistar and Rel, they are not the same as like Leona, Nautilus, or Rakan. Like those are the hard engage champions. These champions are almost like secondary engage ideally. We've seen a lot of Rels be primary engage for teams, and like we said before, Brazil is particularly good at it, but nevertheless, yeah, it's tough. It's risky. Okay. And Bessa. There's some really good skilling on Rats' side actually. I kind of like it. You're not trying to throw hands right from the get-go and trying to like outplay the other team. If the game goes long enough, Rats should win. Kaboom is a much more early mid-game oriented team with the Xinjiao, the Rumble. I also really hate these two champions together, by the way. Like, I just think it's terrible. I've seen way too many times. Equalizer comes across, starts the fight, Xinjiao just knocks them out with the Equalizer. And then you just kind of wasted their ultimates, both of them, in a way. So, not a fan of that. Very meta, very flexible composition. They'll do decently well in team fights. What I kind of like about it is that they're not totally melee. Xinjiao's melee, Nautilus is somewhat melee, though he can peel back. And especially to Darius, that's going to be kind of important. They have enough CC to deal with it. Yeah, I'm going to give this comp like a 2.5. You got meta champions, good for you, but I don't really like it. I think there's not a lot of innate synergy. Xinjiao, Ari can be lane dominant, but once you get out of lane, they don't have a lot of synergy. Rumble, Xinjiao have anti-synergy. I mean, Varus, Nautilus, Rumble together, sure, they have synergy. Varus, this could be on-hit Varus, actually, for this particular comp. I almost feel like on-hit would be better. You're not really going to win the poke fight against Rats, so you might as well go for, like, all-in. And also, you need a way to deal with Mbessa and Darius, and if you go poke Varus, yeah, you're not going to be able to burst those guys down. I sincerely doubt you're even going to be able to poke them down. This comp, on the other hand, again, not a ton of innate synergy necessarily, but a lot of agency. What I do like is I'm not seeing anti-synergy necessarily. All of these champions will provide a ton of peel for the Ezreal. Ezreal himself has a ton of peel as well, and besides the Ahri chasing in, they don't have great ways to deal with it. Ahri also will have to be creative. She's not going to be able to run through the front door against these champions, and Talia is great against her in team fights in terms of controlling her zoning and positioning. Yeah, like I said, the Darius Rel is probably a great combo together. I think Mbessa should be able to win on the side lane later. Yeah, I think this comp is much, much better. The only concern I might have is sort of the early game a little bit. They don't really have a winning lane at all. Maybe you could argue that the jungle is sort of a winning lane, but I think the CC is going to really mess up the Darius. So, yeah, I still do favor the Rat draft. I don't know if they can actually like, execute on it being the big issue for them. Okay, draft-wise, though, what is interesting? Okay, pretty meta bans. Sejuani made it through the first pick phase, which instantly means that either Mbessa or Darius came in the second pick phase. Either of them could be, because traditionally you think of them as junglers. And then on this side, mid and support. So, yeah, it's 4-5. I'm actually curious how they got both Rumble and Varus on blue side. That's kind of crazy that the other side didn't try and stop that. Huh. Super, super weird. Yeah, then this side's a lot harder to tell like what the pick order was. I mean, my personal assumption is 1, 2, and then probably 3 on the Darius, and the Darius flex into jungle. And then we probably saw 4-5 is my guess. Yeah, that's probably my guess. I don't know. Either way, I feel like Kaboom, they drafted for what they wanted, and that's fine. Their individual strength has been very, very strong anyways. So, actually, have they been the strongest laning team? The problem is their stats are a little bit skewed because of their games against Corinthians. Like, Corinthians messes up all the stats for any team that's played against them. So, okay. Yeah, that's not bad, actually. The spread actually isn't that great either. Dopamina is like the one exception. Their laning has been the worst, but I think a lot of it's also like who they're facing and stuff like that. So, ooh, interesting. We're seeing an invade come through already. I don't know if they spotted the invade. But Rats could probably just assume that they got counter-invaded because they chased Skuro so deep. There's like a 50-50 chance that Kaboom probably match counter-invade on the other side. Even if they didn't actually spot that. I think Circuito might have been in the area, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, both Xin Zhao and Darius starting on the same side of the map. That's actually super interesting to me. Because Xin Zhao is one of the early game junglers that's kind of known for his ability to gank and win out a lot of the skirmishes that he picks early. But Darius would actually win the 1v1. So, yeah. C's, I think, would almost want to avoid facing Drake Hero early on. Like, you want to gank, but you don't want to gank a 3v3. Like, you want to gank away from Drake Hero. Drake Hero's not running Ghost. We've seen a lot of jungle Darius's run Ghost, or not we've seen, but in solo queue, the more common summoner, mobility summoner tends to be Ghost. You just run people down. No teleports on the Ezreal, just barriers for both AD carries, ignites on both sides. So no exhaust. Interesting. Yeah, matched summoners on both sides.
nessa primeira passagem, digamos assim, na selva, ele realmente deve fazer o full clear. Ele ainda não tem tantas ferramentas assim, então o gank dele ainda não é tão poderoso. E a
If I recall correctly, Beanie actually went to LOA for a bit.
que é um
So.
item barato que vai dar pra ele esse move speed por conta da sua ativa
Yeah.
e
The LA,
aí sim, a gente pode ver
interestingly enough, I was actually looking, because I was looking up Ganks, who's going to be the new jungler for W3D2, and I feel like LA has got some interesting roles, but the AD carry role feels sparse compared to Brazil. They have some good mid and jungles. Those feel like the lanes that they generally tend to create talent in. And then the top laners tend to be imports. I feel like Brazil did that for a little bit too, where they imported quite a few top laners, but then more recently we've been using more domestic top laners. Which is fine. I think Brazil has talent in the top lane role. At least for the laning side of it. Okay, Skrull is running Comet though, so he might be going Pope, which I'm not a super huge fan of in this situation, but we'll see. They do have a lot of damage, they just don't feel like they've got a lot of sustained damage. It's like a lot of burst damage. That's actually pretty key, that Drake Hero gets that Scuttle without contest. Because it makes the other Scuttle a lot riskier now. Like I said, C's does not actually want to fight Drake Hero 1v1. Yeah, okay. I was building him out. Maybe? Oh. Surely, okay, yeah. I was like, surely Drake Hero doesn't go in on this when how's his prio? Even if C's can't handle him, House certainly can.
Depois quase se encontraram na parte de cima do rio também, então vai ser muito importante essa dinâmica dos dois caçadores para
Damage is sneaking in those hooks.
A rota inferior, né, que tem esses dois de lado tem Nautilus, do outro lado tem Hell, então tudo que
Crossdale versus Damage is like an old matchup, man. I feel like the last time I saw this, Crossdale probably wasn't even the support for that team. Yeah, he was the mid laner, and unfortunately, he lost the support war. He just got melted right there on the rail. Dang. That's so unfortunate too. Beanie's been doing a phenomenal job actually winning out this bot lane, and then just like that, it got flipped. First blood onto the Varus. Yikes. And if it is poke Varus, I expect that to continue being the case, because Rel's resistances get stacked up as she gets the auto attack, so against poke, she is vulnerable.
E aí, como é um Varus que vem com cometa, um Varus de letalidade, ele tem realmente esse burst nesse início de jogo, apesar de ainda não estar tão bem itemizado, mas sai com esse First Blood, já volta aí pra rota com duas espadas longas. Já
already you're seeing pretty much gold leads in every single role, except for jungle.
E falando em acelerar aqui, a gente já vê as movimentações por parte da equipe.
500 looks like a lot at 5.5 minutes, but because it's so spread out, it's not anything meaningful, right? Duran's items are 400 gold.
Tomou controle de grupo aqui,
Like a longsword's 300.
Da Reds tem que se atentar bastante, mas que estão atentos e querem também jogar um pouco mais ao redor desse controle de visão, porque o pessoal da Reds já tá indicando que vão começar esse dragão.
Okay. Drake Hero smiting early. They force the flash out of Linkus. This is risky for Rats. They might have just leashed it. I think a lot of it depends on Skuro. Is Skuro moving? Yeah, there we go. If Skuro doesn't move because he was clearing out that wave, then Rats is fine. Yeah. Neither team really wants to start this out early. Dragons do quite a lot of damage. So whoever's tanking it is going to be the one in trouble. One of the big reasons why we often see the grubs being started first instead. In a contested situation, it's much easier to sneak away one grub and just reset the fight. Whereas dragons all or nothing, so. Oh. Cheeky from her. And he just rotates right into the grubs. Really, really nice. Yo, Orbital. How you doing, buddy? Oh, Crossmail is getting bodied again. Not Crossmail. Wow, that barrier from Skuro felt really late. What is he worried about? Maybe a misclick, perhaps. Thought he had a heal or something so he could run them down. Did you buy your soundproofing yet, Orbital? Yeah. Where's House? House bot lane. They are... Okay, this feels a little bit greedy, but... Yeah. Yeah, okay. House screwed up. House screwed up. Damn. Damn, that Triumph proc! Oh my... Okay, that Triumph proc was all that saved off. House actually screwed that up. Like, he missed the charm, and he still was aggroing the turret there. That's so risky. And also, we had said before that Drake Hero is winning against Seas in the 1v1 because it's a Darius. It's level 6, even worse now. Because House ganked bot, Seas is paying the price now. He has 0 backup, and so Drake Hero gets to invade with mid pressure. And he's going to fall further behind. This Xinjiao is just support Xinjiao at this point. Just press R and try and hold away range damage from BD and Linkas. Although you found a few that you want. You spring for the big stuff around maybe $400 to $500 worth. Okay. Fancy, fancy. Yeah, I looked at soundproofing panels in the past, and I didn't really feel like, I don't know, like I didn't feel confident about it, the panel stuff. I don't know if you're getting the panels. I've seen like the tents as well now. They're like tent ones that you basically set up inside, which is supposed to be better. But I heard those are really, really stuffy, so yeah. Yeah, they're soundproofing some damping? Okay. I do not know the difference. Oh! The flashes. I mean, at least he gets the blue buff. Oh, oh, Chiari with the ult. Okay, this top lane fight's actually really tense. Like, Kirin and Chiari are both actively looking for kills right now. It's actually... Okay, so it's unfavorable for Rumble, but his base damages are higher, so he's winning lane with it. But it's so much harder to land his ultimate than the Mbessa ult. So, yeah. I think he's winning mostly just because the shield gives him slightly better sustain than Mbessa right now. Mbessa's on the vamp doesn't do anything. Yeah. So what's the difference between soundproofing and sound dampening? Is soundproofing completely blocking and then sound dampening just makes it softer? Is that the difference between them? Proofing is basically blocking sound from bouncing. Dampening is to stop it from going through walls. Huh. Okay. Oh no. I like that call from Hirit. It feels a bit like a waste of teleport, but if he tried to recall, he dies. There's a lot of members of Rats up there. It's actually pretty good macro from Rats so far. Low-key impressed. Maybe it was because of their rotating AD carry that it felt like they couldn't quite connect prior to this. I mean, they like flashes of brilliance, but yeah. Like, I'm liking this lane swap to try and get top lane turret. Because they lost all 3 grubs, they lost dragon, they're not getting control. You might as well try and mismatch as much as possible. Old school lane swap. Sound damping is like reconstructing walls and stuff? Wait, what? So you have to rebuild the wall? That sounds really expensive, man. Like, oh, it's done with installation? Like, oh, so like the sound panels is actually sound dampening, right? Yeah.
E ó, é no momento em que faltam 15 segundos pro início das vacilarras, professor. Primeiro item fechado. E agora sim, o time da Reds parece estar num bom momento pra comprar essas brigas, até porque o Chiari também já fechou o seu primeiro item.
É, aqui a gente vai ver que é um momento interessante pro pessoal da Reds lutar por conta desses spikes de primeiros itens, mas eu acho que o pessoal da Cabo não...
Second grub spawn. Rats are right in position for it, but they have no vision. I'm curious if Kaboom actually go in contest with this. I mean, they do have the rumble on this side of the map. Yeah, there we go. Yep, we kick it off and Equalizer comes across. Beautiful. This is like the strong point. This is why you want rumble. This is what you need to abuse. Yeah. Rats actually gets a second grub. They really committed to trying to get the grubs. You trade 2 kills for, well, 1 kill, I guess, because it's 2 for 1 and grubs. That's a choice from Rats. I'm actually curious if that was worth it for them, because at the same time, I don't look at Kaboom's comp as being a particularly good split push comp anyways. So giving them the grubs early is really just the early plates, and then beyond that, it's kind of okay, I think. Or maybe they really want it for Chiari split pushing, but 2 doesn't feel that impactful, to be honest. Overall, I think there's new kinds you can do, but don't know right now. It's just shopping around. Fair enough, yeah. Are you still casting every day? Is your schedule still like completely packed? Kind of feel bad for a neighbor if that's the case. Yeah. Like Chiari and Costream were just instructed to be distractions, and then you can see the focus here still on the grubs. They had to burn some flash even on Beanie though, on the Ezreal. We'll see if that comes back to bite them. I don't feel like there's a need, like burning these early flashes at this point in the game, probably not the end of the world. We're not going to see that many like fights or necessary fights. And it's still kind of hard to gank Ezreal anyways. We're already seeing them rotate into the mid lane, so yeah.
E, Andrezinho, é uma coisa que a gente acaba vendo bastante, justamente aquele carinho pra execução das jogadas. A gente pede isso, né? E é uma coisa que faltou aqui, mas a gente tá vendo que o pessoal da Reds pelo menos tá indo pra cima, tá buscando o jogo.
Hero secures it. Oh wow, sees with the flash for the engage, dang. He really wants that. I mean, kind of worked. He still has Crescent Guard too, by the way. It's too late. It didn't matter. His team got forced out. Unless it's a 2 for 2 so far. Okay, Kaboom wins that because Rats had to full commit. They used the TP on Chiari to get him there. Meanwhile, here it's just split pushing bot and should probably get another plate at least, maybe 2. Ultra Kaboom. Oh wow, never mind. They're not getting an extra plate. They're going straight for the potential kill. Oh, that was really nice from Chiari. I think he dies anyways, yeah. I really like the ult from Chiari to try and get out. He still dies, but yeah. It was worth the shot.
E foi uma eliminação bem importante agora. O Drake Hero vai chegando, vai tentar cobrar alguém.
Oh, nice dodge. House is dead then. I really don't like that flash from House. You are never going to get out. What a waste of flash.
Agora sim, né? Uma boa chegada do Darius, do Drake Hero, que a gente tá vendo que nessa última luta foi
I think House, not House, Kaboom as a whole was a little bit disconnected on display. Like, C's going in, wants to find more. But the team was getting zoned off by the Ambessa. Like, maybe they didn't quite communicate that properly, so C's ended up being just left to dry. Yeah, top ends up actually being pretty even for the trade because they did manage to find House at the end of it. And they got the flash off. Like, same thing with the Ahri as with the Ezreal. Though Ahri's got more repositioning with the Spirit Rush, I guess. I kind of see Beanie a little bit more in these fights. Because last week when we saw Rats play, they played with Soweto, who's actually a jungler, who's role swapped to top and now AD carry in his tier 2 life. Oh, there's no equalizer here. Here it's in a tough spot. Oh, nice. The CC chain is nice. That's so good. Oh, the chains of corruptions came in at the perfect time too. Like the chains of corruptions caught 2 under turret and they just ate the whole thing. Yeah, Kaboom's just doing more with less this entire game so far. Like, Rats are... I'm not even saying Rats are like doing the wrong call necessarily. Like, they are getting bodies into the fight. They are rotating and they're looking for the dives. But Kaboom is just kind of outplaying them a little bit with less resources. So like, this is a 4-man dive, right, from Rats. They commit a lot of resources here. But Kaboom answers it with just 3 people. Oh, hear it. That was really nice. And Chains Corruption right here. Catching Chiari as well as Krasimel. Woo. 2 for 1 with less resources and first break to boot. Because that was happening, it allowed the push to come through from C's and House. Yeah, the gold's starting to stack a little bit. It's not huge yet, but it's stacking.
7 eliminações. Então esse Varus aqui tá numa velocidade absurda, uma flecha.
Yeah, but when they played with Soweto Rats last week, they actually still won the lane. So I'm kind of curious to see how Beanie plays this out. I don't expect him to be able to beat Skuro by any means. Skuro's 7-0 right now. Like, this Varus is an absolute monster. Oh, 8-0. Yet another type. His Chains of Corruptions have been absolutely on point. It's gorgeous. Rats are actually really lucky that he's going the Mirror Mana Ghostblade build. Because until that Mana Immune becomes a Mirror Mana, he's actually at a power trough. Once that converts, Rats are really going to hate their life. Drake Hero went lethality too for the first item. I get why he did it. He wants movement speed from the active. That also means he's very, very, very squishy. And then Chiari Eclipse is not that tanky alone, and his second item is not a defensive item either. So the poke's going to be very effective. Interesting choice from Rats, actually, that they chose to do that.
Tanta movimentação no mapa, precisa de jogo muito mais proativo. Acho que a Thalia ela não encaixou muito bem. Se você quer jogar com esse Zambese, eu acho que talvez alguma coisa que pudesse posicionar pouco mais, ter setup melhor para esse Darius jogar.
I think I'm looking at Linkus for Rats to try and salvage this situation here a little bit.
É o cara que tá estreando aqui para a equipe da Reds.
Because if Linkus doesn't find ways to get ganks off, I think they just lose pound for pound most of the trades. And they need to engage too. Rats can't sit back. Originally, I didn't think their poke should be better on paper, but right now, Beanie is still weak. And Skuro got heavily accelerated. Sneaky try. They were trying to cut off and catch somebody in that choke point. Yeah. Top lane outer's down as well. It's only the mid outer with the Herald charge. It's kind of low. I don't think it's really defensible for Rats. Yeah, with Herald here, it's so risky. Equalizer should be up on the next wave, so I think Beanie just has to back off. Yeah. That's fine. Oh, the hook lands. You can tell they weren't ready for that. The follow-up wasn't there. They barely got in range. Nice, nice. That's kind of funny to me.
O Escuro tava na melhor das posições para aquele. Ele não tava esperando que realmente o Beanie fosse abatido. Vacilo que acaba quebrando o tempo de mapa. Gastou a barreira com uma Legolas, pontuou aqui. Mas ainda assim, sem se purificar, você não vai escapar.
Yeah, he already gets the turret at least. I guess that's where the damage build's coming in handy a little bit. I kind of like Drake Hero's Darius. The way he's playing the Darius, it's really aggressive. I like it, but I just still think this is not the comp to really let Drake Hero shine with it.
Carga de profundidade, que é point and click, então fica pouco mais difícil de fugir de fato. E aí pode ter sido isso, né? Ele só não queria de fato gastar mais recursos e acabar sendo eliminado do mesmo jeito.
That should be ruinous Asakan.
3k de ouro em favor do time da Kabum. Atacan vivo e o próximo dragão vindo aí pode ser ponto de alta.
Okay, yeah, Kabum's playing really nicely today. Like, they're actually setting up well. A lot of the early game was Kabum kind of outplaying Rats more than like great macro setup. Like, they just were better mechanically and they were outplaying in defensive ways. So they weren't tracking necessarily where Drake Hero was. They just were able to answer the dives. But their mid game has been very nice. The way they're setting up vision and rotating to objectives, the way they're setting up for each play, yeah. Like this 4-1 that we're seeing right now, very, very clean. My only complaint, if anything, is that they invested so heavily on this top side, but they're not going to be able to play for it because Dragon and Atsukan are bot side. But that's like a really minor thing. Yeah, I think they would have been better off doing the exact play they made up here instead of 4-1 like this. It probably should have been 4-1 like this instead. And then they actually get to defend their investment in vision. You can just pick up Dragon on a wave.
Eu falei dos objetivos, ponto de alma agora pro time da Kabum e DL que vai pra esse atacante.
Oh, Rats want to contest this. Okay. Gary's actually teleporting the mid lane. I don't know. I feel like it's gone by then. Like, I don't think you can contest this. Yeah, just go for the mid push instead. There we go.
honestamente eles nem vão tentar contestar, porque o ataque já foi eliminado e o Sizzy vai crescer ainda mais com as suas rosetas.
Rats are actually keeping this pretty close gold-wise, surprisingly.
Já lançou um inglêsão, agora tá no espanhol, realmente. Aprenda. É o professor, não tem jeito.
Pois é, fala português, inglês e...
And Trigero's taking everything on the bot side again.
Caraca, a adaptação
Jeez.
foi maravilhosa.
Eu gostei, né? Eu falei
Você tá
assim,
de
calma
parabéns.
lá, né? Vamos ver o que ele vai falar, mas não, ele tá...
Oh no,
O
Seas.
poliglota, mas aqui dentro do Rift a gente tem o troglodita. É o Sizzy indo pra cima da galera.
Ok.
E lá do outro lado o House tenta parar a flecha da rapaziada. Tem a aproximação do Link, já lançou aquele paredão e mais mesmo
They keep chasing?
assim, tem a eliminação pra cima do Crash.
House has one more dash.
Tenta fugir. Tem a aproximação da galera. Tentou.
Oh, oh, max damage too.
Eliminado.
Yeah, there we go. The TP from here, it's beautiful.
Queimando geral.
It's a slaughter.
Do outro lado, Chiari também cai. Sobra apenas o Drake Hero.
Did Hero need to flash? Maybe not, but
Sobra
it looked cool.
mais.
It's an ace.
Pro time da Kabum.
So clean from
E
Kabum.
Lágolas, você tava
So clean.
perguntando o que pode fazer o time da Red
Like, I thought Seas was inting for a second on the engage. I was like, brother?
É, tem que rezar muito.
But he's just that confident on his team. And Equalizer is such a long range that he's confident in being able to do that.
Muito à frente.
Yeah, nice choke point.
Perceber que o Sizzy tava sem medo nenhum de se jogar
I love that
frente
here it
dos
uses, like,
adversários, até
basically a
porque
two-screen
do outro
teleport.
lado não tem nenhum campeão que
Like, right here, he walks up and then he decides to teleport down instead.
confiou que tinha seu ultimate. Os seus
The
times
cutoff ended up, like, there's nowhere for Rats to go. There's members here, here, and here. The only way you can run is that way, but if you're going into the jungle, where are you going to get out?
também tem muito dano, mas nesse ponto do jogo, ninguém aparece
The gold lead wasn't even that big either at that point.
oferecer nenhum tipo de resistência pro time da Kabum.
Like, it's maybe half an item across most of the members, but yeah, this is what I mean by Kaboom is just out-handsing right now. They make small gold leads feel so much bigger, but they just play the fights really, really, really well. Yeah. I'm still not a huge fan of your composition necessarily, but I do think that it plays well to their strengths. Everybody can kind of do their own thing. Like, any configuration of 3 would be really deadly.
A gente vê, olha a jogada que teve que ser feita agora. Foi a ultimate do Bini pra tirar o limiar do escuro e tentar utilizar a ultimate da Ambessa pra rolar essa iniciação. Então, esses engages dessa forma que você é extremamente forçado.
Famoso desespero.
Não há o que ser
And
feito nesse
Skuro's
ponto aqui.
10-0-4 right now. Holy. Untouchable.
Segurar os pontos pra fechar a partida.
É, setup de
Vil
iniciação
Knight picked up as well, so he
e
can
raiz,
block one
você só
spell.
tem a Rel. E é isso, né? Mas você tem uma composição de curto alcance do lado da Reds contra uma composição
That's an outer for an
que vai te
inner.
dar outrange e vai te
And
puxar,
Kaboom's
né?
siege
E
continues.
tem bastante controle de grupo também, o que é mais importante. Então, pro
Okay,
time da Reds agora
Linkus is
tá
TPing
bem
in.
complicado. A Kabum
From
vem
this angle, you
com
can look for the cut for the Weaver's wall, but I think it might not matter. Kaboom already take your turret, so yeah, it's already a wipe.
Jogado de lado e já tem eliminação pra cima do Crash. A galera da Kabum continua chegando. O Sizzy pode ser eliminado.
Okay, sees it down. It doesn't matter. Linkus lives.
Ainda se reposiciona com flash e o time da Reds pelo menos consegue.
That's high key
Estão com um
huge.
pouco de medo aqui o pessoal da Kabum, mas eu vejo que eles tinham
If Linkus died there,
servidor aqui.
yeah, you get him for sure.
E tinham já perdido muito HP, mas o pessoal da Kabum acabou optando em justamente voltar e não ceder essa vantagem aqui, porque ceder uma vantagem nesse momento abre uma brecha pra perder um jogo que já tá praticamente...
Yeah, it's super rough for Rats, man. Kaboom's not giving them any way back in. Like, nobody's playing stupid, nobody's getting caught inside wave. They'd rather sack a turret than...
Eu acho que esse é o gap, Lágolas, que às vezes diferencia
Yeah.
um time que tá subindo
Was it
de uma
cut your
base
flesh?
mediano pra muito bom e disputar
Shatter your
altos
bone?
campeonatos,
Sort of deal?
Mas a gente tá vendo que nessa partida aqui, eles não estão deixando nem o pessoal da Reds respirar, porque olha o gráfico de ouro.
É, só crescente pro time da Kabum IDL. A gente tem uma leve decrescida ali, que foi uma neutralização em uma das lutas, mas de fato é um jogo...
I feel like Rats have to kind of Hail Mary this Baron. I think this is the only place, the only chance you get to turn the game.
Porque agora surgiu o Barão, então se perdessem talvez mais
Because you
peças,
don't
poderia
have
ser
open
um
inhibs right
mais
now, so you don't have supers, you're fine. Your waves will be okay, so you can do the Baron dance. But once that Baron goes down, under turret's not safe anymore. As it is, I'm not even sure under turret is safe, right? And there's a lot of burst potential to come through.
Novamente, eu acho que eles vão tentar aproveitar, Andrezinho, justamente desses pontos aqui com a ultimate do Chiari. Mas será que se o Chiari
Wow.
ele vai conseguir
Okay, Kaboom aren't even giving them
forçar o resto
the
da
chance to look for
jogar?
a turn at Baron. Holy crap. Yeah, and here it keeps using the ult to just zone them out. Clear the wave behind, literally cut them off, and it's just a free objective every time. 3 turret every time. Damn, Kaboom are playing this so stifling. Okay, Rat's going for the Hail Mary at Baron by doing Baron? Question mark?
a galera
fazem
da
a tempo.
Kabum pra
Did they? I don't think they have enough damage.
pra fazer uma briga,
Or maybe
alguma coisa.
I mean, they do have a Darius.
Diria minha afinada avó, um beijo pra ela. E é exatamente isso que eles fazem, já vão indo pra parte de cima, tentam controlar um pouco aquela visão, e o time da Kabum ainda não se aproximou daquele objetivo. A impressão que dá é que o time da Kabum tá
Okay.
tranquilo, eles não
I
tão
think it showed in
afim
top wave, and now Kiari showed in the bot wave.
Então eles poderiam realmente ir pra cima, garantir alguma coisa e tal, mas eles também não querem deixar nenhuma coisa, nenhuma brecha, nenhuma ponta solta pro time da Reds tentar voltar. Mas por enquanto, olha esse
That's one blue
posicionamento,
trinket used by
tem
Rats.
jogador chegando ali por trás.
Oh, Skuro got caught!
Exatamente o que acontece, ele some,
Okay,
é
that's huge.
neutralizado pelo
House with a very late
Talvez
TP.
não é o melhor alvo pra ficar com essa neutralização, mas pelo menos garante a eliminação.
Okay, but here's the problem for Rats, right?
E não só isso, André.
The catch is really good.
Bolada ali de ouro.
Oh, please, Kiari, don't get caught in exchange. But how many more times do you need to catch Skuro out to make that worth it? Like, he had a 700 gold bounty. That's absolutely massive. Oh, because...
Opa, mas olha o Link sofrendo muito.
Okay, Kiari kind of got baited in there.
Tordo, e dessa vez quem some é o Hirit. Mais um
Yeah, so the question is, how many more times does Rats have to catch out individual members of Kaboom?
mais, hein?
Parece que as orações
Because even if they catch out one member, even when it's Skuro, the most fed, the richest guy on the map, the highest damage threat, they can't do Baron in the face of the other 4 members.
já tem 28 minutos.
So catching one member is not that important. If they can kill all of them at Baron or steal Baron, that would probably be worth more than the individual catches.
E principalmente, né, porque a composição do time da Kabum consegue ter setups melhores, né, muito mais fácil de ser executada.
I mean, it's good gold though. 1,000 shutdown.
Eles vão voltar
700 gold shutdown, I guess.
uma
Plus,
Interact
you know,
nas mãos
700
do
bounty.
Chiari. Então, aquela sobrevivência que você estava pedindo, professor, com esse item já começa.
Not sure who got the
a ficar
credit. I think it was
diferente, né?
Kiari, but
Chiari
yeah.
já ganha um tempo mais precioso nas lutas. Já tem também um item
At least
mais
it's still
dinâmico
Kaboom now. Kaboom.
do Drake Hero, então já fez
You can
sua
see Kaboom is now thinking twice about what they want to do.
então, para ter mais mobilidade, ter mais resistência também. Então, assim, aos poucos eles vão se encontrando, mas de fato, falta muito ainda para esse time da Reds.
Yeah, prior to this, they were just pushing up and sieging everything.
E pelo posicionamento do Crash é o que tudo indica.
Like, I was thinking they just want to push up here, get the top side inhib, or they can just 1-4 and try and get that one inhib, leave House up there. While the rest of the team pushes. Actually, they can't do that with Baron, sorry. It'd have to be a 4-1, pardon me. House to get bot side, while the rest of the team pushes up top. Threatening the inhib.
Mas por hora, você realmente ficar tirando esses coelhos da cartola várias vezes, uma hora não tem graça. Essa magia não funciona o tempo todo, e se acabam se atentar a realmente fazer com carinho essas jogadas, pode ser que não seja tão fácil, mas a gente vê que esse fator criatividade é importante e é crucial se a Reds quer se manter na partida.
O Crash tá ali, sentado na moitinha, Zé Moitinha, como já diria o Guruntá, só esperando.
Oh.
Só que o time da Kabum também tá ligado.
Okay, getting
Tentou
flash off
um
Kiari's
no meio,
big.
Acabou não conseguindo, pelo menos pescou um flash do Chiari. E eu queria destacar a presa da serpente feita pelo escuro.
Yeah, it's not equal. For Rats, you catch out Kaboom and you just basically get a little bit more pocket change. For Kaboom, they catch out any of the Rats members, it could just be Baron.
Durante a luta, se o escuro estiver vivo, eu acho que as chances da Ambessa se dar bem numa
Okay,
fight.
Skuro really wants this.
Meu
Crossmall's in prime time. This is crazy though. Crossmall's been sitting here patiently for like 30 seconds.
Opa, mas a virada
Oh.
tomando muito controle de grupo, muito
That's so
dano,
rough.
vai de base. Aquela tentativa de flanquear pode ser prejudicada, mas o damage está preso ali no meio da galera. Tem a passagem da Eucalyptus.
Damage is blowing that eye to make this happen. And now Crossmall, his secret mission got scrapped by the rest of his team because his team got caught. Crossmall was just suffering in pain.
E oblitera o time da Reds.
Seeds wants himself some IKEA meatballs.
Dessa vez ele achou o Crash e ele vai até as últimas consequências, até a base atrás dele. Persegue, meu filho. Acha, vai atrás. Tá parecendo um episódio de X-Men.
Crossmall can't go home.
Vai lá pra cima.
Man just wants to go home.
Talvez não, Andrezinho.
Surprisingly, okay, first of all, great that we didn't get to pause this game. So 31 minutes is actually 31 minutes. Nice. But this didn't feel like 31 minutes. This felt a lot smoother and faster than a lot of our other series, even though a lot of the series happened like 30-ish minutes. But it's just so smooth watching the way Kaboom played the mid game. Okay, I think whatever was happening to Kaboom in week 1 and week 2 has been resolved. Like they're looking more focused, they're playing better. That was very clean. Very, very clean. This is what I expect from this is why I kind of wish it's a second round robin, because I would love to see Kaboom face off against Corinthians again in this form. I mean, we'll get to see in playoffs, but
na
Yeah.
early game pra rota inferior, a gente viu como isso liberou o damage de
But-
rodar o mapa, a gente viu que o começo...
Yeah,
dos
it's just
objetivos
unfortunate that
tava
we had to see some of the best teams
pessoal,
go at
o
it
Gabum e o DL
early
tava
when it
disposto
felt
a
like
jogar
they
o mapa,
weren't
a gente
quite
viu que tava muito melhor,
ready
e
on
até
back and forth
muito
yet.
mais bem organizado. E falando em organização,
Uh,
a gente tá
for-
com a partida que justamente
for the side of
você vê que em
Rats,
termos de danosidades não apresentou nada.
Ai, magro,
Então,
né?
I thought Costream did pretty well. Yeah, they all did pretty decently individually. It's just not quite enough, and they're falling just a bit shy of what they needed to be able to achieve. For Kaboom, Kirit actually caught my eye. I know that his KDA was not necessarily the best, and he was the one lane that was kind of losing lane in the 1v1. But his ability to soak the early pressure, I think, was instrumental in their smooth win. The way he was able to kind of delay time, make sure that whenever he did die, he traded for more almost every single time. Screw did incredibly well as well in the bot lane. Varus absolutely busted, man. And House's Ari was pretty clutch as well. His constant flank threats were massive.
Então você já matou a charada, né? Esse é o motivo.
Inventou de ficar correndo pelo mapa, deu isso aí.
Yeah, I think any of them could take MVP for this game one. It's generally a really good series, or a good game, pardon me. I'll say series yet, from Kaboom as a whole.
Vamos ver os melhores momentos, vamos ver os melhores momentos.
Faz sentido.
E aproveita. O que foi? Vamos discutir agora?
Aí, ó, não, vai, ó, a primeira chegada aí, o dive. Que loucura, hein? Passou ali.
Yeah, this dive had me worried. If not for that Triumph proc, I think House actually goes down to Ignite there.
Seriedade, realmente mandou muito bem no jogo. Às vezes a gente vê muitos times, às vezes, quando perde com vários, quando você olha ali o status de dano, ele realmente dá muito dano e tal, mas não cumpre sua função. Esse outro lado, a gente pode falar que foi uma atuação de vários ali.
Yeah, I did like what Carry tried to pull off there. It's just, it's not enough. Better than House's weird flash when he was already dead to rights. Yeah, but this is just what I mean in general, right? Like, there was a lot of top lane focus between the two teams. But you see what Kaboom invests in the top lane, and it's like one person, two people. Then you see what Rats is investing in the top side, and it's just not worth it. Rats is losing out on those investments. But the call itself is fine. Like, the call itself is right from Rats. It's just, yeah. You're just getting out of hands and then incremental leads.
Eles não estavam conseguindo realmente achar esse encaixe.
O ponto-chave desse jogo, professor, e eu quero
Yeah.
ver se você concorda comigo, foi
Oh,
aquela
smooth
luta
game
na
one.
segunda
You
leva
love
de
to see it.
lavas, em que o time da Reds
Keep this up, and this might just be a 2-0.
legal naquele momento, primeiro item tanto para Ambessa quanto para o Darius. Só que o setup de visão acabou não sendo o melhor de todos e aí eles acabaram cedendo várias eliminações e aí também perderam uma das larvas. Eu acho que exatamente aí em que você
Actually, oh, the other thing that I actually really love about how Kaboom played this game was the way they didn't just try and rush the Baron. Like, even when they went for the Baron, you can see the priority here is not the Baron, it's actually the turn. They know that doing Baron and getting too obsessed with Baron is how you lose this game. It's the only way you lose this game. So, they didn't even go for the initial Baron, right? Like, they took their own sweet time setting it up, and then when they do, again, the whole idea is just kill the enemy team. Baron we can worry about later.
Para muitas equipes no circuito desafiante é justamente você conseguir encontrar essas janelas de engage e realmente puxar esse gatilho e criar essa jogada. Eu acho que esse era o grande momento que o pessoal da Red deveria ter essa consciência, que eles deveriam puxar o gatilho, que eles deveriam buscar essa iniciação, porque se eles deixassem o pessoal da Kabum realmente forçar essa iniciação, eles iriam perder a luta e foi o que aconteceu. Então tem que ficar um pouco mais atento, mas principalmente pro segundo jogo.
I was just thinking, like, there's not much more to say when, Kaboom plays a dark lane.
Falou em segundo jogo, a gente já sabe que o time da Reds escolheu.
I mean, it's what you expect from a roster, right? Like this, with literally all the experience.
Não tem muito o que inventar. Lado azul é o lado que para esse Fearless Draft, principalmente, ele tem
I
uma
mean,
importância
Rats
maior.
is
Então,
not a
agora
bad
a gente
team by
vai
themselves,
pra
in
equilibrar
and of
o
themselves
intervalo,
either. But
vai relaxar,
yeah.
vai se preparar
Actually, I should
pra
put
esse
Rats
jogo
above
dois,
Dopamine. I don't know why I
e
had
aí vai ficar
Dopamine
ligadinho
over
pra
Rats.
saber se o time da Reds vai conseguir esse empate ou se nós teremos um 2-0 aí pra deixar o baiano felizinho da vida.
Oh, because Dopamine beat Rat. That's why. Okay, that's why I did this initially. I was like, why did I? Every time I look at this roster for Rats, I'm like, how did I put them below
Daqui a
Dopamine?
pouco a gente volta, então não sai daí.
That's interesting. Actually, no, I still think Rats is better than Dopamine though. Yeah, Rats this game looked cleaner for sure than what they have looked prior. Even their series against Rise was actually kind of messy, So. Yeah, I do think the teams have certainly cleaned up quite a bit. Good look. Okay, so what are we looking at game 2 here? Take a quick look at what's Nefiri did not make it through the ban phase, unfortunately. I suspect Rats is gonna go blue side, and I would like for Kaboom to not ban the Nefiri actually. I would like to see Nefiri being played. So far, Nefiri has lost both her games that she was played in. Besides that, Jungle, Sidge Skarner are still the two. Sidge Skarner, Wukong. Bot lane, 80 carries. Corki is still a big one. Potentially some Jhin we might see. Kaisa, of course. Supports fairly open right now. Oh, we might see Ashe Braum. I mean, we're seeing Ashe with a lot of other things, but Ashe Braum I think is like why we ever moved away from that. I do not know. I'm not even being sarcastic with that. I actually think Ashe Braum is just the strongest 2v2 bot lane. I don't know why we aren't picking it anymore. Nothing's changed. Top side. Yeah. Okay, Jace being banned makes sense. Yeah. Maybe Rats needs to whip out something kind of crazy. I don't even know what they can kind of look for. Like, I feel like all these champions are pretty representative of the players. Like, they're all comfort champs with players. And they did get outhands. I don't know what Rats can really do. Yeah, and the way Kaboom was playing, like, you can't even try and cheese them with, like, an all-in wombo combo or anything. They played very well to make sure that they weren't grouped up and they weren't being punished. Yeah. Yeah, we just wait for game 2 to start. 2 minutes to go. All you lurkers today. I think Kaboom posted this after the game. That's funny. Girl feeling really strong about himself. Yeah. And you know what? To me, I put that a lot on Rats. Like, they let a lot of OPs through. For reasons unknown to me. Like, I don't know how you end up getting Rumble and Varus on the same side of the composition. That's kind of crazy. If blue takes one, you should be taking the other. So, yeah. I hope the second series is going to be more competitive. It should be, I think. I don't know. Flamengo is also really looking really good. Even though, like, on paper, I look at Kaboom and think Kaboom's better, but the performance we've seen from Flamengo has been smoother. So, yeah. If Kaboom is just like individual hands, Flamengo feels more like actual teamwork. Like, potentially the best teamwork we've seen so far in the split. It's early yet. I mean, we're seeing teams wake up. Kaboom's had a much better game this game. Rats has had a much better game today. Even though they've got a win over Rise, like, this today looks much better than their win over Rise, despite their loss. I'm gonna lower my table, so apologies if it starts making weird noises. Yeah, standing and kind of tired after standing. I was working on stuff earlier before the stream started in a standing disposition because I try not to sit for too long. But yeah. Yeah, waiting for the
Agora
signal to
sim,
talk.
já estamos de volta com o Circuitão para esse nosso segundo jogo da série entre Kabum e DL e Reds. O time da Kabum conseguiu a vitória nesse primeiro game e agora a gente tem esse game 2. O time da Reds escolheu
One
o lado
nice thing about
azul, então
co-streaming
vamos ver
compared to
como vai ser
casting.
esse
If I'm
draft,
casting,
professor.
I
E
kind of
principalmente
can't
como é que
say,
vai ser
or
essa
it's
estruturação, já
not a
que
good idea to
nesse
say that.
primeiro
Oh,
jogo, né, você ter seu
well, one team is
objetivo
completely
em
screwed.
relação
There's no
à
chance for them to make a
composição,
comeback.
principalmente em relação à
When I'm
facilidade
coaching,
ou,
I can
na
say that.
verdade, a
And
falta dela de execução.
honestly, that's
pra-
kind of how I
pra
feel
primeira
right
partida.
now.
Era uma composição que era bem difícil de você conseguir executar, dependia de muitos momentos, mas novamente, acho que a proatividade também é um
Like if
fator
Kaboom play the way they do,
importante. O
again,
pessoal da
I
Reds
just
tem que
don't
se
know
atentar
if
a
Rats
isso, a gente
have
viu muito isso
the
na
hands
série
or the
semana
ability to match
passada,
up.
que o Soul
So
tava jogando de atirador,
I'd love for them to
conseguiu
prove me
ter
wrong.
essa
I've been proven
posição.
wrong
Acho
a
que,
lot already
novamente, tem que se
in
atentar
CD
a
so
essa
far.
janela de
So
engage, mas principalmente
I feel like as a
jogar um pouco
whole,
mais ao
my
redor de
read on
pessoas,
LTA South
também
this
conseguir fazer que os piques de controle
Brazil,
da
this
própria
split
equipe
has not
consigam
been great, or this year has not been great.
porque não adianta muita coisa
Like our
você
tier
ter
lists from
muitos
split
piques,
one,
mas eles não
we
têm
had
a
Leviathan
noção
at the
de
bottom
quando
and
ele
Leviathan
perde
came in
cabeça,
second.
enquanto a
Speaking of
Kabum
which, we will be
fez
recording
ali
Gringos
que
Liberados
era bem coerente e os
tomorrow
campeões
morning, I believe. We're actually supposed to record it today,
entre si.
but
É, acho que uma
there was
das
some
coisas
scheduling
que a gente
issues,
pode citar aqui, principalmente
so
agora que é Fearless
we moved
Draft,
it to tomorrow.
olha aqueles campeões que eram campeões bem fortes, né?
Well, we'll do
Então,
our usual
Lambo,
tier list and
Varus,
whatnot.
por exemplo,
Hey,
são
Lunar.
top picks desse meta,
No,
já
we.
não vão
I didn't
estar
really ask for
presentes
questions this round because I
nesse
think
jogo.
the pre-split
O próprio
one,
Xal também, que vem sendo muito
we
discutido,
usually do
também vai estar
the like
bloqueado.
our
Então,
expectations
as
and tier
coisas
lists,
podem
and that
mudar
already takes up more
bastante,
time,
então
right?
vamos
So
ver se
because
a
of
gente
that,
tem alguns banimentos
yeah,
permitidos, como é o caso da
I didn't
Dofus, que a
really
gente tá
open
vendo
for
que
questions
bastante banida,
for this
a
one,
Gwen também, né, que
but
tem desde o seu mini
yeah,
hero,
what
que
like
tem
after that, after the first one, after the
aparecer
pre one,
muito mais
we'll open up for questions
ao
as per
redor
usual
das
once
linhas
the season
aqui,
actually
né,
starts
LPL
proper.
já voltou. Então vamos ficar
Yeah,
de
it's
olho
just that we have to
quais
do the
serão
tier
as
list and everything,
prioridades,
so
principalmente estando do lado azul, né?
that is true.
Uma coisa legal que o professor comentou é um pouco dessa identificação da
Wait,
achar uma
that sounds scary. Did you have like some sort of?
uma combo que eles
I mean, if you've got an
consigam
epic
trabalhar.
question,
Isso
you
é
can
bom
just
que
drop. You can
eles
just ask
conseguiram,
us
se eles
anyways. You know that
conseguiram
most of us do
realmente
read
fazer isso
the
no primeiro
Discord.
ataque, vamos esperar que eles tentem fazer a
But
mesma coisa
yeah,
na seguinte.
it's just that again, when since we already do tier listing
Não vai
anyways,
ter necessariamente só aquela combo pra funcionar, porque eles
the
sabem que
preseason episode
se
already
eles
tends to be too long.
trouxerem
So
outros campeões, eles têm que fazer as paradas de uma maneira diferente.
it's
têm
more
que
just trying to keep the time down so that
setar
we're
o
not
mapa de uma maneira talvez um pouco diferente. Então é um bom sinal o time que já começa.
going forever and
Identificam
ever with the
também a
podcasting.
os seus powers spikes, identificam também suas condições de vitória e depois eles partirem para a próxima, fazer uma outra
Contrary to
composição,
popular belief, most of us actually have
peças
jobs.
diferentes, mas também para alcançar esse tipo
So we
de
do have
objetivo,
somewhat time
eu fico
constraints.
um pouquinho mais esperançoso, acho que é um pouco mais promissor, né?
Eu concordo bastante contigo. Na verdade, o que vocês dois têm falado sobre o draft é algo que realmente a gente precisa ver da Reds. Eu entendo que eles precisam trazer algo meio que
Actually,
fora da
speaking
caixinha
of,
pra surpreender o time da Kabum e DL,
the-
mas não pode ser algo que de fato dificulte muito essa execução deles.
should
Porque
I
senão
spoil?
eles acabam complicando o próprio jogo. Então a gente viu que
Yeah,
no
screw it. I'll
draft,
spoil.
eles
I
acabaram
don't know how many
ficando
people watch
sem
this anyways, but
ferramentas de
we
voltar
will
pra
probably have
partida.
some new
Então, você
faces
tinha alguns
on
campeões muito squishy,
the
você não
broadcasts,
tinha aquela linha de frente
this
pra
split.
ganhar um
So
tempo, você não conseguiu snowballar nenhuma das rotas, né? O seu caçador
the
precisava
player
de
we
tempo
most want to
também
see
pra
play
entrar
at
no jogo.
MSI.
Então foram várias circunstâncias que acabaram deixando a
I mean, we
Reds
usually
numa
do
situação
the
difícil no primeiro jogo,
MVP,
e que pra esse segundo draft,
like
a
our
gente
guess
espera
for
que
who's going to be
eles
MVP.
tragam
So
uma
I guess you can
a
take it
ideia
as
de
whoever we think of
surpreender, eu
as
acho que ela merece ser
being the
mantida,
MVP for the
mas
split will
um pouquinho
probably
mais de
be.
coerência, um pouquinho mais de sinergia também
Yeah, you
nesse
can take it as our
aspecto.
player that we
Você
most
falou
want to
bem,
see.
a palavra pra mim
at
é
MSI.
sinergia. Porque realmente é importante que a composição converse entre si, mas também acho que eles
I want to see
têm que
Jin
estabelecer
Kiddo at
posições
MSI because that means he didn't
onde eles
retire.
podem
But
pressionar no mapa, porque em muitos momentos, na primeira partida,
Yeah.
a gente viu que, por exemplo, naquele dive que rolou na rota superior, que foi 2-1, que o Hirit foi eliminado, e a gente viu que acabou.
and to be fair, I don't think it was undeserved. Jin Kiddo retiring. He's had a very long career.
A play poderia não ser a mais fácil
Probably
de
wants to rest for a
defender,
bit.
mas a gente via que em termos de
It's just
como
sad
os
to see
jogadores da Kabum estavam
players
distribuídos
who are still
no
performing
mapa,
pretty
era muito
decently
mais fácil para eles conseguirem
retire.
garantir muito mais, mesmo se a equipe da Reds conseguisse essas eliminações. Então, tem que se atentar muito a quanto
Yeah, that question too can show up at any time during the regular split too. So we can kind of yeah, because we need to talk about the split format too, because the split format's changed so much for the split. Oh, I hate it when they do this. Man, I really hope that this is just a CD thing and LTA South doesn't change their format to do this weird like, oh, surprise, draft is done situation. So Rats did go on blue side. That is good. That is great. Unfortunately, Nefiri got banned, so we're not going to see more Nefiri. I'm really sad. I want to see Drake Hero playing Nefiri. Beyond that, wow. The bans get screwy. Because Gwen and the Fury is not like the new bans. We're starting to see things like Callista get through. That's kind of crazy.
Vamos deixar essa quieta, vamos deixar essa quieta.
Okay.
Vamos fingir que nada disso aí
Nico
aconteceu.
Maokai.
Agora direitinho. E, professor,
That
já que
is
você
an
tava
interesting
falando
combo.
sobre uma facilidade do draft,
I don't hate it.
sinergia, eu acho que o time da Reds agora
But I would much
encontrou
rather, because Ashe and Misfortune got second phase ban, I'd much rather seen Ashe Braum
Eles vão
against the
conseguir
Callista.
jogar
Like,
esse split de uma
it's
forma
just, it's
muito
so
boa,
good.
muito
Callista can't do
legal.
anything against
Tem
Ashe Braum.
Ivan pra buffar.
Instead, we go Nico Maokai. And okay, fine. I can live with the Maokai. I don't think Nico, like, you could Ashe. This should have been Ashe to me. This should have been Ashe. Ivan Yone. Damn, I actually really like the Rats draft already. I really like this draft. They got a lot of the OPs. And they got a good mix of like early game and skilling. And Ivan with Yone just feels completely busted. Nico's a denial? Okay, that's fair. But the problem is that, specifically for Callista, I don't think Nico's the best pairing. Renata, to me, is a better pairing. So, yeah, I get it. Like, you want to deny it away, and Nico's probably a better engage than Renata is, but I just don't know if it's worth the deny. And then they ban. Yeah, see, because you didn't pick Ashe early, you end up having to go down to a Jhin instead of an Ashe, which is not the same. Ashe completely just bodies this. Renata was banned second phase though. Whereas like you just blinded the Nico early. So if it's a deny, like I feel like it should have been Renata deny instead. Yeah, weird. Okay, and then we go Nar into the. I don't know how I like this. It's okay. I'm not super huge fan of Kaboom's composition. I understand like individually it's good choices. Like Nico is one of the ways you deal with a Callista, fine. Not in my opinion the best way, but one of the ways, that's fair. You go for Jhin so you can trade and potentially and still win out. Your Nar is gonna beat the Jax in lane. Working to Yone wins early. It's just what the Kaboom wants early game. They're picking good matchups, and then late game they're playing a front to back, which I don't think is very effective into Yone Jax, but it's fine. Like this comp is okay. It's like a 3.5, but this comp feels like a 4.5 to me.
Que acaba sendo pouco mais complicado porque é esse Ivern, então você tem muitas nuances para tomar cuidado e eu acho que
you keep Renata up so you can counter the Mel. Sure, yeah, that's viable too. Actually, interesting that Mel was one of the most feared champions in Split 1, and then it just fell off the map by the time Split 2 started. By the time CD started, nobody cares about Mel anymore, which is unfortunate. I do think she has some very niche power points, kind of like Silas in a way. She's early game based. I wouldn't say she's terrible. She does fall off pretty hard. But I think her ult is like really strong. Or not her ult, pardon me. Her ability to reflect other people's ults is very, very, very strong. Yeah. Even after the nerfs, she's still winning most of her lanes. And she still is strong in the mid game when sieging. But her late game is really, really bad. So, yeah. Just win before that. Like, Kaboom of all teams. Like, the way Kaboom is drafting this series feels like they're playing early game anyways. They might as well go Mel. Actually, the more I look at the Jhin here, this is actually not a bad Jhin angle. There's not a lot of real... There's no real tank. As in, they don't have resistances. They have shields, but shields don't help you against Jhin that much. See, now I just want to see pros play the Mel just to prove you wrong. Yeah, I really do like Rats' draft. I just don't know if they can match hands with Kaboom right now. And if Kaboom plays as smooth as they did in game 1, it's going to be really tough for Rats. We'll see how it goes. There's a lot of potential heroes on the side of Rats. Like, anybody can step up and be the carry on this roster. Or on this as well. I say roster, but the champions they drafted as well, all of them can have massive playmaking impact. So Kaboom have to kind of play this well, but if they play it well,
jogar no split push. Tem essa possibilidade
Should be
de
fine.
flanco também, né? Uma chegada do Jax ou uma chegada do Yone. São
They've
dois
got a
campeões
couple of
que
engage options.
podem
They've got a
fazer
couple of
esse papel.
engage
E aí,
denies
se eles conseguirem
as well.
essa visão, essa informação do time
Who's the new
adversário,
people?
fica
What new
mais
people?
fácil para encaixar essas jogadas.
Oh, Beanie?
Tanto em pick-offs, jogando pela rota lateral, quanto nesse 5v5.
Mais uma vez perfilado.
Beanie played on Loud Academy in the past, and I think he played in Leviathan last split. Oh, the new people for... well, okay, so we didn't... Not gone necessarily. Like, we don't really kick people out or anything. It's just that, like, Hawk is busy with other stuff, right? So
Ou vai ou racha.
he doesn't
Não
really
tem jeito, ou vai ou racha, porque a gente tá vendo aqui que o
do
pessoal
anything
da Reds
anymore.
quer buscar esse empate, precisam desse empate,
Yeah.
e a gente
I mean,
tá
Rude's
tentando chegar num
still
ponto da tabela aqui.
doing...
A gente querendo ou
He's
não,
still
essa
in charge of scheduling, and I think Rude cost a game last split, or it cost a couple of games last split actually. Yeah, because last split was just me and Rude for color, so Rude cost games last split. Yeah. Yeah, and he had like all the connection issues. Yeah, you know, Rude's still around. I don't know what his availability is, but he's still around. But the problem is like my availability last split and this split's not great, and I don't know. Yeah, going forward, what my schedule's gonna be like. So I don't want to put everything on Rude. We've added a couple more people too. Soph is busy this split, so she won't be casting either. And 44 is kind of busy too, so best that we just have some backups. So we've added some new people. I don't want to spoil, like, I don't want to spoil the whole surprise. So if we announce, we'll announce on Gringos Liberados, or if not, you'll find out when they when they start casting. Rude does LPL, you assume he left. I think LPL just makes more sense for Rude in the first place. For actually, I'm not sure what the hours are. But... Wait, did C's get in here without Linka seeing? Damn, that's actually funny. Oh, C showed on the ward. I wanted C's to just like steal the entire jungle away, but I guess you can't do that against an Ivern. Because the way Ivern sets up his camps, right, he just walks the whole thing, so he'll see if you invade further. He can only get the one camp. Would have been funny. I mean, Soph is just busy this split. She might cost in the next split. It depends on availabilities, right? The problem for the whole LTA South project right now is that we're all volunteers. So like back when Riot was paying us, then, you know, it's easier. Because it's like, yeah. But if we're all volunteer, then we have to deal with like real life stuff as well, right? Like we have to deal with jobs and whatnot. If they're paying gigs elsewhere, we got to take those as well.
Eu acho que o pessoal da botinha da Kabum acabou puxando rápido demais. Acho que nessa matchup, ainda mais quando o Alistar já tá sob pressão, não tem por que você acelerar tanto esse push pra você entregar essa XP, que ele tem acesso a esse nível 2 e possa jogar. Eu acho que eles poderiam jogar com um pouquinho mais de
We gotta get that bread.
um pouco mais, e eles
Pay those
colocaram
bills.
essa onda de minions na rota
Yeah.
interior.
Yeah, the deny is still... Yeah, one camp away from Ivern for sure is huge. It's just funny because I'm used to seeing Iverns be the one invading. They do the stupid thing where they just go in and then smite steal away the camp and there's zero counterplay. Oh, Crossmail! This is so forced. That's hilarious. If Crosstail was level 3, this is a kill. I think he did too early. Oh. The constant knockbacks are hilarious. You have to be careful though. They're not really winning this that much. Oh! The ranged Ivern. Not gonna lie, though, like Kaboom would have won that 2v2. Crosstail was playing real Yagro, it feels like. If he was level 3, that would have been much easier. He ran out of CC. That's one of the reasons why I love Crosstail, and I thought and still kind of think he's one of the better supports in Brazil. Funnily enough, okay, this split as a whole, or this year, 2025, I think most of the teams have actually looked worse than they did in 2024. Like both in LTA South as well as in CB Low. As well as in CD, sorry. Like, Crossdale has some weird plays this split, which he didn't have last year. And Kaboom looked way more disorganized than last year. I don't know if it's because like split 1 was so short and teams weren't warmed up, and I don't know if it's a meta thing, but I'm hoping it's a meta thing. Because CD, at least here in week 3, teams are looking better already. So maybe the LTA South teams look a bit better as well. Which team? Oh, even in the North, I remember like Spawn in the interview, he was saying that, yeah, like Liquid looks bad. We expect to see like seamless map play, and we're not seeing that, so
aqui
Oh.
nessa composição.
Pode ser uma arapuca
Brother damage.
chegando, vai pra cima do
Nice.
Link,
They actually caught Linkus on the Valkyrie.
reposicionamento, mas ele
Even the Soul Unbound still had him on the Valkyrie, so he's still taking damage from that. Really nice.
Parado, do nada.
Perfect roam
Do
timings.
nada, o Minion parado, mas
Surpresa.
você vê que a resposta da Kabum foi muito
That's a
boa,
pretty
que
tight
conseguiu
flash from
tirar
Hirit.
não forçou ele a gastar o flash, mas ele
A
já
second
tinha
later and it
pouca
gets
vida.
bad.
Depois de gastar o teleporte, não é o cenário ideal, mas a gente vê como a Reds quer aproveitar muito bem esse tempo do mapa, quer colocar o Chiari numa situação um pouco melhor.
Yeah,
também,
LT in general, North. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, the North looked bad as well. Like, FlyQuest's random loss was it 100 Thieves? And yeah, Team Liquid just looked really, really messy. I know a lot of people are bashing Umpty, and I get that Umpty was not performing well, but to be fair to Umpty, it's not just him. Like, Liquid as a whole was not connecting properly across the map. It's just that the others were laning a bit better, and it's more obvious when you're jungler. When you're not connecting, your jungler looks worse, because their job is to gank, right? At least in C9, right? Yeah. Like, the C9 loss to me was not that surprising, but the 100 Thieves one was quite surprising.
Olha a aproximação do próprio Cis, o Demis também tá por ali, encaixa o controle de grupo, se chegar com avanço retorcido pode ser problema, já puxou o Crashmel, mais um auto-ataque é o suficiente,
Well played.
e dessa vez é o escuro que fica com a eliminação.
O Cis não queria gastar o flash dele, mas ainda assim o damage foi muito bem. Conseguiram aplicar esse dano, mas principalmente o Crashmel ficou numa situação que ele não conseguia desviar o W do Jhin. Então acabou sendo eliminado.
I feel like Rat should not be trying to fight Kaboom head on. Like, equal numbers, they feel weaker.
E o Bini já estão em posição, mas olha o Cis não tem flash.
Opa, é 2 contra 1, o Cis não tem muito o que fazer, ainda tem o suporte da sua bot lane, mas mesmo assim ele vai ser
Yeah, like,
eliminado.
again, here, why is Rats fighting head on?
3 contra 2,
You're setting Beanie further and further behind.
pode cair a qualquer momento e é o que acontece. O Raul já garante essa eliminação, tenta pegar mais um lá atrás do
Okay.
fez o flash. Olha a bagunça generalizada. O abate
Oh,
fica
Screw
pro
was
time
probably
da
dead.
Reds,
Barrier?
tá no 3 a 2, o escuro tá sendo focado por
Yeah.
aqui. São
Oh,
dois jogadores,
nice.
Double kill pro Lynx.
Okay.
Triple kill pra ele. Que
That is-
bagunça, professor.
That's really bad for Kaboom. That Link's got the triple there. If this Yone comes online, that's one of the big lose cons for Kaboom.
Não conseguiu
É.
definir quais eram as suas prioridades. O Cizi começou o objetivo de
I won't quite count Kaboom out of it yet, because I do think there's still a bit of a skill gap, but certainly it's looking really, really good for Rats that they managed to do that. But this fight in the first place, I felt like was kind of bad for Rats. I don't know why they're trying to do this so badly. Like, Kaboom could have just finished off Beanie and then disengaged. If they just do this and walk away, it's that they trade Drake heroes the problem. But if not, they trade 1-for-1, and then damage gets, or it's not damage, sorry. Skuro could continue to control this lane, push in, and Beanie just gets set further and further and further behind, and then this Kalista becomes a non-entity this game. But thankfully for Rats, Kaboom overchased, and yeah, Rats is really good at punishing for it.
Ah, lá embaixo também tem briga, o Vini vai tomando muito dano, o Crashmel também tá sendo focado, o escuro vai saindo com pouquíssima vida, se puxando.
What is going on? This is such a bloodthirsty game. Holy crap.
Dois atiradores, agora tem uma briga de 2 contra 2, a Margarida tá ali sapecando geral. Mais uma vez o Drake Hero com 2 abates, o Cici
Like, this bot lane can't farm in peace. It's just non-stop action in the bot lane.
agora é miolado.
Oh, they got another kill into Lynx.
Encaixa seu 8º abate e é loucura atrás de loucura,
Yeah.
briga atrás de
Maybe it
briga.
is game
Pelo
soon.
amor de Deus, o que tá acontecendo aqui, Lágola?
Kaboom is tilted. They had map rotation. Yeah, agreed. I don't know what Kaboom's kind of doing right now. Even that bot lane fight. Okay, no, that bot lane fight, I understand what happened. They went for the gank, but it feels very forced. Like, what they're having hard commit. Big yikes. Umpty had the best performance at MSI versus KC, which was after the series. That series, their solo laners lost everything. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I said, like, I do think Umpty generally underperformed. We've definitely seen better from him in the past. But he's not the only problem. He's had moments where he's done well as well. And his team has let him down. So I don't know what's going on with Liquid. They are a better team than that for sure. But you could see the same thing of Pain and of all the Brazilian teams really. The big team, actually, the big letdown for me in LTSL Split 1 was Vivo K-Stars. That one really felt like they just didn't have enough time together yet. And they just look so disjointed. But yeah, the format of Split 1 also just made it so that there was very little chance to see more from them.
Sozinha e solitária naquele covil, aguardando smite que deve vir em breve, minha amiga. E agora o damage foi pego. O time da
Okay,
Reds
Kaboom
tá
down
fera,
almost 2k gold. How do they get back into this one now?
O objetivo deles é esse dragão na parte de baixo do mapa.
Ah lá, é Dona Maria Júlia. Aqui,
É, ela
ó.
você
Laning wise, here it's still doing really well. I think their 2v2 is still fine.
Sentiu, né?
If anything, they probably just want to slow the pace down a little bit to
Eu sempre sinto o cheiro
stabilize
da Rex,
things.
mas, enfim,
I don't think they can gank Linkus anymore in the mid lane.
dominar essa partida, vai garantir esse primeiro dragão aqui por hora. A gente tá vendo que as ações continuam pelo mapa, mas acho que aqui vale destacar como a Kabum não tá jogando de acordo com a proposta da composição, porque eles só queriam realmente...
Yeah, Carry breaking ankles. Nice.
Esperar o Cis pegar esse nível 6,
Yeah, we're seeing sort of. This is not a grub dragon trade, by the way, because the grubs, there was still one grub left after all the chaos there. So C's only gets one grub and loses dragon for it. Not ideal, but it's also a very late dragon, I guess. This game's just been so messy as a whole.
Para essas situações de luta nesse early game na qual ninguém tem itens, é um item muito poderoso que pode dar muita dor de cabeça para essas lutas. E a gente vê que em termos de luta, até eles terem o segundo, o terceiro item, que é o momento que eles brilham mesmo, vai demorar demais.
É, e é uma janela de oportunidade.
Yeah, this gank from Costream is not going to end well.
A gente tá vendo que são 10 minutos e meio e são quase 2
Here it's supposed to go mega, so he'll heal up on that, and then yeah.
Completamente diferente pro time da Reds. Acabou um IDL, tem uma composição que tem um bom scaling, mas de fato, como você muito bem ressaltou, professor, você não pode dar tantos recursos.
Ooh, really nice from Hirit. He timed that perfectly.
Ficar esperando esse scaling, o Power Spike pode nunca chegar.
Kiara, I think Kiara's just dead. Oh, never mind. Drake Hero's here. Drake Hero to the rescue. True the hero.
Só flechou e foi embora. Parecia aquela briga entre coleguinhas na escola que ele chama a mãe. E é exatamente
I was actually trading surprisingly well.
não vai ter mãe para trazer.
Yeah, but then Yone has ult. If Yone outs and catches Corki, then it's a kill. Unfortunate. I was just doing really well in that
A
trade.
gente viu que o Lynx preferiu não gastar sua ultimate ali. O House
Surprised he landed all his skill shots, I guess, so.
E novamente a Valkyria
But surprising that it's as even as it is.
da ativa do Corki, que é muito poderoso.
You hate the meme skins, Pengu Garen is terrible.
E por hora o Drake Hero que tá seguindo, movimentando muito.
I have thankfully not seen Pengu Garen yet. I don't know, I like the Earth Warwick skin. That's one of the meme skins. I like that one. I think it just depends on the skin and how well it's designed. Who said Ivan wasn't carry? I said Ivan's not carry. Ivan's not even a champion. Daisy's the champion. Ivan's just a pet.
Sim, é um caos em que eles conseguem jogar muito bem, né? A gente tá vendo isso, eles estão buscando as lutas, estão conseguindo responder muito bem também às iniciações do time da Kabum, e com isso vão abrindo mais vantagem de ouro, né?
But yeah, that shield that came from Drake Hero came in clutch. If not, Gary just dies in the 1v1 there.
Mas vai se fortificando, leva uma barricada só.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's going well. Everywhere else is kind of falling behind. It's really unfortunate for Skuru and Damage. They were winning 2v2, but the constant parties in the bot lane set them behind.
Então vem para essa coletora e é um momento em que a gente começa a olhar para esses Power Spikes por conta dos próximos objetivos.
E vale destacar que o Spark dos primeiros itens aqui, Andrezinho, é superior à equipe da Reds. Então acho que a Kabum só realmente vai começar a ter muito mais sucesso.
No, we were doing so well.
E é o momento que realmente
You know, we didn't have a pause in game 1, and now...
Mas por hora a gente tá vendo que quem tá brilhando mesmo é justamente os ratinhos.
Yeah.
Estão conseguindo se sair muito bem nesse começo de
Man.
jogo. A gente falou que estamos nos minutos iniciais.
We're doing so
chegando aí
well,
próximos
too.
15 minutos. E o time da Reds tem dominado o jogo até o momento, né? Ter conseguido
Okay.
fazer bons objetivos, buscar lutas. E o principal é que
Oh,
tem
for
vários-
equals yes pause.
vários campeões que
At this
estão
point, I
fora
just think it's
do
always
lado
pause,
do
like
lado. O
for
Drake
CD.
tá com 4
There's always going to be a pause.
100% de participação em todas as eliminações da equipe.
I just have
O
no
Lynx também tem 3 kills
faith or
com
trust
um
anymore.
fortíssimo, 4
Foram
já,
quatro,
né?
é.
É verdade. Então,
Hopefully it's a
assim,
short one.
eles conseguiram jogar muito bem até esse momento para conseguir fortificar esses dois jogadores.
This is why I wish like gaming houses were a thing, or let's play in person.
Não, é verdade. E além desses dois caras, a gente falou de 100% pro Drake Hero, o...
Then we don't have to worry about these constant eternal pauses.
Chinel também, né? Que eu tô tentando fazer a matemática, né? Se ele tava com
Oh.
7 assistências, então isso dá o quê? 87,5, algum negócio desse jeito também. Então é outro jogador
Hey,
que
there we
tá
go.
participando muito o tempo todo. A
At least the pauses are
gente
shorter.
tava tentando ali os
Remake
engages
draft
na
one,
primeira
this game is
partida,
over.
tava conseguindo,
It kind of feels like it. I mean,
tá ajudando também
considering that they're 5 kills up,
Aí você falou, ó, tá certo ali, ó, são
1.6k is not that much. Like, it's still playable, but the draft certainly makes it really tough. Yone Ivern is already really, really strong. Giving them the Callista too was just... Yeah, big yikes.
Então, por mais que eles estejam
Oh,
atrás,
maybe Kaboom can turn the
a
tides.
oportunidade de coletar
I won't
essas
call them out just yet.
informações e começar a se planejar pra elas.
They
Isso
technically have the
é
mechanics to
uma
make this work.
situação complicada.
Olha, o Hirit estava tomando muito dano da torre, então ele acabou saindo desse...
Chiari's desperately trying to clear this wave.
Mas agora ele tem o apoio do damage, já são 2 jogadores, o Chiari tá desesperado. A ultimate
Yeah.
tá pro alto,
Nice and
e é
easy.
abatido rapidamente.
Damage just runs at you. What's he gonna do? Did damage heal? Okay, damage actually healed for the movement speed buff. Damn. I don't think you needed that. Did they lose anything for this? No, but they also don't get more plates.
Conseguindo manter essa pressão, crescendo na partida e a média de barricadas aqui, ele vai querer cada vez mais porque ele tá muito próximo dessa terceira barricada.
And they kind of reset at bad time. The Rats could just go straight for these grubs. They just need somebody to do damage because Rick Hero is going to take forever today without somebody else to help do damage. 1.6 pre-15 with the better scaling. Yeah, I know. You're not wrong, but at the same time, it is Kaboom after all. I mean, they already tracked the gap, right? It was 1.6 and now it's only like half of that, basically. Guys, we need... finally, they got a carry. Daisy showed up. Yeah, but without... Oh. Rascal's in trouble. Okay. We need to fight this. We need to contest this. Skuro's out of mana, or else you curtain call and force this. And... Yeah, they kill Daisy. Man down, man down. When all said and done, the grubs just get split 3 and 3, half each. I don't think they needed the Nico ult, to be honest. Like, if they had, if Skuro had more mana, I think the curtain call enough would have been, the curtain call would have been enough to kind of force them off already. Because they already picked Costream basically. He didn't die, but he was out of the fight for all intents and purposes. So, it's not Hex Tech, so he's got to walk a long way back, 30 seconds to get there. But yeah, I guess they just felt like they weren't confident about it. Wait, surely Chiari knows. Oh, the slow lands. Wow. Oh, and damage flashed. That's rough. Well played from Chiari. Oh, it's lagging things. Well played, well played. That was Kaboom. That was Hirit game 1. Like, getting perma-ganked and still being able to trade. This game is Chiari who's doing that. Sure. I mean, they disagreed too, so... It is what it is. I don't think it was like the end of the world. I just would have liked to see them try. I think they can outplay. Oh. Wow. Ooh, wow. I didn't see what... Was that Phosphorus Bomb from House? It must have been. Wait, they could kill Chiari. Oh no, never mind. That was a that was a close. I thought they had somebody on the back and I was like, wait, they have 4 people. That's huge from Chiari. Did he get Counter-Strike? No, he didn't. Okay, so he just got greedy. Yeah. The big problem with these ganks that we're seeing come into Hirit's lane is that Hirit's usually low on health and then they don't have enough vision for him to feel comfortable pushing out and getting actual turret damage. So it's just the kills, which is... it's helping, but not huge. Didn't shot plus bomb, it's Phosphor Bomb. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I thought... I was a little bit surprised Corki got the kill. That's why I was like, what actually hit there? Because it looked like it was Skuro 4-shot. But...
Professor, para você ter uma ideia, 30% do dano do time da Kabum até o momento na competição veio dele e o Lynx agora foi pego.
Oh, giga huge.
O Lynx é forçado a passar pela parede e tá chegando a ultimate do Ciz, vai pegar no crash, ele usa a sua própria ultimate para fugir. E exatamente por causa disso,
they got the flash and all of the Linkers.
Vai continuar insistindo nessa perseguição.
E foram conscientes aqui em tentar não gastar muito.
Too bad there's no dragon to fight over. It's so desynced, unfortunately. A lot of what Kaboom's doing. He's damaged dead. They don't have a lot of their ults so this fight. Yo, Daisy almost killed Skuro. That knock-up was huge. Woo! That was really clutch. No, not Nerf Ornn. We don't get enough Ornn as is. That's so weird. When they had a 5k gold lead, Kaboom was down to 700 gold difference. Now they've got 1 kill gold difference, and it's a 1k gold difference.
dar uma forcinha pro Hirit e
Kind
depois
of counterintuitive.
não vai rolando muita coisa, é só... Eita!
Indeed. Salud. Too much Ornn. Too much more Ornn.
14.500 de dano pras mãos do Hirit e como eu tava falando anteriormente, 30% do dano total da equipe no circuito desafiante vem do top lane. Então ele é esse cara, ele é o destaque e o time da Kabum IDL tem que utilizar a força e a vantagem que ele cria.
Yeah, Kaboom's done a fantastic job actually fighting back so far, but I'm getting worried. Linkus has on that one item power spike. Yeah, that's what a Yone can do. That's without ult too. Damn. And that was my big question mark about the early Nico pick. I don't know if that's necessarily the best pick for your team. Oh, well. Is what it is.
Da rota inferior não tá impedindo eles de criarem essas jogadas e a gente vê novamente o Drake Hero tentando jogar um jogo mais controlado para essa rota lateral.
Yeah, Rats is starting to snowball.
Porque esse 2v2 ele ganha de qualquer
Looks like
forma.
maybe not a 4-0 day today. Let's go. We gotta see game 3s.
Utilizar as duas potências da Reds no momento, que é esse Yone e esse Ivory, vem se mostrando muito.
Oh, come on, man. Okay, I'm glad they got it. I was about to get tilted because Skuru ran out of bullets.
E é isso, correto. Utilizou o Demolir, então chega, acaba cobrando essa torre que foi destruída na rota do meio do time da Kabum, então ele leva a torre
1 to 3 though, still not great for Kaboom.
E aí, as duas torres iniciais aqui da rota central dos dois times
6 games, 6 bosses day. Nope.
Agora,
We've already... Actually, no, we haven't done that yet. We've had a 4-0 day, but we've not had a 6-game day yet. 4-2 day.
Tem, por exemplo, o Yone que pode vir de longe, né, com o desatar da alma mais a sua ultimate. Do outro lado, o time da Kabum tem iniciação de longe também, né, principalmente.
We had 7 in a day. That's fair, yeah. But that's because there's an extra match, so there'll be no... There's no other chance to have as many games as that.
É um momento de muita atenção para essas duas.
Yeah.
Exatamente. O Link,
Was what, the first Monday? Oh, no, the first Tuesday. Week 1, day 2, I think. Yeah, because I had a Costa night, so I couldn't finish watching the third game. And that was the Corinthians Kaboom game too. That was a spicy one.
Porque no momento que alguém pisar fora de algum lugar sem que o Cis esteja por perto para controlar com as suas mudinhas, seja um momento.
So far, Kaboom's the only team to take a game off Corinthians, so props to them. The Mango didn't manage to achieve that.
Mas ainda assim, a gente vê que aposta os objetivos.
Okay, Kaboom have to surrender this. Here it has no TP.
Aproveitando isso a todo custo para continuar crescendo na partida. O atacante que a gente não comentou já surgiu aqui no Rift, na parte de cima, e por hora, acho que o pessoal da Reds vai justamente se contentar e tentar colher esses buffs de dragão e crescer. Mas olha o Chiari indo pra cima do escuro.
Wow, are we just done? Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, that's barrier gone on Skrull. At least he has the flash, I guess. Super rough. Make pauses great again. No. That indeed sounds like a slogan from a certain orange individual, but no.
Mas o Chiari também aproveitou muito bem na rota do meio de dar um pouco mais de dano nessa torre. E a gente vê que em termos de macro, o pessoal da Kabum não consegue responder porque é uma composição mais focada nesse scaling e como eles tiveram um early game não tão bom assim, acabou abrindo muito espaço. A gente vê que até a vantagem em termos de ouro, o pessoal da Reds não cresceu tanto assim.
Diminuiu, na verdade.
Diminuiu. Exatamente, mas a gente vê que isso ainda é uma grande brecada até a equipe da Kabum realmente atingir esses fights. Porque se o jogo tivesse 0 a 0 aos 20 minutos, GG, acabou. O pessoal da Kabum estaria numa
We're back to this weird situation I don't quite understand, where it's like, Rats has been controlling the map, they get the objectives, and then their gold lead shrank. Like, how does it keep shrinking when they're doing the right things? It just feels like Kaboom's catching the waves better. They're getting more CS and trying to even up that way. Unfortunately, their skilling is still not as good. So.
Tem muita gente que tá vendo isso aí que não conhece, mas a galera da Kabum conhece isso daqui, ó.
Yeah, there's just too many escape buttons. Damage goes in, he's committed, and he's dead. Yeah. You can't ignore Daisy. Daisy's wrecking you. Okay. 1 for 1. honestly a good trade for Kaboom.
Exatamente,
I blame Drake Hero for not getting Daisy to cancel Squirrel's ult.
Exatamente, mas a gente vê que foi Lulu e
What's Cheeto's got to do with
E a
anything?
gente viu que não foi nada fácil essa
That's
resposta,
random.
porque a gente viu que em vários momentos, mas
Oh.
olha o escuro sendo pego e o House tá na contenção.
Brincadeira, são dois jogadores ali indo pra
Oh!
cima dele.
Was that a trap?
E ele não
Or was that a
resiste,
bullet that
ele
pulled him all the way
tentou
back?
chegar, dar um dano e partir, mas
Yeah, I just want to see, was that an actual trap? That wasn't a trap, was it?
Em vários momentos, mas olha o escuro sendo pego e o House tá na contenção.
Brincadeira, são dois jogadores ali
It was a trap.
pra cima dele.
What?
House tá na contenção.
There's no trap there. I'm so confused. What killed him?
Brincadeira, são dois jogadores ali indo pra cima
How was that
dele. E
kill
ele
credit
não
to
resiste,
Jhin?
ele tentou chegar, dar um dano e partir.
He didn't auto.
Ele já fez aquele esconderijo de corpo, foi eliminado pelo Lynx.
A
I'm so
coletora
confused.
une muito e o escuro consegue essa neutralização pra cima do Lynx. E claro, né, viu ali uma janela de oportunidade, o escuro dando as caras de novo, da mesma forma que fez anteriormente na frente do Chiari e pensou, vou iniciar.
I thought they were kind of screwed when they managed to Fate's call out across the middle.
E a rinha não para, dessa vez o Alba é o Hirit, são três jogadores, ele afasta
Oh,
todo mundo, mas não
maybe
tem
it's
muito
in the
mais
bounce
pra
house.
fazer, porque esse fogo é grande demais, ele já vai... Eita.
And he flashes. I don't know what's with Kaboom. That's the third time I've seen somebody flash when they were pretty much guaranteed to die.
O Lynx cedendo uma bolada
What a
de ouro,
waste of
uma 600 de
flashes.
ouro do outro Hit também. Ofereceu uma recompensa um pouco mais singela, um pouco mais singela, obrigado, era a palavra que eu tava procurando.
I was in game 1. I can't remember who did it in game 2 here. And then now, here it does it for a third time. Bouncing grenade? Oh, okay. That would make sense. Yeah, I didn't see the bouncing grenade animation, but then with the snap, there's a decent chance I just couldn't see it.
O Costream, como sempre, faz aquele escudo de corpo, é muito resistente, mas enquanto isso a vida do atacante vai caindo, hein? Já tá ali na casa do 8K, tem
Okay, Atakan's
também
gone.
teleporte,
Rat's already
a
got
galera
it.
da Kabum que é baguncinha.
I bet you find the kill on the back end,
Acabando,
but...
eles garantem o objetivo pro time da Rex, mas eles ainda tentam fazer
Oh,
as
they actually
eliminações
popped.
na perseguição.
Link is right away.
Puxou ali a aclamação, vai acertando, o quarto tiro vai pegar em quem do Drake Hero, que tá sendo focado pelo Hirit.
Okay, Kaboom's wiping them.
Na forma de Mininar, continua insistindo, agora o Crash
Yeah.
é o próximo jogador a ser focado e a
Yeah.
perseguição é implacável.
Damage with the KS.
O abate ainda fica nas mãos do Damage, enquanto na rota do meio, Chiari tenta...
I don't know what's with Chiari. It feels like no matter what team you put him on, whether it be like Liberty or here and Rats, or I can't remember what team he was on before Liberty. But like Chiari always ends up being the last man standing, trying to carry when his team dies.
E isso abre todo o espaço para a equipe da Kabum continuar seguindo com a luta e continuar com a sua execução. O Hirit veio
Even without the teleport from here, this was always going to be a loss for Rats.
E mais
Yeah,
uma
shredded.
vez, o controle de visão falho do time da Reds faz com que eles percam uma grande oportunidade do jogo. Porque aquelas sentinelas que eles não limparam, que estavam ali bem próximas, né, ali do rio,
Okay.
fizeram com que
They
o
get
time
Baron
da
off the
Kabum
back of that
tivesse informação,
during the replay.
soubesse que eles estavam no topside para fazer o atacante e conseguissem chegar num ótimo flanco do Hirit. E aquele ouro que estava muito próximo, agora vira para Kabum, que tem quase 3
The
mil de
root
vantagem.
barely
Foi uma
landed.
abordagem muito abrupta, Andrezinho, porque a gente tá vendo aqui que parecia muito tranquilo, mas aos poucos a Reds foi perder essa vantagem, mas olha o teleporte chegando, só que foi visualizado e o Seize e Damage escuro
Little
já estão na
obstacle
proteção.
São três
Mafia.
jogadores pra cima dele, ele fica
Oh.
sozinho no meio do pagode, é o Chiari. A galera do time
Yeah,
tenta
okay.
jogar junto, mas
That was a
eles não
really
vão
nice
pelo
Nature's
último
Grasp from
possível.
Seas.
Ele ainda vai sobreviver, ele compra muito tempo pra sua
How
equipe,
is Hirit
ele
still
pode
alive?
virar.
That's so
Ele
disgusting.
finalmente é abatido, mas o Lynx tá no meio
Not
da
Hirit, pardon me,
galera. Já
Chiari.
tentando garantir esse primeiro
Hirit's
ataque,
about to
mas o Seas já
clean
se
house though on the
afasta.
back end.
Ele tava sendo esperado pelo Hirit lá atrás. Bini vai sendo perseguido,
Nice.
mais uma vez a aclamação vem passando e nem precisa do quarto tiro. Double kill nas mãos do Rounds.
You good? I guess I'm chilling. I guess I'm chilling.
Tem perseguição ainda.
Hope you're doing well as well.
Tentou buscar esse teleporte flanco, mas a galera da Kabum estava muito atenta, porque o
Ops-
teleporte
Ops to
foi em
Corb
cima de uma
Mafia.
sentinela, então a informação
Orb
foi
Mafia?
dada
Corb Mafia? Sorry, I don't know how to
imediatamente, e a
abbreviate your
Kabum
name there.
responde de acordo
Yeah, but
com
Lunar, this is why I said I didn't give up on
Kaboom.
Kaboom. Like, as much as the compositions mean that Kaboom should have been shafted from a 1.6k goal deficit at 15 minutes, the mechanics of Kaboom are showing through. They're doing very incredibly well to not group up, and unfortunately, Link is Yone. Oh, it's looking a bit sus. Always never. If Trajan can still believe in House now, I can at least extend the benefit of the doubt for one game.
Eles conseguiram o abate, mas a vantagem diminuiu. Então o time da Reds tá tava o tempo todo tentando estabelecer essa grande vantagem, mas não conseguiu. Acabou
Yeah, that was really unfortunate for
tiveram
Chiari.
muito pra virar.
He
Ele
TP'd into the middle of the
fez,
enemy
pode
team.
se estar na frente. E aí, uma
And even then, he actually bought so
vez
much. I can't believe he was still alive.
ainda comprou bastante tempo.
Like right here.
Sim, pois é, e as raízes da natureza do Maokai chegaram muito bem porque compraram esse tempo. Até
Counter-Strike is
a
so
Chiari
annoying.
cair, demorar todo esse tempo
That
pra
plus
recuperar,
Grandmaster's
mas
Might
fez
is
a
just
grande diferença. O Cizi aqui é um cara
messed
que a
up.
gente não falou muito, mas vem fazendo uma ótima partida. Não só uma ótima partida, mas uma ótima série que até
I haven't been
conseguindo
super
jogar de
impressed
forma
with Skrul's Jhin
pontual,
though.
sendo
Compared to like
titular
Trigo's
aqui
Jhin.
pra equipe
Skrul's Jin's
da Kabum,
aight.
enquanto House e Escuro conseguem essas eliminações.
I think the big difference is like their
cada vez mais. E a gente
curtain
tava
calls.
discutindo, né, Lágula, sobre essa questão dos
Skuro
picos de
has been
poder.
picking the wrong
Se a gente
directions to
for dar
curtain
uma olhada
call.
agora, esse Ivern já não tem tanto valor. O Link está com 3 itens, mas o House tem essa vantagem em termos de ouro. Na rota superior nem se fala. E os atiradores, a gente vê que o Escuro tá no Spike interessante, porque essa Kalista não consegue jogar tanto assim, sem essa vantagem de ouro. E aqui tá aqui, o dano, os 3 jogadores, os top 3 jogadores de dano, a equipe acabou.
E a gente precisa falar também sobre mais uma presa da serpente.
Okay.
Feita pelo
I feel
time
like for
da
the first
Kabum,
time this game,
bota
Kaboom
muito a foco
actually
na
has a
força
lead.
do Reds,
It's
né,
a
que
pretty
gente
substantial
falou
one too, off the
bastante.
Baron
O
and
Desafiante
then
tem uma
the
função
Dragon
chave,
plays and the
principalmente
kills.
porque ele é o cara que vai dar, vai bufar os seus aliados, vai dar
I am a little bit worried for them though. Even with the gold lead, it's still a little bit hard. It's still very dangerous.
Diminui bastante a efetividade desse escudo.
And they have a
E aí
bad
isso
habit of
limita
ignoring
um pouco
Daisy.
essa grande força do time da Reds. Vão tentar fechar o Hirit, mas ele já consegue sair com muita tranquilidade.
A gente vê que por hora aqui não há muito o que ser feito, justamente por conta que não tem como você buscar esses mecanismos de engage. O que eles podem fazer é justamente tentar botar uma sentinela na rota lateral, controlar essa visão, mas a gente vê que todo o avanço e todo o ímpeto que é da equipe da Kabum nesse momento não é um momento fácil pra se contestar.
I guess with the
essas
Empower,
jogadas. O Chiari tá
the
buscando um
W,
pouco mais de visão na selva,
you
mas a gente
can
vê que
clear the ward like
difícil,
that.
as mudinhas, o damage também
But his
consegue
base
fazer
attack speed
esse
must be pretty
enraizamento
decently
pro
high as
seu
well.
E. Então é uma situação que vai se
It's not quite like the
complicando
Leona
pro
reset.
pessoal
It's
da
not quite
Reds,
as easy with the
justamente
Jax.
quando eles estavam começando a crescer, ter esses acúmulos de buffs de dragão e o pessoal da Kabum, que não é bobo nem nada, aproveita muito bem, mas olha o Lynx, pode ir pra
Okay, Skrull got caught out.
Opa, ele foi pra cima, tá lá na linha atrás da
Oh, and the Nico ult doesn't land.
Olha o Chiari.
Desatada a alma, mas o Chiari tá no meio da galera.
Hirit também.
Tentou ali ficar douradinho, mas é abatido. O Hirit
Here it
tá
can't get Mega.
bem,
He's
pode
just
cair,
shy.
o coreano
Top
foi
laner traded lives
carregando
again.
o Lynx.
We saw this so many times this game where like the support straight lives, the mid laner straight live, top laner straight lives.
Não tem muitos objetivos a serem feitos, então o time da Kabum bate em retirada, dá uma voltada. Não foi uma inserção muito boa na selva.
I think rats are feeling it a little bit. They can chill. They don't need to like force these fights as much.
E o time da Reds dá aquela breve respirada, mas assim... o
Putting
time
them
da
in some
Kabum
awkward
nesse
situations for
momento
sure.
Com quase 5.000 de vantagem. A gente tá vendo que o time da Reds já
I'm
tem
curious what
dificuldade
Beanie's
nessa
damage numbers are.
luta.
I feel like he's not really been able to get in the fights. Early on, he was an absolute menace, but the last couple of fights feels like he's being forced out quite easily, quite early. He's also died 6 times. I don't remember him dying that many times, but yeah. I mean, that's the problem with Kalista as the game goes on. I think they need to just figure out where their engage is coming from for rats. Like, it's been Linkus engaging or Chiari engaging. I think they need to rely more on cross smell and Beanie to try and get things going.
4 itens também pro Hirit. Então, chegou aquele momento do scaling em que o time da Kabum IDL tem...
Like, if you're gonna sack somebody to make an engage, it should be cross smell, probably.
A gente tá vendo aqui que o Draghiru também já chega no seu terceiro item, já que é o Aureonúcleo, que é um item que garante muito esse AP, aumenta essa resistência, maior cura também, mas olha aqui as equipes contestando e brigando
Okay,
por essa
Daisy's
visão.
dead before the fight
Margarida
starts.
Caraca, a Margarida sumiu.
Rats is half a man down.
Impressionante. Olha o Cizi.
Oh, and a beautiful flank position from Seeds as well.
Consegue deixar a galera plantada no chão. Já são 2 tiros, o terceiro tá aí também. Ela vem o quarto. A aproximação do Lynx é boa pra dar uma travada no time da Kabum. Mas a que custo? O cara tá na metade da vida. O Drake Hero também. O Chiari também tomou muito dano e machucado.
Seekers
desse
from
jeito.
damage. I was looking, I was like, how did Skuro use his status? I just realized that was the damage clone. In the fight, it's hard to see. Okay, a lot of ults were burnt on that engage from both sides.
Caraca, mas o Baru já tá sendo levado com muita
Damage still is Pop
velocidade.
Blossom. I think that's a big one.
Tentando fazer a colada, se aproximando do meio da
No! Damage screwed up the Pop Blossom! He didn't get the flash off!
Ele vai tentando fazer e agora o Lynx pode limpar.
Man, this should have been a one fight for Kaboom.
Voltar, o damage já pulou.
This should have been 100% one fight for Kaboom. Now it's actually really risky.
O Chiari vai atrás dele, a eliminação pode estar chegando. Garante
Damage deserves to die there, unfortunately.
enquanto o restante do time da
Oh,
Red
how did he screw that up?
o time time azul tá de um lado, o time vermelho tá do outro, e a briga continua.
A gente tá vendo que é uma luta de grandes.
And now Kaboom's on the wrong side of the map. Daisy's back up as well.
E não vai ser nada fácil.
Tá ficando difícil,
Oh.
o Hit daquele chega pra lá no Lynx, é muito dano, tá sendo...
Oh, the CC chain!
Ele consegue fugir, lá na
There's the auto.
sendo levado, e é o que acontece.
Yeah, Kiari's the huge threat right now. They need to respect Kiari. Woo. Skuro's dead. He has no flash. They didn't respect Kiari. They die. Top laners 1v1. Go, go, go.
E os dois fogem, cada pra cada lado. Matança geral, carnificina de ambos os lados.
This is crazy. Kaboom is a man down. Hirit is doing so much work on this Gnar. It's crazy. Yeah, what an R, yeah. Actually, like, here, this was the Hirit that we were expecting to see, was it 2023 when he was on Los Grandes? No, was it Kaboom? I forget what roster he was on. I want to say it's the 2023 Stardust Los Grandes roster. But that's the Hirit we were expecting. That's not the Hirit we got. Now Hirit's looking good again.
Esse tipo de jogada, foram pra cima, conseguiram várias eliminações, sofreram também, mas aquela vantagem de 5 mil de ouro já deu mais uma diminuída.
Yeah, he literally salvaged that situation. It should have been so much worse, man.
Huge
play, huge play. Wait,
Wait,
Ranger is the coach for Kaboom now, right? So Ranger was on that 2023 Los Grandes roster. I wonder if he's annoyed that Hirit's doing so much better now. Now that Ranger's retired and actually not playing with him anymore.
Skills de combate aqui, não é muito fácil você conseguir criar esse cenário, mas olha o barão sendo feito na maciota, e nem tão maciota porque o damage tá chegando junto com vocês.
Eles estão na escuridão, estão tentando ter essa proteção do escuro, que não é o escuro no caso o AD Carry, mas ele já abriu as
Oh, okay.
Já era, foi feito esse barão. Vai
That was an easy Baron from Rats. Kaboom didn't even really contest.
Mas ele continua no meio da galera, fazendo a confusão. Lá na parte de trás, o Hirit acerta apenas o Bini com a sua ultimate.
Okay, Crossmail is buying so much time in the backline right now. Oh, the 5-man pop blossom! Is it enough? I don't know if it's enough. It is not enough. Rats, after losing 3 straight back-to-back fights, finds Baron and the kills. Damn, Kiari's Jax is coming online. Oh, that's crazy. Costream was insane in this fight too. The amount of destruction. This, to me, is like how they should have been fighting this entire time, right? Like, get Costream to the backline with the Fate's Call. Oh, that pop blossom was huge. If Hirit didn't have to tank so long, if Skuro was able to actually get a bit more damage off, I think the fight might have gone the other way. But as it stands, yeah, huge win from Rats. Really well played. Kiari is an absolute beast, man. It feels like no matter what roster you put Kiari on, he ends up being such a big, like, a big positive for the team. I know we call it the Ninja Kiwi Award, but Kiari is almost always a contender for the Ninja Kiwi Award. I actually argued, I can't remember if I did it. I think I did it on, like, we recorded it, where I made a case that we should have called it the Kiari Award instead, because, yeah. Like, Ninja Kiwi had the sadder story. Oh, the worst team. The carry usually has at least one of the carry on the team with them, but yeah. Hey, can Rats actually close out with this, or do they just get stalled out at set base? They should be able to take at least the top side inner turret. I don't know if they can crack the inhibitors, but the inner turret should be free game.
De abril. E tá tudo bem. Mas voltando à partida aqui, o Kiari quer aproveitar que não seja 1º de abril. Porque ele tá indo pra essa torre tier 2 da rota superior.
I don't know if Hirit can actually handle Jax 1v1 anymore. Yeah, like, see, he can't do anything. At least the Counter-Strike ran out. If not, I think Hirit dies. As it stands, Kiari might actually die.
A Margarida também já
Okay, no, he's fine. The ocean drakes are healing him.
ainda, né?
He's okay.
Tentando resistir a puxada. Enquanto isso, lá embaixo já caiu uma torre, a outra já tá com metade da vida. Olha a pressão que vem fazendo a equipe.
Okay, huge for Rats.
Também inibidor. E agora estão indo pra rota do
Chiari?
Esquisitíssimo. Olha o Chiari, ele pode ser focado, mas mais uma vez.
Chiari might have low-key inted.
Oh,
Oh, hit it in the back! The TP in mega form.
Insistindo, mais tiros passando. Olha a aclamação que não faz lá.
Wait, somebody needs to deal with Beanie. They're ignoring Beanie. We cannot be just ignoring this Kalista. They got split. They are getting wrecked. Holy. The target selection from Kaboom in that fight was really bad. Deadly Flourish? Does he have it? Yes, he does. There's no team though. Oh, Skuro is spacing really, really well. Costream is sacrificing for the team. Oh, it doesn't matter. And out of nowhere, Kaboom again. Okay, hear it for MVP. Unquestionably right now for me. Hear it for MVP. In all the fights here, it's been huge. If he goes down first, they usually lose the fight. That flank from here literally just won them the game. Okay, maybe not. They're backing off. Probably the right call. It's 10 seconds on Chiari. Chiari is... Yeah, the MVPs for me this game are the top laners. Yeah, Chiari and Hirit. Chiari is an absolute monster. Linkus honestly has been a little bit disappointing in his teamfight impacts. Like, you've got the Yone, you've got the Buster Champion. I'm not seeing the Fate Shields like catching all the carries. In fact, he's kind of been whiffing. Or, not whiffing, he's only catching Skuro, but he can't kill Skuro, and then he has to back out pretty early, so...
Algumas situações complicadas, mas por hora a gente vê que o avanço aqui da equipe da Kabum é justamente para esse barão que vai ressurgir daqui a 1 minuto e 20, o nosso terceiro barão da partida, que não é algo tão comum assim, a gente normalmente vê o jogo sendo finalizado no primeiro barão, mas aqui o pessoal tá realmente querendo fazer todos os barões terem que ser funcionais.
The game still goes on though. Kaboom's having problems pushing in. Most of the fights Kaboom has won have been defensive fights, like where they're playing backwards.
É pra infartar o baiano. É pra infartar o baiano. É o único
Vou
motivo.
deixar essa daí no ar e vamos continuar observando porque o jogo tá em aberto. A gente tá vendo que tem uma diferença ali de quase 2.000 pro time da Kabum, mas 40 minutos, praticamente todo mundo já tá full build, então essa diferença acaba sendo irrelevante e tanto o time da Reds contra o time da Kabum IDL tem ferramentas pra ganhar um jogo. A gente tem
We're just setting up for objectives again. The biggest reason why this game is so slow is also because Elder hasn't spawned yet. If Elder spawns, that usually forces games to end, but... Yeah. That hasn't happened. Even if they get Burn, I don't think Burn ends the game for either of these teams. Okay, they caught Mini Hirit. But he's got GA now, so it doesn't feel anywhere near as good.
Todo mundo esperando algum engage, dando aquele dano, recuando, tá todo mundo com vontade de tentar fazer alguma coisa, mas também com muito receio de errar.
Okay, Crosshair had to burn his ult. Chiari's going for the Mondo flank. Does he get caught? Okay. This Zonius is doing so much work for Chiari. Again, Linkus isn't getting anybody the ult. They got damage while Pop Blossom was still up, so that's kind of huge. But you're trading top for support, not worth. Oh, Drake Hero. He got caught with no shield. That's it. Kaboom win. That one's actually game-winning fight. Holy. Yeah, I don't know, man. Rat's just not able to perform. The Linkus Jonas is really not it. His Fate Shield just... You have Yone and you can't land an ult. Like, it's just not working. Chiari's already breaking his back trying to get you all good flanks, and he bought so much time just... Oh. Okay. Yeah. Really incredibly played from Kaboom as a whole. Okay, this is the Kaboom we expected. Really well played. MVP for me is probably Hirit this series. Yeah. I think House and Skuro did fantastically as well. Like Skuro spaced really well in the series. I wouldn't be surprised if the official broadcast awards it to Skuro. I think Skuro did do really well, but for me, it's Hirit, man. Hirit was just nutty with it this entire game. Like, literally, if not for his Nard, they don't win half those fights that they won.
O time da Reds começou
That's crazy.
Aí o time da Kabum IDL virou, e aí o time da Reds começou a gostar do jogo, e aí empatou em ouro, e a gente tava pra aquela luta decisiva, como a gente falou, uma luta de qualquer um dos lados, se bem executada, terminaria o jogo, e foi isso que aconteceu, né?
E a gente viu que nessa última luta que definiu a série, foi justamente o mau
Okay, yeah, very impressed. I just wish so much that we got the Corinthians Kaboom matchup like mid split rather than right off the bat. Tomorrow's gonna have a good game though. Kaboom versus Flamengo. Watching Kaboom play out that game just makes me really hyped for this match tomorrow. Kaboom Flamengo, and we're gonna get to watch Flamengo too. So. Oh yeah, look at the damage number from a Gnar. That's crazy. That damage number from a Maokai. Holy crap. That's actually crazy.
Como a gente tá falando, né? Ficou para um lado, ficou
Jeez, that
pro outro.
work.
Ficou muito complicado de fato pra gente
I think for Rats, Beanie and Drake did a pretty good job, but it was the Chiari show.
Nessa execução, né, André?
Não, é verdade.
Undoubtedly, it's the Chiari show.
Em algum momento, naquele iniciozinho, quando a gente falou da vantagem, a gente tava conversando sobre que, pô, ainda não estabeleceu uma vantagem muito sinistra. O professor falou muito sobre como o scale do time da Kabum poderia ser um problema. Então, desde o início do jogo, em momento nenhum, a gente teve uma segurança de quem ia ganhar. E no final do jogo parecia o início. Então, e é isso. A gente não sabia quem ia fazer o quê, não sabia quem ia ganhar, não sabia o que ia acontecer. Era aquela rinha maluca o tempo inteiro. É o tipo de jogo que a gente adora ver? Mas a gente tá na ponta da cadeira, vai ali, a conta do cardiologista vai ficar gigantesca. E agora a gente vai vendo aí nos melhores momentos como foi essa atuada, né? Briga o tempo inteiro, confusão o tempo todo. No fim das contas, a Kabum conseguiu sair vitoriosa.
E essa foi a primeira luta que destoou um pouco o ritmo da equipe da Reds, justamente por conta que abriu esse espaço pra Kabum voltar ao jogo. Beleza, não foi aquele momento que eles estavam com aquela vantagem de ouro que a gente viu, que eles conseguiram acumular, mas foi a partir desse momento que a vantagem da equipe da Reds começou a frear, e a gente viu que essa jogada também acabou comprometendo, que foi na sequência disso, e a gente viu que uma sucessão de eventos que infelizmente acabaram culminando que eles não conseguissem encaixar o melhor cenário dessas lutas, e a gente viu que esse desespero toma conta, e a experiência também conta muito, porque a gente viu como acabou, que é uma equipe mais experiente, jogadores que já jogaram na elite do League of Legends brasileiro e até no mundo, a gente vê que faz toda a diferença você ter essa
I'm just sending a quick work
email
while
para conseguir segurar o jogo.
showing all the replays. I mean, there's no point. Yeah, we saw the plays. I'm just kind of waiting for the MVP. I want to see who they awarded to.
É muito forte, você tinha uma composição que escalava melhor, mas precisava executar muito bem, né? Você tinha peças do outro lado.
Yeah, this fight had me really worried for Kaboom, the way they were splitting focus. And for a second, I thought Chiari was actually going to be able to turn sides. Unfortunately for Chiari, he's again in and without the rest of the team, right? JQ and Crossmail couldn't follow up, so that was kind of just Beanie and Chiari doing their own thing over there. And this part got really clutch. This is where the hands difference makes a difference, right? Where the hands make the difference. Because Skuro and House were able to space like perfectly. And just bury at the edge of the damage, play at the edge of the damage ranges.
Tem que respeitar as condições da sua equipe. A gente viu que essa série muito foi baseada nisso. No primeiro jogo, o pessoal da Reds não respeitou a própria condição, não conseguiu elaborar muito.
They needed Linkus so bad in this fight, but you look at Linkus and his positioning.
Nessa partida aqui, a gente viu que eles tentaram
Like he blows Soul Unbound for like a little bit of chip damage, and then right here, they look for the Fade Seal.
Muito mais difícil, e que se a Red tivesse pouco mais coordenada nessas jogadas, poderia.
Soul Unbound to damage doesn't do anything significant again. Fade Seal doesn't catch anybody at all. At least the last couple times he caught Skuro and forced Skuro kind of out of the fight, but if you can't kill Skuro, it's kind of not worth still. But that one, like Linkus just completely whiffed, and his team had to go finish off damage, so they weren't able to chunk the front line. Yeah.
Aquela coisa, né? Essa luta ela tinha uma pressão muito grande.
Man, salute Beanie for trying to go in. He knew the fight was over.
Contra o medo de errar. No fim das contas, a urgência de acertar acaba.
And without Chiari, I don't think they have enough power to hold. So
acaba acontecendo esse tipo de coisa.
Really unfortunate ending for Rats there. Though, okay, after watching the way Rats played that one, to be fair, I almost want to move them up actually. to a C tier. I think they performed roughly on par with Red Academy. My big concern is I just don't know if this is a one-off performance from Rats or whether, you know, they're more consistent. Because so far what we've seen from them has not been great. Who's their next match? Wait, overshot. Where is it here? Yeah, oh man, yeah, and we're not going to be able to see till like 2 weeks from now. Yeah, they get Skuro as expected. I think Skuro's numbers look really good, so made sense. Personally, I give it to Hirit. I think Hirit's impact was higher, but that's fine. Yeah, we won't really be able to tell if this is like Rats being really good till here, week 6. Because next week they play Corinthians, and I'm sorry, they're gonna get bodied. Then they play Los after, which is potentially winnable, but I think Los is still a pretty good team. Whereas I have Rats. Yeah, I need to see Rats against like Kate Stars or Red. I do think there's a gap between Los and Kate Stars, but I don't want to put Kate Stars down to the Red tier, so. Yeah, you know what? I'll put Rats up here so that Red's not lonely for a bit. But really, I don't know how good Rats are necessarily. They did look good this game. Props them. Okay, the next one, and we're on to the next one, which is 8 Stars Academy versus Flamengo. This is the one I'm not sure how it's gonna go, because I think 8 Stars are incredibly inconsistent. So, yeah. Like, Cade should technically have some. It should be close, I think, on paper. I think Smalley and Scamber have been performing well in general. Quats has been playing like Quats, which to me means that if you get him to the late game, he might have impact. But if you don't get him to late game, his early and mid game is kind of not amazing. His laning is not dominant. He doesn't get enough pressure. If you're looking for early skirmishes, he's probably not your guy. The top side's been where I think they've been a little bit inconsistent. Shino and Sarolu can be amazing, but they can also just be very meh. Whereas I think Flamengo has been really, really solid. And barring Momochi, all these guys are tier 1. So, yeah. I expect to see nice clean game from Flamengo. Nice solid macro. They play like a team. Like I said, where Kaboom plays as an individual, strong individuals coming together. Flamengo just plays as a team right from the get-go. I'm actually curious about their laning stats. Is Ninja Q been laning well? Vote difference of 15. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, Ninja Q is actually been one of the best laners. So, going up against Smalley, I don't think he'll win, but I also don't know if I don't feel confident that Smalley can really shut him down. I do expect to see Nocturne bans though, because I think this is a team that wants to set Ninja Kiwi up for success. I mean, they played together long enough; they should know that. So, okay. Let's reset paint for the new drafts to come through.
Confronto entre Flamengo e Vivo Cade Stars. E aqui do meu lado, eles. O cara que também foi demitido pelo Baiano junto comigo, mais cedo no 1º de abril. E o
Let's go through without Colossus today. Interesting. I thought usually when we see Grunter it's with Colossus. Said we've got GSTV. Gustavo.
Deu espaço à frente e agora a gente vai acompanhar Flamengo e Cade, ver quem é que vai avançar. Fala, meu velho.
É isso aí, Gruntar. Boa noite a você. É isso, né? Boa noite pro Gruntar. Vamos falar dessa série aqui, né? Desse jogão, gente. Flamengo contra a VKS. Olha, esse time do Flamengo, eu acho que ele é um time bem forte, viu? A VKS acho que ainda tem uns probleminhas, assim, que eu acho que...
I wonder if they'll show the standings.
...estruturar pra crescer mesmo aqui nesse circuitão.
É, são dois times que começaram muito bem,
No,
mas
they're straight into
ficou um pouco esquisito.
Momochi.
A gente já vem aí com a escalação do time do Flamengo.
Okay, when you put them right next to each other, they do kind of look more like brothers. I remember when I first saw them, I was like, oh, I didn't realize they're brothers. They don't look that similar, but they kind of do.
Agora é muito importante conseguir essa vitória, sair um pouco dessa meiuca da tabela, porque ficar no meio da tabela esquisita mais pra frente, né?
Pois é, tem que tomar cuidado. O Corinthians já tá com 3 vitórias e eu tava vendo ali a Estelar e a Luz, junto com a Kabum que acabou de ganhar, já tem a sua segunda vitória. Então agora o time que vencer cola nesse grupo superior, né, da parte de cima da tabela. Quem perder não, vai continuar embaixo, continuar na melhor.
Yeah, Kaiser's Academy, yeah. They are more chill. They're kind of funny. I like Kotz's one especially. He looks so like shocked.
Qual que time vai ser mais forte? A gente tem a escalação aí do time da VKS, né, VOD Stars, que olha,
Actually, I realized the way I talk about Quats is the kind of way I used to talk about Pilot back in the day, where Pilot's laning was not fantastic. He used to fall behind in lane quite badly. And then he almost felt like a KDA player in the past, where he just wouldn't die, but his impact and the damage he's putting out in fights was not fantastic either. But he's now beyond that. He's actually a pretty big threat, so it's going to be kind of interesting to watch him go up against Quats a little bit. I feel like Quats should be learning from Piloto or Pilot and how he normally plays.
Na questão de Pixibus, o que vem, porque eu imagino que seja uma composição um pouco mais coesa, que converse entre si com as habilidades e tudo mais, porque normalmente é nesse ponto que todo mundo começa.
I don't think it's that easy to just change your playstyle. Oh, they finished the draft again already.
Já apareceu até uma Mumu ali pro lado do Flamengo.
Yeah, let me grab this. Okay, I guess this is the new thing for CD. They've done this both days already, where they just straight up, and even worse, like just like Series 1, it's in role order again instead of actual pick order, which really sucks.
Também no draft, né, para poder pegar a ordem. Então na Fury foi first pick, dando o valor, né, importância a essa prioridade, uma campeã que já tá aparecendo mundo afora, acho que faz total sentido aqui. Eu diria que faz sentido também pro time da VKS mesmo, nas mãos do Sarolu. Então acho que
at least we get another Neferi. And Sarolu would probably be my second choice for jungler to play. Neferi.
E do outro lado, a Mumu foi o last pick mesmo, cara. A gente teve Shinzal, Varus, Xante, aí veio Syndra e a Mumu pra segunda rotação. Estavam preocupados, né? A gente vê que teve banimento.
Yeah, they banned the Nocturne. Oh, Kate Stars banned the Nocturne. That is super interesting to me. And then we get the Braum ban coming through instead from Flamengo. I think it's the Ashe is actually the scary part of the combo for Kate Stars. Like, Smalley on Ashe compared to other things. But... interesting. And Jhin ban. These are some... Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong direction again, aren't I? That's from outside in. So it's Kalista, Ivern, Win. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. And then they banned those two after. Okay. Jace, Neferi. How do I feel about this composition? Like, it's got good poke. It's got... between Talia, Jace, and Ezreal, that's a really good poke. You've got Disengage. Neferi can go in and execute people after and potentially still get out with the Invulnerable or Untargetable. Leona for Engage. It's actually not a bad comp. I quite like it, actually. I think it's quite balanced. 3.5. This is super standard, super meta, frontline, range, damage, engage. Yeah, it's super, super bog standard draft. I wonder... this should probably be Poke Varus, actually. Or Lethality Varus. Which is also Poke Varus. Yeah, this one's probably a little bit more to my taste. I think this is slightly better. Yeah, but seeing another Shinjao as a counter to Neferi. Like I said before, I can kind of see it conceptually. On one hand, I do think that Neferi is being set up at least with poke, so you can try and execute people. But on the other hand, it's like Neferi goes in and nobody wants to go in with her, so it's a little bit rough. Yeah, I don't really like the Neferi pick here. I think I'd rather like a Sidroni. I know it got banned, but like, or like a Wukong, you know, something that has a little bit more, is not so all-in kind of play. Like, I feel like Neferi's a little bit too all-in for my tastes. In this composition, when you don't have dive buddies with you, it's a little bit risky. See how it goes. Yeah, I'm favoring the Flamengo draft this round.
Na Fúria, a Thalia, o Ezreal tem, é muito difícil de você conseguir chegar nesses alvos, porque eles se movimentam muito rápido, né? Ainda mais com a proteção da Leona, que consegue
early game though,
ultimate com uma certa distância.
Yeah, Zars actually have some advantages. I think mid and top go their way. Bot lane probably favors Flamengo a little bit more.
Pode proteger demais, Jess. Tem também se preocupar com essa Nafiri conseguindo farmar, com essa Thalia conseguindo farmar.
I think K-Stars can try and abuse the top side of the map a little bit. But bot side favors the Varus Mumu a little bit. Not that much. Amumu's always a very risky support pick. He's got the double stun, which is nice, but he's a lot squishier than even Nautilus or Leona. Heck, to an extent, he's also not as... squishy's not the right word compared to Alistar. Alistar's got more sustain. Amumu doesn't, so... Kind of risky all one. But I feel like it's an easier catch onto the Nefiri, and that's why they're opting for the Amumu instead of something like Nautilus or Leona.
Nada tão forte assim.
É que eu acho que contar com essa ultimate do Varus pra não ser uma questão.
I wonder if Xin Zhao actually just invades Nefiri.
Né, pra fugir, pra se proteger. E também contar com essa habilidade da Syndra, que é algo que você
They fight Nefiri
utilizando uma
early on might lose to Xin Zhao, but as the game goes on, I could see Nefiri soloing him out. The hounds and everything are melee, so.
Pois é, não, eu tô contigo. Então o Amumu é o Momoshi que é o responsável por fazer esses engages, tem uma ferramenta mais clara para poder fazer isso. O jogo começou, tô de olho para ver se vai ter alguma invasão, mas nada.
Oh, okay, he went back for a sweeper. I was like, oh, he's just stepping right on the ward, huh? They pinged it out, so they know it's there.
Interessante, o Yamp, ele começou mesmo, né, com essa lente detectora, não chegou a colocar uma sentinela e voltar. A gente não tem lentes aí no time da VKS, então preocupado em não vender nessa primeira movimentação da selva dele. Ele quebrou a primeira ward, então sabem onde ele começou.
Yeah, mid is very much a skill matchup, but it usually favors Talia just because her spells are a little bit easier to land. At least for the first couple of levels. And then once you hit 6, it kind of changes because Talia doesn't have an ultimate, effectively. You contrast that to Syndra, who's, yeah, just pops people.
Pode ser, sim, de fato, né, um jogo diferente pro Xante. Eles também não têm informação, né, da rotação do Sarolu, então é uma preocupação dupla, né? Tanto ele tentar desafogar quanto impedir o dive, agora vem no bot.
Trouxe pra debaixo da torre, mas o Scamber conseguiu sair.
A little bit of split targeting there. Ninja Kiwi wanted to go fight Smalley.
Essa chegada, né, embaixo da torre, né, também teve flash do
I don't know how I feel about that.
sair, então uma troca rápida de feitiços.
Like, it's a valid tactic, I just don't know if...
Então por isso que a Leona tenta a jogada, acaba não sendo tão
I feel like damage onto the Leona is more meaningful, because if Leona's too low in health and she can't engage, then she's kind of useless now. That's the weakness of all engage supports. Wow, Yups is getting bodied.
Esse jogo conseguir crescer, quanto a vantagem ele conseguir, ele tá aqui pra pressionar a rota mesmo e pra liberar essa Leona pra que ela possa andar no mapa.
Yeah, Jace is sort of concerned about the counters to Mbessa and Cassante in the top lane right now, but I do feel like Cassante fares much worse into Jace than Mbessa does, because Mbessa will struggle in the early laning phase, but then she gets kill threat at 6. With the Cassante, technically, with all out, he has some kill threat on the Jace, but his damage is not high enough, and so it comes a little bit harder. His mobility is also lower than Mbessa's. It's really unfortunate too that Yampi once again is pathing away from his brother. I never not laugh when I think of the fact that Yampi rarely ganks for Yups. I mean, they've said in interviews before. We flat out asked them. I joked about it with Yampi, and Yampi saying, "No, I trust my brother. That's why I do that." But it does put Yups in some really bad positions sometimes, like now. I think Sorolu could potentially even look to dive at the rate they're going. Yeah, Yups is completely out of mana now.
Também não conseguiram compensar muito, né, devolver tanto dano, mas acho já que o Momote tem que ficar bem ligado, não é?
Oh, he cancels the back.
Ideal para ele nessas iniciações, inclusive.
Okay, good dodge. Necessary dodge.
Aqui com 3 e Leona para mim é farmar mesmo, né? Deixar o farm acontecer. O Varus também tá com uma itemização, né? Já tava mostrando mais ou menos que é para essa itemização de letalidade, né, de
Yeah, just looking at Yups having this just take the damage. There's literally no counterplay. You're just farming under turret as much as you can, but against the Jace with his poke as well, accelerated shock blast. He's playing dodgeball while trying to farm.
Como a gente falou, não tem muito tanque, então acaba que a letalidade faz um estrago, cada flecha que pega machuca bastante. Eu tava de olho lá no topo, a pressão que o Chino tá colocando, já conseguiu uma primeira barricada, tá na frente do
Bot lane's pretty even for now.
Veio pra
Mid lane's pretty even.
né, mas ainda assim tem que ficar ligado, porque o Jace começa a crescer no jogo.
É, até o nível 6 o que
Wait, why GG, Lunar?
né, nas mãos de
Game hasn't even started proper yet. There's also the laning phases. Junglers haven't even looked for a gank.
Ele consiga um ângulo, consiga incomodar. Queria falar um pouquinho mais sobre o Ezreal, né? Você destacou a questão do dano, desculpa, do Varus, né? Você destacou o dano dele, ô Gruntar. Uma coisa que eu vejo muito no de attack speed é que eu acho que ele lida melhor com os alvos jogando pra cima dele. Então o trabalho do Ninja Kiwi vai ser...
They don't know. Sarolu is waiting in the
Pra ele
wings.
tá à distância. Se chegar, o de attack speed se vira bem melhor.
Perfeito.
Ah, they spawned him now.
Vamos lá, o Sarolo tava tentando uma jogada na parte inferior do mapa. Eles
Funnily enough, I think they were just actually trying to set up for Yampi, but...
Não vai conseguir gankar.
Oh, Val.
E o Yampi também tirando uma sentinela. Essa tá dentro do covil do dragão. Os objetivos começam a nascer. O dragão já chegou. Faltam 15 segundos pros Beerus. Eles vão
I do not see the doneness of this yet. The comps are fairly even. The gold's pretty much dead even, actually.
Que o time do Flamengo aproveita esse avanço da rota inferior, essa pressão que eles têm, que vai chegando no 90 minutos embaixo da torre, e vão também colocando uma sentinela...
Against only the top lane, though, we're seeing a significant difference. Not even significant, to be fair. I think Yips actually managed to catch up during the base from Shino.
Teoricamente, eles têm vantagem pra fazer essas vastilarvas, né?
Ó, são 3 lágrimas no time da VKS. Isso tá acontecendo bastante, inclusive, aqui nessas últimas semanas do circuitão.
Boo, objective trades.
Preparando aí pro reinício, né, da LTA no nosso...
No interaction.
Muitos campeões itemizando lágrimas, e a gente vê alguns times, algumas composições indo pra esse choque, né, de várias lágrimas.
Foguetinho, é isso aí, ó. Os times não querem...
Not gonna lie, when I watch VODs, this is the part of the game, the first like 10-15 minutes, I tend to watch at 2 times speed. Because a lot of times nothing happens in VODs. And then you just get very... The slower the early game, the more explosive the mid game. It's just that you have to get to the mid game first. And the other problem I have with watching VODs sometimes is you're not seeing how the laning goes. To me, a lot of the early game is just about laning and kind of seeing how they're interacting.
Até acho que pra ser suporte de engage...
Like a mid lane, Quats is burning a lot of mana to try and keep up with Pilot, but is keeping up, which is the important thing. Like, you're not expected to do anything else. I mean, watching Sarolo invade and steal from Yampi is good, I guess. It's another sort of point where Gatestar's going to accelerate the game or find small leads rather than accelerate the game.
Bom trabalho nesse ponto, mas a gente viu muita coisa louca também aparecendo. A gente passou pelo Pantheon suporte, a gente passou
This bot lane has been oddly quiet. And so you've got a Mumu Leona. I was expecting more action, but instead they've been roaming pretty heavily instead. And neither have actually committed to anything on the roams. We've not seen any Zenith Blades, any bandage tosses. I guess you could argue that Flamengo won technically in these roams because they cleared up vision and got their own vision down, but...
E lá no bot mais equilibrado ainda, tá tudo igual praticamente.
E não teve tanta rotação assim, né, buscando gank. A gente teve a execução das vastilarvas, né, pelo time da VKS, enquanto teve o dragão pro time do Fly. Então uma troca bem franca e bem tranquilinha dos objetivos. Por enquanto só isso que a gente tem na questão das presas de força, 1 a 1 pra cada lado na questão dos campos.
Yeah, if Yampi doesn't go help his brother out soon, they're not going to be able to contest second set of grubs.
Próxima leva de vastilarvas, eu já acho que pode ter alguma rotação pra parte de cima, viu? Não acho que é tão confortável pro Fly deixar 6 vastilarvas a 0 pra uma composição que, pra mim, joga bem assim as rotas laterais.
If anything, I'm kind of expecting K-Stars to potentially look for the dive soon. Klutz is 8 now. He's got Weaver's Wall to be able to try and cut off Yups. Or at least burn the flash.
Desculpa. Vocês viram na mão daqui.
Seria muita coisa, seria muita coisa.
E até a gente olhar a questão do farm, né? O time tá conseguindo
CDLCK.
em cima aí do Yups. A gente já esperava isso. O Jace vem pra ter essa função de pressionar essa rota. E isso, consequentemente, é muito importante.
Not seeing too much time of this Varus either. Guru's Varus game 1 was nutty. He absolutely abused that lane.
Conseguindo colocar essa pressão também é o que possibilitou que ele fizesse essas primeiras 3 vastilarvas e pode acabar possibilitando.
Once again, the ward foils the plan.
Sarolu queria uma jogada aqui na parte inferior do mapa, tinha uma sentinela.
Sarolu was looking for the gank. And he'd have got it if not for those pesky wards.
Do jeito que tá, já vou te perguntar, meu amigo. Late game é isso, acho que tem.
Where's Yampi though? Like we've seen Sarolu go looking for a couple of things now.
A rota lateral que vai definir muito o late game. Então, se o Xante levar, acho que fica melhor pro Fla, se não fica melhor aí pro time da VKS. Questão de composições ainda muito parelho, sabe? Ainda mais que os dois atiradores, uma itemização mais pro poke e tudo mais, acho que vai continuar parelho. Já tá parelho, vai continuar igual, vai ser definido em lutas. Eu achei até agora que a gente ia ter uma rotação, assim, uma movimentação, porque teve o reset do Amumu, aí o Xante ameaçou resetar, o Ninja ameaçou resetar e demorou um pouquinho mais. E só agora que o time do Fla resetou como um todo e tá mudando aí a organização deles de rotas, indicando que vão brigar pelas vastilarvas.
Eu concordo com o GSTV nessa questão da execução, também acho que aqui é o que vai acabar falando mais alto. Porém,
guys, I'm falling asleep right now. Nothing's happening.
consegue talvez chegar um
Please.
pouco mais rápido, auxiliar um
Action.
pouco mais rápido o seu time do que a
Give me
Syndra.
something
O
here.
Piloto é um cara que gosta muito dessa campeã, ele tem um domínio muito grande sobre ela, então talvez não saia tão ruim nesse ponto, mas essa
Are we actually gonna fight over this now?
presença aí que a Thalia consegue ter no mapa todo pode ser um diferencial.
Aí, ó, eles estão nessa briga. Como já STF falou,
Both
o
top
Flamengo
laners have
veio pra
TP
disputar
sitting in the
esse
bot lane.
giro, eles estão nascendo
Ninja
aqui
Kiwi
até
still
em
sitting in
cima
mid
do
right
time,
now,
então
picking up
fica
CS.
esse clima de guerra fria ali pelo topo. Ninguém quer dar aquele passo extra que pode entregar uma vantagem.
I really don't care about what's happening in the bot lane between these two top laners.
Ainda não, né? Tá saindo agora. Yup tá vazando.
Yeah, this is where the action's gonna be at. Grub started by Cage Stars.
O Aronguejo pra dar um pouquinho de visão, eles sabem que isso tá acontecendo.
Pilot's gonna have problems getting into this fight. He's isolated and has no vision. They need a track.
O time da Cade pega um
Oof.
viro só e por enquanto eles estão
Great
mais
side step.
satisfeitos. Vão recuando. Vai saindo por ali e o Flamengo vai tentar chegar. Olha como fica.
Oh,
Mais uma
Yampi
pra
lost the smite
Cade.
fight.
Conseguiram duas até agora. Passou a barra incendiária. Bom atordoamento em cima do 4. Vai voando, flash dando pra cima.
No, whoa, Momochi's flash was awkward.
Trava todo
I mean, they get
mundo.
first blood, I guess.
Cade
Can he get more?
consegue devolver
I don't know.
o dano. Fica a briga muito
Oh, yes they can, okay.
apertada, o
Okay,
Roberto.
finally we got some action.
Piloto garante o
It only took
abate.
us 11 and a half
Flamengo
minutes.
conseguiu levar essa luta,
2 for 1,
agora vai
but Cade Stars get a lot of the grubs. And I think actually that's fine for Cade Stars. That's actually better for them. Because Shido's pressure is massive. So getting 5 grubs means he will get look for this. Yeah. Cute.
O Ninja vai voltar agora aí sem nenhum
I don't know why he was
flash,
like,
ele
what he was looking for, dancing around there. Just stalling, I guess.
Nessa luta. E foi bem interessante essa movimentação, porque
Momochi had me clenching. His engage was... Oof. Yeah, that was a little bit of a rough engage, but hey, if it works, it works. And I think that's why you picked the Amumu instead of like the Leona, Nautilus, or Rakan, right? It's much more guaranteed on the Neferi. You can see that Cirilo, if he wants to fight and he's anywhere near Momochi, he's just gonna get locked down. And once you get the Curse of the Sand Mummy, it's so much easier to stand all the follow-up CC.
Força, porque esse dragão vai colocar eles com 2 monstros épicos. Tomar cuidado, os Scamber. Foi atordoado, Yup veio.
Oh, Yappy whiffs the... Yappy can't win a smite fight. What is going on, buddy? He smited so early.
Flash pouquinho esquisito ali, né? Parece que não conseguiu conectar a habilidade, chegar ainda mais pro...
Oh, what's happening there?
Teve a tentativa da disputa, mas o Sarolu conseguiu...
Yeah, some really awkward combos coming through.
Como o Gruntar acabou de observar, né? Fica 2 a 1 na questão das proezas, 2 campos aí, né? Que o time da BKS...
I like this call from him, you know, just TP right up there and just keep pressuring.
Essa vantagem de
Again, the Void
ouro
grabs help a
agora,
lot.
Que eu acho que muito por conta dessa rotação que eles fizeram, né? Chegaram mais
Yeah,
cedo
no
pra
shot
brigar,
Flamengo
né?
could match
mas
at
o
all.
Chino vai levar aquela
Even if it
porrada
was like
toda,
1 for 1, like this
primeira
start's already lower and with the
torre,
grubs,
essa
you just take it.
proeza, o time da Cade, concordo contigo, vai
Okay.
crescendo.
Cade ahead
Essa
again.
proeza, a primeira torre garantida pra galera da Cade. Dão um passo à frente.
Uma coisa que é interessante a gente...
I feel like Flamengo's been a little bit too passive this early game and it's come back to bite them.
Os times
Like, it's not a game over, it's just put them in a slight disadvantage, that's all.
Página, né, nesse momento aqui do campeonato, é que naquela luta do dragão, a VKS tava numa situação um pouco melhor posicionada naquele rio, mas eles escolheram não brigar. Mesmo pra cima do Yamp, que já tinha gastado o flash, que já tinha avançado, o Saralu foi lá, fez o dragão, saiu pra fora ali do covil do dragão e todo o resto do time foi embora. Por conta disso, né, por eles, o Yups ter ficado ali pra tentar uma possível resposta caso
Yeah, that Squares Bloom,
lutasse com esse
I'm not
grande
sure
avanço do
why
Yamp,
we went that direction with it. I don't know if it was a mistake from Pilot.
O ouro de barricadas.
I felt you want to
dentro
catch one of the
ouro
bushes with it at
ainda,
least.
por conta daquela, da barricada do mid, né, que eles conseguiram, do top, perdão, que eles conseguiram levar.
Yeah, now Momochi doesn't know he sat right on top of a ward.
Não ficou nada, e aí,
And here he used the sweepers to clear out, walking towards the Squires.
É um pouco esquisito. Fica um pouco esquisito.
Vamos ver como é que o jogo vai decorrer. Eu ainda acho que tá bem parelho, bem equilibrado. Acho que o time da Cade talvez um passinho à frente, STV. Pouquinho
What's the
na
big
frente
objective
do
here?
Flamengo,
Herald in minute
mas
30.
Uma luta torta entrega tudo.
É aquilo, eu acho que eles já estão gostando mais do jogo e eles estão destacando 3 lágrimas. Vamos pra cima agora do Scamber, pode fechar a terceira eliminação.
Tem isso também, mas o
Yep, you're dead,
sobrou.
Scamber.
E a galera do Flamengo vai marcar.
Pilot
mais
is
uma
dead,
coisa.
though.
Do outro lado ali, a Cade desconta.
Support for mid laner.
Piloto. De qualquer maneira,
Not
fica
even close.
um lado, a primeira torre pro time da Cade e 3, a guerrilha, né, pro time do Flamengo.
You know, like, we always say, oh, support for something is not worth, right? Like, the support's worth less. But funnily enough,
a disputa agora pelo próximo que vai nascer, que será o Arauto lá na parte de cima. A VKS tem
Oh, yeah.
uma melhor no lado superior.
Sometimes it does matter. I was just gonna say that this one almost feels worth because that actually secures Yampi the scuttle, but then I realized that nah, because Pilot ends up missing the whole wave on the bot side, so not worth. Never mind.
Eles estão ainda num jogo que
I was just being silly.
pra eles tá bom, né? São 3 lágrimas destacando e a hora que chegar o Ezreal, o Spike...
Yeah, Pilot's just rotating, got caught on rotation. A little bit painful to see.
Aqui a gente vê essa eliminação e aqui a gente
That just slows the whole game right down again.
A vantagem também, né, que o Chino começa a abrir em cima do Yups. É importante, já fecha agora seu segundo item, que é muito importante. Estamos vendo o ouro.
It's not the latest First Blood, but this feels like one of the slowest games we've had so far in CD.
Bem grande, Quads também que já tá com 2 abates na mão. Então, o tempo da Cade, que, como vocês falaram, né, deixar o tempo passar é muito importante pra eles, mas eles estão acelerando muito esse jogo, Yampi.
Yampi veio pra cima, mas o Sorolo saiu sem muito problema. Agora é o Scammer, passa a barragem de ultimate por ali, por enquanto ele vai ficando numa boa.
Wow, Sorolo just got melted. Yeah, that's exactly what they picked the Amumu for. Holy crap.
Ficou pra trás. A galera do Flak é ele, que é muito a flecha voa, mas não...
Yeah, I fear there's a pretty good chance we don't get to see a good Nefiri till playoffs, unfortunately.
Pegou o atordoamento, mas o Chino
Omoshi. Oh, Pilot manages to snipe. Nice. If not worth.
Mas vão ficando pra cada lado mais uma vez.
E o Arauto agora, né, quem tá chegando ali primeiro é o Yamp, então vai garantir o objetivo e empatar na questão.
Okay, Flamengo are just barely eking out wins right now. It's so close. I like what Cade Academy's been doing. This feels like one of their good games right now.
Que vai ser o dragão daqui a 40 segundos, define para quem fica o upgrade.
Like they're not trolling. They're playing carefully. They are kind of playing to their strengths. Their strengths.
Agora a gente tá falando só de 400 de ouro de vantagem. O 4 vai conseguir levar essa torre.
Not to say that Flamengo didn't, but I think Flamengo made very clear what their focus this game was. And unfortunately, I think the lack of attention to the Cassante to make Yup's weak side into these lanes is not working. That's 2 turrets down now because Yup's can't do anything against range this early. And we've got our second pause. I'm actually starting to fall asleep. This game is... Yikes. It's not bad. Like I said, nobody's making egregious, horrific mistakes. Momochi's aggression has caught me off guard a couple of times, but they've been able to at least trade even with it, so it's kind of worth. But it's just really slow going, and it's not like we've had games where we have low kill counts, but the team's like actively looking for action. This one's just really slow. Holy crap. But these I need to clear through. Yeah, this one just feels really slow because like the junglers aren't looking for action. Yampi's just playing like a slow cerebral game, which you can't really fault him for doing that, but at the same time it's like, well, it's also not. Unfortunately, like terribly amazing.
Eu acho que é período agora que o Xante ele tá pouquinho
just kind of like it is what it is situation.
Porque dá pra ver que ele tá com a itemização, mas é uma itemização toda de armadura. Então pra ele brigar com os dano mágico.
I was even trying to think like, because he's got the Xin Zhao, he should be the one trying to make some early action. If anything, was Sorolo who managed to like, get some early things going.
Resistir a todo mundo, eu acho que pode ficar pouquinho mais perigoso pra ele. Mas sim, eu acho que a VKS tá conseguindo gostar.
Like technically can't fault him, but I am gonna fault him because it's a really slow game and I don't enjoy watching super slow games.
Segurar o jogo suficiente para as lágrimas irem estacando e eu acho que agora é tentar pegar essa proeza de força.
É um bom momento pra eles, Foguete.
Sim, o Yamp também tá fazendo um bom trabalho em conseguir sobreviver a essas investidas que eles estão fazendo, né? Então tá sabendo utilizar. Ele precisa guardar a sua ultimate pra quando a Nafiri pular. O que é pra jogar ela pra longe, mas ele tá fazendo isso muito bem. Naquela luta que a gente viu,
balloons because I got nothing better to
acabou
do.
sendo cobrado exatamente por isso, porque ele fez esse avanço. O Yamp conseguiu defender, não perdeu nada de vida com aquela entrada. Então, assim,
nice.
ficar de olho
We're
em
back
como eles vão
in.
utilizar esses mecanismos que eles têm pra conseguir responder, porque ambas as composições crescem, ainda tá cedo no jogo, ainda dá
We're keeping down for this dragon. We want Cryo from Flamengo.
de execução, como a gente tá falando.
I don't know how I feel about this because Shino could just take a inner turret. Oh.
Largou o Arauto no meio.
Oh, nice wall from Quats. Really nice wall. That's actually huge. Because I like the call from Flamengo. They're looking to break that and then to rotate to Dragon. But because they set that up and the wall just messed them up, Shino gets free push on this turn instead. This is already going to be an issue when they go for the Dragon. But now, yeah, it's pretty much guaranteed they lose inner for nothing. And then if Flamengo respond to this, they are probably going to lose the turret anyways. And it gives Kate Stars free push in the mid lane. That's crazy. That Talia from Quats is doing so much work. Yeah. It's the difference between like gold now and gold later, right? If Flamengo are investing for the future with your comp and with the way they're picking objectives up. Oh, Smalley's dead. Wait, this could be a wipe. This could be a wipe. Momochi's so deep again. Yep, okay, they overdid things. They are down a... They're down a member. Yups is still topside with no TP. Watts clears. Ace Spoods. Watts indeed clear out Herald there. Really well played. Yeah, Flamengo just really over-aggressed there. Uncorrect or simply mistake from them. Momochi on this Amumu has just been really aggressive. Too aggressive for my taste. He's caught me off guard a couple of times. And that one, he caught his team off guard massively. You can tell that the team wasn't like on board with the call, and they shouldn't have been because Yups is not there. Yups is still answering topside. And it's even worse because they saw Shino, so they know this is a 4v5. Then Momochi's like hard committed to this. Now they don't have a front line. Oh, I guess yeah, Yampi, but yeah, Yampi got melted. Yeah. From a winning position, Flamengo played themselves into a losing one. That's a good response from K-Stars too. They knew that they were stronger. They were probably puzzled too why Flamengo was being so weirdly aggressive there. It's kind of worse because K-Stars are geared for the mid game anyways, with the grubs, excuse me, and all the gold they've been getting. So if they can keep snowballing this gold lead, that's a huge win for K-Stars. Flamengo wants to slow things down a bit. Okay, solo flare down. That's pretty big. Oh wow, max range changes the corruption. Okay. See, this sort of deathless fight, I don't mind. Because the teams are, you know, playing mechanically really, really well. Actually kind of surprised. We were talking about the fact that Quats is more of a late game carry. I was not expecting him to be having this much mid game impact on the Talia. I actually don't know how important Asakan is anymore. I feel like they've nerfed it to the point where it's nice, but it's sometimes not even worth fighting over. Especially if it's Ravenous Asakan. This one's oh, what's it called? Voracious. So the GAs matter a lot, but the one without GA honestly doesn't feel that impactful anymore. Especially if you end up getting wiped for getting Asakan. Whereas, yeah, Voracious just feels so much stronger because even if you get wiped, as long as you don't get aced, if anybody has a GA at all, it's already a huge buff. You can send them to tank next fight.
Dominou muito bem o mapa, o Scamber também conseguiu garantir esse espaço com as suas visões e tudo isso muito em parte pelo trabalho de pressão de rotas que o Shino fez. Conseguiu abrir bastante espaço, conseguiram garantir 5 Vast Larvas e também
a half game advantage, pretty significant.
Que o Quats fez depois, quando ele
even worse is that all the tier items have been completed as well on the side of Gate Stars. They're in their power spike now.
E o Yups não é uma ameaça para nenhum desses dois jogadores até agora.
Yeah, Yups is still not completed a second item. He was set so far behind. He's supposed to be the tank, but look how squishy he is. He just melts. And this feels like a Baron push. It's not, but it feels like it. Oh, wait! Smalley might have screwed his team. He low-key screwed his team. That's kind of funny. Yeah, they're playing so aggro because we've got all the GAs, but they're going to get full wiped here. Yeah, they get 3 kills. Kind of worth it, actually.
Todo
Because
mundo
it's
aproveitou o
200 per
buff
kill
do Atacan, né? Todo mundo
on this side,
foi
so that's
retirado
1,000 total.
diretamente pra base. Não acho que foi
This is
assim
about
uma execução
900.
tão boa, inclusive,
It's
reforça
900
a
plus,
misericórdia
what was
que
it,
a
an extra
mandou.
25, 35?
Aqui pra gente,
Basically, it's almost 1,000. So
E olha, esse TB
yeah, it's a pretty much an even trade.
entendi também, né? Não tava um bom posicionamento. O
That's the
Smile,
reset, early reset, I guess.
Eu falei da mecânica do Ezreal, o Smile, ele falou assim, e se eu jogar o Amumu no meio do meu time? Ele fez, né?
Atacan.
Yeah, if Yups wasn't that far behind there, if he's on second item, he actually probably survives, and then you burn through the whole lot for nothing. But this part from Smalley actually screwed his team.
E aí você começa a confiar.
He gets pulled all the way into the back line.
Não tem problema. Não tem problema. Ele veio pra cima da gente, mas a gente vai voltar pra base. Então tá tudo bem. Ou teleporte, no meio de 4. Tá tudo
Yeah.
bem, ainda
It's very disjointed from Gate Stars as well. But I like that Gate Stars has made the call, hey, we've got the GAs anyways, just run the fight. Try and trade. Getting the 3 already makes it worth. The turret still stands though for Flamengo
Não dá.
for now. And it goes down. There we go.
E levaram bastante vida, inclusive ela acaba caindo agora com uma chegada rápida aqui do time da VKS. A T2 do mid também quase caiu já.
I'm glad that Yups is actually finally able to get some time with minions and get some gold in his pocket. It's been the biggest difference by far. Okay, they traded what? Solar Flare for Crescent Guard? Solar Flare is a shorter cooldown, if I recall correctly.
Tá chegando já, né, esse Barão. O time da VKS tem a vantagem de ouro. Querem garantir esse posicionamento. Sarolou pra cima do Yups.
Deu de cara com o Yups, a Nafiri solta os cachorros pra poder pegar ele e o resto do Flamengo vem fechando. Então, seu top laner tá seguro. Tem que dar uma recuada, Sarolu. Espalhou o cachorro pra tudo quanto é lado ali, olha o
Damn, Yampi has no Crescent Guard this time. He might just die.
E pro Yampi, o Sarolu se meteu no meio de geral lá na backline.
Woo! Yeah, okay. There's something the Fury play. Damn. Okay, K-Stars Academy winning this one. Once again, they're just ripping Flamengo apart.
Acho que não dá nem tempo de voltar e a VKS agora vai fazendo objetivo.
This, yeah, that might actually be the fight that just breaks this game open. Because K-Stars get Baron off of this, plus the gold lead they have. And it becomes pretty insurmountable. That was nice from Sorolu though, the way he managed to dive the backline, kill Ninja Kiwi, and get out pretty much unscathed. Yeah.
Era a forma que ele tinha de resistir, mas aí fica assim esse recurso para tentar alguma coisa, né? E com isso a Cage faz esse
Despite all of that,
5 torres já estão dominando muito esse mapa.
how did this fight start? Is Yups catching out Sorolu?
Lá agora parece que tá
How did Sorolu like, get into the backline though?
agindo tanto, né? Tá sentindo que tá sentindo essa força do time da VKS. Não tá
He just
conseguindo
ulted
reagir.
Ninja Kiwi.
Foram meio pegos
Oh, flash over the wall.
aqui, tinham
Yeah.
3 jogadores juntos, mas não conseguem nem virar pra brigar, pra tentar encontrar um alvo. E é uma luta muito
Yeah.
simples pro time da VKS, que agora tem uma vantagem gigante de ouro. Conseguiu controlar muito melhor aqui, né? Muito
Yeah,
bem
for Flamengo,
esse game, então,
I don't think they played that badly. I think they just kind of the lane assignments were wrong early, more than anything else. Or not lane assignments, but their focus on the map was a bit like they had a certain game plan and it just wasn't the right plan, unfortunately.
Continua pressionando na parte inferior do mapa. O Quats está trazendo.
He played much better.
Com o buff do Barão, eles vão sendo muito eficazes. Enquanto isso, no meio do mapa, tá o Smiley, você joga a barra incendiária, pega em todo mundo.
And unfortunately for Flamengo as well, the entire mid game they never quite found a way to get back in.
Vem o time da Cade agora.
Anything tried to do was sidefold, and Kate just slowly grounded out.
Já dentro da base, a galera do Flamengo totalmente acuada, como já esteve falou.
I kind of blame Momochi, Mumu for the way the mid game went, and then Yampi for how the early game went.
É Vastilarva que eles também pegaram bastante. São os minions bufados aí pelo Barão. Então é muita coisa, são muitas formas deles conseguirem levar essas estruturas de maneira muito rápida.
They need to clear out these siege cannons. These siege cannons are just free powering. Like Flamengo, please.
Por enquanto o Quats vai segurando o Yups.
Oh man, it's a slaughter. They literally just lost both inhibitor turrets too, like for free, to just siege minions because they didn't clear it. It's not like they don't have the range to clear it either. They've got a Syndra, they've got a Varus. They could have used their skills and abilities to clear. Still another 43 seconds on Baron. Ooh, that was a nice solo player.
pra botar 1 a 0 na série, pra já botar aí um pezinho.
And another turret lost to siege minions.
Tenta fazer a entrada, mas não consegue. Brilha por ali o Quats, que tem que usar um flash pra poder se posicionar. O time da Cade derrubou uma das torres, mas tá recuando agora. Estou com a vida muito machucada. Vão ter que sair.
É, tem que sair, não tem jeito.
Yeah, K-Star's finally back off, but I mean, the amount of damage they put down was insane. They've broken the 10k gold difference. Yeah. And they took one of the Nexus stars too, which I think is pretty huge.
Atrasa um pouquinho a partida, mas deve conseguir finalizar.
E a gente viu, né, o potencial que esse time tem agora.
The scariest part is like they can just backdoor. K-Stars can just backdoor.
É um monte de papel. Ele olha ali, sopra e cai. Porque é muita coisa, é muito bom.
They have the threat for it. They've got both Nefiri and Jace can kind of look for that. Heck, even Talia can just like hop into the base of the Weaver's wall.
E estão dominando o mapa como um todo, né? O Flamengo não tem visão de quase nada. O Quats com a sua ultimate que ele tá usando muito
Oof, the true shot barrage hurting.
Fechar qualquer movimentação que eles tentem. Ainda vem a barragem incendiária do Smile. Aquilo que eu tinha falado sobre essa questão da pressão.
Well played from K-Stars Academy. They exceeded expectations I had even before the split. This game has been very clean from them.
Não tem muitos mecanismos para fazer isso, porque até porque
They recognize the strong points and play to it. And Quats especially, this game has impressed me.
fica muito complicado.
Os caras do Flamengo não sabem nem de onde tá vindo os tiros.
Usually Quats just kind of lets the game happen early and doesn't really do that much. But this game, he's been the primary driver, I feel like, for a lot of K-Stars plays. I mean, second highest kill participation is very rare for Quats.
O Flamengo se segura do jeito que pode, mas eles estão contra a parede. Passa de novo a barra incendiária. Essa não fez tanto estrago. O problema é que o Yups não aguenta ficar perante os adversários. Ele tá apanhando e apanhando muito.
E agora eles têm que começar a se separar, né? Defender o Nexus. São duas ondas de Super Minion chegando, enquanto o Smiley vai levar a torre do topo.
Aí, meus amigos, a Cade vem.
Yeah, Flamengo, throw the Hail Mary, man. What are we waiting for here? That was not the Hail Mary you wanted. It does the anti-synergy as well. Crescent Guard knocks everybody away from Momochi, so Momochi couldn't find the engage.
O Flamengo de novo vai recuando, de novo tenta uma jogada, e de novo essa jogada é interrompida. A Cade muito
Really well played from K-Stars Academy.
Estão soltos e o Sarolu vem pra cima com
Very
tudo.
Impressed.
Eles querem
I wonder if they can, is this like a flash in the pan or can they keep it up? Because, yeah.
Vai assistir de dentro da base. Pra galera da Cade é o
What a wonderful
GG.
performance.
Vitória da Cade.
A gente
And
falou que
as much as I talk about Quats, like Shino's KD that game was probably really bad because he just, yeah. Oh, actually not, he did participate more than I expected. Because he was just sitting in the side lane for most of the game, just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and nobody could answer him. The Cassante, I think, really backfired. Cassante into Jace. There's just like nothing he could do. It felt super bad to watch Yups try and play through that.
Fizeram um ótimo jogo, dominado do começo ao fim, e conseguiram aí essa primeira vitória.
E não era uma composição fácil, né, gente? Era uma composição difícil.
Like, I get the idea you don't want to gank a losing lane, but I do think before the lane is lost, you need to support some of your lanes. I mean, look at that, 4.9k, holy. He did less than the Leona.
Ali perto do final do jogo, não conseguiu passar de ninguém.
I don't even blame him. Like, he couldn't do anything.
Do que vocês falaram, né? Sem
One of the
dúvida,
worst
agora
matchups you've ever probably had to play.
a
Sheesh.
posição deles, o ponto forte
Yikes.
deles, a vantagem que eles tinham de rota superior.
Okay,
levar
I am
a-
falling asleep right now, so I'm gonna go grab a new cup of tea.
Eles acabaram até abrindo mão,
Because
né,
that game
do-
started out really, really slow. Again, it did pick up once we kind of got to the mid-game, but holy crap, the first 12 minutes slow. I was genuinely, like, my eyes are actually closing. I don't know how I'm going to get through tomorrow, man, if it's anything like this. Hopefully Game 2 and Game 3 give us a little bit more. But yeah, I'm going to go grab tea. Get some caffeine in me to wake me up. We're back.
Talvez a composição deles poderia ser mais forte que a adversária, que era essa hora que estavam estacando as lágrimas, e aí o jogo já não tinha mais volta.
É até interessante a gente observar esse trabalho que eles fizeram, essa escolha, na verdade, que eles fizeram de não priorizar as proezas, porque eles já tinham 2 itens na frente, eles já tinham aberto muitas torres desse mapa, e eles entendiam que o Power Spike, né, o momento de poder deles já tinha chegado muito cedo, então pra eles estava muito fácil de lutar. Tem essa questão de que não tinha uma rota lateral pra parar o time da Vivo Cage, porque o Yups ficou muito fraco, a Syndra nem apareceu nesse jogo, ela nem teve essa oportunidade de ser uma grande causadora de jogo, e ela também não ia fazer rota lateral. Então pra Cage era realmente só trabalhar top e bot, e foi o que eles fizeram basicamente o jogo todo.
Pra mim, 3 campeões aí claramente não funcionaram nessa composição do Flamengo. O Santi foi massacrado, a Syndra não fez muita coisa, o próprio Amumu não conseguiu. Eu comentei antes, né? Era um trabalho difícil pra ele ia ser responsável pelo engage, mas o Amumu suporte, ele não é tanto tanque assim, vai se meter no meio do time adversário inteiro, e aí?
E eles nunca encontraram nessas jogadas assim, né? Sabe, de colocar uma sentinela, colocar a visão, que o Santi jogar pelo flanco, a Mumu chegar pra conseguir ultar a backline. Parece que eles nunca tiveram essa luta 5x5 franca mesmo, porque as lutas grandes que tiveram, o Santi estava pelo outro lado do mapa e não tinha, né, quem fizesse essa front contra o time da VKS.
Pra mim faltou ímpeto, Fogueto.
Aí a gente pode falar um monte de coisa que faltou, né? Faltou torre, faltou dano, faltou range, porque a Vivo Cage conseguia bater de muito longe com essa Thalia. Se eu não me engano, quase nem morreu nesse jogo. Conseguia bater...
5-0, né? Deve ter pego mais coisa aqui nesse final, né?
Ele não morreu nesse jogo porque ele conseguia virar muito... E ele foi um dos grandes responsáveis pelo dano desse time. E ele conseguia bater de longe tranquilamente. Ninguém chegava nele. Porque o Momoshi é ele tinha que escolher um alvo. Não dá pra ele parar todo mundo. O Ezreal também conseguia bater de longe. Então, assim, no final das contas, em questão de composição de draft, a Cage conseguiu se colocar numa posição muito boa e anular todos os planos que o Flamengo tinha.
Eu acho que tá muito nessa, né? O time do Flamengo não conseguiu ameaçar a Cage no momento que precisava. Eles precisavam forçar aquele momento das 3 lágrimas ali.
Correto.
Mas quando não faz isso, meio que já era, não consegue recuperar.
Mas ao mesmo tempo, né, ainda assim eu senti um pouquinho de uma apatia do time do Flamengo.
Isso.
Parece que eles sentiram que perderam o momento do jogo e eu não senti eles tentando muito. Ou eles pelo menos tendo propostas boas pra conseguir virar o jogo. Parece que eles foram sentindo que não estava bom e foram aceitando muito a derrota.
Começa a jogar pra perder mais demorado, né?
Não, mas não tinha uma chegada assim. Vinha um engage neles, era todo mundo foge.
Não era um ataque, era sempre uma defesa, né?
Chegava a iniciação, era todo mundo correndo. Não tinha, né? Vamos tentar um pick-off, vamos colocar uma visão, vamos...
Vamos ver como eles vêm pra esse próximo jogo. Fizeram escolha do lado azul pra esse jogo 2. Vocês acham que isso é um grande impacto? Já muda muita coisa?
Acho que o first pick talvez, né? Vamos ver se eles vão com uma coisa mais decisiva. Eu acho que falta isso, falta ímpeto, falta vontade, falta botar uma coisa na cabeça e fazer ela. Você tem que ir atrás, senão você vê o adversário crescendo e você acaba perdendo. Então, primeira escolha, talvez para pegar um campeão com mais prioridade, que eles queiram traçar uma estratégia em volta dele.
Eles têm que, acho que, tentar jogar um pouquinho mais esse ímpeto, né, que o Gruntar comentou, acho que jogar um pouquinho mais rápido e talvez pelo draft mudar as coisas que eles têm. Mas eu não acho que esse jogo foi muito decidido em lado, em draft, foi muita execução. Mid-game da Cage foi melhor.
É isso, então a gente vai para um rápido intervalo e daqui a pouco a gente volta para esse jogo de número 2 de Flamengo contra Vivo Cage Stars.
Okay, I'm back. And we got Flamengo, BKS game 2, and Kate starts taking game 1 in style. Yeah, they just snowballed really well. Like they correctly recognized the strong point for themselves, and they just abused the crap out of it. And Flamengo didn't respond early. I don't know. Kind of weird for them. On one hand, it didn't feel like Flamengo made like huge mistake. They just made one big mistake they never quite addressed. So stop trying to curse it, Luna. No pauses, please. Yeah, smooth games is good. I don't know. I'm just really like I didn't sleep well last night, so I'm just really tired today. If we get that many pauses, I'm just gonna like fall asleep in the middle of the stream. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm very. I hope Flamengo wakes up because that sort of mistake I don't expect to see again. Putting a bad losing matchup with no help and just not playing to the other side of the map. Kind of blame Yampy for that a little bit. As for Arcade Stars, hey, good performance from them. Off that one game, I'm not gonna move them up. I need to see like how they play out the rest of the series. The problem is they've been so volatile that I don't know if this is just one of the good games again, or whether it's like actually, hey, we've woken up and started fixing our problems. I'm kind of leaning more to the former right now, so yeah, let's see how it goes. In the meantime, we balloons. I find it really weird that between series, the break is shorter than between games. I guess because they have more like post game and pre game, like between series. But yeah, still a little bit annoying that the breaks are so long. The second series feels pretty recorded. I mean, it was a game. Was indeed a game of League of Legends. It was just a really slow game of League of Legends too, I guess, more than anything else, which is why it was kind of bad. Yeah. Like I said, I hope Game 2 is more active. I do think that's a large part of where they all fell apart was, yeah, just kind of not really taking advantage and doing something in the early game, just letting the game happen. There we go.
Estamos de
We're
volta
done the
para
break.
esse jogo de número 2, então, entre Flamengo e Vivo Cade Stars. Reforçando que o Flamengo volta fazendo a escolha do lado azul do mapa. E a gente fica agora nessa expectativa para saber se
not a ton of OPs taken out necessarily from... Yeah, and I've said this before, I think with the way Fearless works, Game 1, Game 2, you won't feel the effects of Fearless that much. We have to get to a Game 3 first. Lots of OPs still open. Nefiri's off the table, unfortunately. And again, we didn't get really to see Nefiri pop off. Like, this comp was not about Nefiri. This could have been any early game, any damage jungler or jungler who could skirmish early game, and the outcome would have been exactly the same. Yeah, but most of the old OPs that we're seeing in week 1, like Sedge, Maokai, Ivern, Wukong, Nocturne, all the jungles effectively are still open. Because we saw Nefiri Shin, which aren't exactly high priority champions. The support pool is really open too. Like Rel and Rakan and Alistar all just got ignored this game for some weird reason. Leona Nautilus is well. Leona's taken, so Nautilus is still
É,
available.
sai da carisma.
Braum's still available. Ashe is still available.
Ah, tem um monte
Ah,
de vou catar. É só você ver
most of the AD carries are
negativo
open.
que o jogador
Mid laners are
tem que
open.
entregar, cara, sei lá.
É,
I guess Talia is off the board for Quats, which is kind of a big deal.
Tem diversos packs,
Yeah.
assim, a gente
Quats
vai
has some
ver
interesting
também.
champ picks you can play in the mid lane as well.
Cassindra eu nunca vi ganhar.
Na minha mão, nenhum ganha.
Ah, não, tudo bem. Aí eu
Calma.
Yeah, I think blue side probably we'll see side swaps. Flamengo take blue side.
Aí o problema é entre a
Rumble
carreira
was
e o
open and just
jogo.
unpicked throughout this as well.
É verdade. Bom, vamos
Top
ver
lane.
então como é que eles vêm pra esse jogo de número 2.
And now with Jace kind of out the picture as well, I think if anything, Rumble becomes even more viable.
É, e aí vai ser uma derrota amarga, porque esse primeiro jogo foi ruim. Foi o primeiro jogo
I don't hate the Mbessa trade that we saw for Rumble. I still think Rumble won that
Como
game
eles
still,
perderam,
but
meio que os motivos,
um,
assim, que foi um pouco dessa apatia, não jogar tanto pra cima, não querer comprar o jogo, e aí
Yeah.
entender que assim, nenhum time
but
gosta
the
de
Mbessa
perder,
was starting to
assim,
win the
quando
1v1s later, so I
entende que
could
faltou
actually see that
ali,
being a
faltou
handshake that
jogar
teams would
pra
be willing to
cima,
take.
E a gente normalmente vê essa tentativa de compensar no segundo jogo.
Na semana passada eles comentaram bastante sobre essa postura que faltou um pouquinho no jogo deles da semana passada, porque eles também acabaram perdendo. Então eu acho que eles estão sentindo um pouco esse momento de que,
And
galera, tem que estar na mesma
I thought they
vibe
like hop into
agora,
the game a little bit
tem que
faster
tomar confiança.
with
É
such
um
a
time
long
experiente,
break
é um
between
time com
games,
uma
but
galera que sabe muito bem
alas,
lidar com muitas questões dentro do jogo, então, e como a gente tá
It is
falando,
not.
né, eu acho que essa narrativa que a gente tá contando aqui de que é a terceira semana e agora quem ainda não tá muito bem adaptado à sua
So back to
equipe
Bloons we
precisa
go.
se encaixar, eles também estão entendendo esse momento.
Tem um ditado milenar aí no futebol, Jéssica.
Ah,
A melhor defesa é o ataque.
às vezes é melhor.
Se você não ataca, você não ganha o jogo. Não tem como.
Ah,
Caster
e,
start the
eles
game.
tá muito-
It's gonna pop up fully dropped it
Eu
again.
acho que principalmente isso que eles têm que tentar mudar,
Man.
eu diria que pelo setup, assim, né, pelo que a gente
That's
vê na
high-key
partida, você
annoying.
jogar contra um time que tá estacando 3 lágrimas, é uma boa chance de você ir pra cima.
Aham.
Mas que acho que é identificar isso, tentar mudar um pouquinho a composição, não sei se os jogadores que estão acostumados a jogar iniciando
I just realized
estavam
that-
com os campeões
yeah, wait,
que eles
I'm doing this wrong.
precisavam, porque a gente viu, por exemplo, o Yuppie jogando com um Xante, precisava pegar o flanco, o Momoshi era o cara que tinha que estar jogando mais iniciando, o Yamp não tinha necessariamente essa arma assim para iniciar, então talvez
There we
mudar um
go.
pouquinho
That's
a
how
própria
this is supposed to work.
estrutura da composição deles.
Eu acho também que é um pouco difícil você abusar dessa
Hum.
demora pra lágrima estacar, né? Porque você precisa ter campeões de early game. Você não tinha ali naquela composição campeões que iam ser grandes presenças assustadoras, assim, nesse começo de jogo. Que não iam,
Oh, wow,
inclusive,
I got
não
wrecked.
iam conseguir
Did I just
pressionar
lose
a
with that?
rota, que é uma coisa
Yep,
muito importante
one shot,
agora nesse
okay.
momento de game. Como que o Yuppie Scansante ia conseguir pressionar
Não,
o
Time to Vu, yeah.
ia conseguir
I mean,
pressionar
Vu with all those wait times. What are we waiting for?
a Syndra, né, contra uma Thalia.
I'm gonna. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna laugh if it's just like another pause that we're waiting out, but no, I'm not laughing. I'm actually quite sad about that. If it's like another pause that's just causing all these problems.
Por isso que é líder de tabela.
Não tô falando que tem que
Is-
ficar dando flash no covil.
É.
Mas é a postura, entendeu? A gente não viu o Yamp
Waiting
fazer
for
uma jogada
TSM.
no time, não.
É, o-
No, I'm surprised. I think it speaks a lot to how old League is that we didn't see
Nenhum dos dois.
jokes about TSM for April
Pô,
Fools.
tá atacando as lágrimas.
Correto. Tá aí na tela, então.
I remember they used to see, like,
escolhas, já
jokes
as
about it.
composições formadas pra ambos os times. A gente vê que o
But
Flamengo
not
então, agora
anymore.
muda totalmente. Traz um Rumble, uma Sejuani, que já movimenta um pouco mais esse mapa. O Ione também na mão do piloto, que é um campeão muito importante.
Oh, Bren made a joke about
Hoje, pra mim,
Fluxu.
a gente tá falando sobre isso.
Okay, there we go. There's the draft.
Essa Hell, que eu acho
Damn
que
it.
é uma das
Okay, at least
principais
it's still in draft order.
pelo lado da Vivo Cade Styles, a gente tem Ari, vai-
Though it looks like Flamengo just dropped it straight top to bottom,
veio aí, e o Alistar também aparecendo.
which is
Pra mim, a composição do Flamengo agora é
something we see
sangue nos olhos,
oddly
entendeu?
commonly right now.
Agora, vambora, é pra cima.
E assim, tem
Aí.
aquela coisa que eu falei, né, de ter agora a iniciação.
There we go.
também do
Okay,
Yuppie,
yeah,
acho que
Rumble made it through the first time. And you get Rumble and Sedge and Yone. Damn.
ficou aceitando muitas iniciações.
Yo, actually, 5 out of 5. Let's see if there's actually anything that VKS have as an answer to this.
Vai acabar indo pro mid, né? Então a única escolha ali que vai acabar trocando pro time da VKS. E o Jin não tinha muito o que fazer, né? Porque
Oops,
a segunda
what have I done?
rotação, os dois times estavam sem os
Click something
atiradores,
off
e
on
aí
the
foram
side.
4 bans de
Let me
ADC,
fix
né?
this.
Zeri, Zaya, Ashe,
Give
Kai,
me a sec. I did something in my
aí veio
OBS.
esse
Let
time,
me
e a VKS acabou indo pro Cork.
fix
O time do
it.
Flamengo
Okay.
tinha tanta opção
There we go.
Lembrando que
Ari Vi, okay. That's a good, like, try and punish somebody style. The Ambessa, like we said, the
Mas a gente
trading for
tá até
the
conversando sobre
Rumble.
isso
A
no
lot of
intervalo,
agency,
né?
and then
O
Jin
time tá
Alistar.
numa postura diferente, é um
Ooh.
jeito diferente de se jogar que a gente tem
I don't really. Okay, it's a pick comp. It's not bad. It's kind of just a pick comp for the most part, and then you just skirmish constantly. You have a pretty strong early game, but yeah, I'm not a super big fan. I do. Do I like the Jhin? Like the Jhin makes sense here as a potential engage tool for the team to slow people down so that Vi can or Ari can actually get in range and kick things off, or Alistair can look for the headbutt. But yeah, I'm not super crazy about this comp. Does it even answer this? Not really. Like you could single target out the Yone or the Corki, I guess. It's not the worst comp to try and run into this. It's not the best either. At least you've got mobility to try and dodge around for like 3 out of 5 of your champions. I'll give it a 3. It's not terrible. It's just very meh comp. Okay. Yeah, Flamengo have everything they want, and I think very importantly, when you consider that in game 1, like Casante just could not play into Jace at all. Like it was just useless. This time, Rumble actually wins out early against Mbessa. Yone will lose against the Ari, but again, that's fine. It's only for like till first item. I think Corki Rel should actually beat Jhin Alistar. You apply pressure. So it's a much better early game. You don't have like a lane that's completely unsalvageable. And if it's mid lane that you're losing, it's fine too, because both your support can roam up as well as your jungler can roam in. So Pilot shouldn't get completely dumpstered. And if he does, it's partially on his own. It's on the team. It's not just him. So yeah. Yeah, I like the drops from Flamengo a lot. If they lose with this draft, something's gone horribly wrong for Flamengo. Like, yeah, either that or Katesar's got incredibly lucky, but I don't even think that. You need to get lucky multiple times, so. Yeah. I do find the ban somewhat interesting, though. The Aatrox ban against Yups. What on earth has happened to my pen? Why did it suddenly get so thick? Yeah, the Aatrox ban I think is a very interesting one, because Yups has actually had some amazing carry performances back on Pain Gaming Academy. So, yeah, it feels like a bit of a respect ban in a way, but Aatrox over Rumble? Like, that's just a question mark to me. If anything, well, no, Yampi had a really good Nocturne game. I was gonna say maybe you let through Nocturne, but yeah. I find it hilarious that we're banning Xayah's area away. Yeah, it is Ninja QB after all. His Zeri is actually really good. I'm glad we see the Ashe ban though. I think that's something that needs to be banned away from Smalley. Smalley's really good at it. And if Quats is having a good performance like he did in game 1, then Smalley can afford to go a slightly more utility champion and less damage oriented. Okay, at this point, I've just got to assume there's some sort of like bug happening, or there was a redraft or something. Because this is a particularly long pregame.
Vai ter que vir o dano de algum outro lugar. E vai vir de onde?
A Ambessa e a Ari estão aí pra tentar fazer isso. E a gente já viu que a passiva do Jhin recebeu um buffzinho nesse patch. Então também tem um pouquinho mais de... Quando ele encaixa...
This T is not working at all. Actually, Hot Tea might have been a mistake. The warmth of the tea is making me sleep here. Not more awake. And I don't know how long it's going to take for the caffeine to kick in.
Gosta de jogar com a Kalista, eu acho que ele é o anti-gruntar.
Ah, que isso, não tem isso não. Se jogar bem e ganhar, pra mim tá valendo. É só
aí o boneco é bom.
Yeah, I really like the Flamengo comp. It's so easy to execute. Kate Stars is going to be a little bit messy. The sickest part, okay, so I know I complain a lot about Yone, or not complain, but I talk a lot about Yone being an OP champion. To me, one of the things that makes it so incredibly OP is the fact that it's not just ult-based. You can miss your ult and still have huge relevance as Yone. I know we didn't see it last series when Linkus played it, but we've seen it when Pilots played it before. Even if you somehow, even if your ult's down, you can still have massive impact. And that's why I think this is like a just straight up 5 comp. Because all the champions to a certain degree have that strength, right? Like Corki is not about his ultimate at all. His ultimate is just a poke spell, right? His Phosphorus Bomb probably hits harder in a team fight. Rel can still put a ton of disruption even without Magnet Storm. Rumble is probably the most ult-based champion on this side. But even then, his Flame Spitter can do a ton of work, so... I'm very curious to see how K-Stars Academy can actually play, or how they look to win this game. I think there is a draft gap here in this game.
O que que o time da Cade vai fazer? Como eles vão desempenhar essa composição, uma composição mais difícil.
And low-key, I'm kind of looking at Quats to be the difference maker again.
Muito encontrar os schemes. Já o Flamengo vem
I feel like that's the one lane where K-Stars Academy actually have the big lane advantage. And what Shino managed to do to Youp's last game, I feel like Quats needs to do to pilot this game.
A gente tem que tomar bastante cuidado com a fase de rotas, né? A gente falou bastante.
But mid lanes are a lot harder to get that sort of canyon going just because of all the other people who visit the lane. It's not really a 1v1.
Já consegue curar bastante, tem o escudo, ele consegue neutralizar bastante o dano.
It's more of a
mágicos e o Yamp ele vem para mais
3v3, 2v2 sort of situation most of the time.
Frente lá na selva do Sarulu.
Tá aí, vamos ver se com essa Sejuani o Yamp consegue participar um pouquinho mais do jogo. No jogo anterior o Shinzal dele acabou não entrando na partida. Tem várias opções agora o time do Flamengo para fazer jogada, para atacar, para ir pra cima da galera daqui.
Jungle starting on opposite sides. Interesting.
Prestando atenção para ver se vai ter invasão, alguma coisa desse tipo, mas aparentemente vai ficar o
Sedge wants to gank top lane.
do mapa da sua selva, enquanto o
Why is piloting the Raptors, bro? Oh, he's charging up his Q, okay.
No caso em que ele precisava gastar a sua ultimate, que era seu principal recurso para defesa, né? O Sarolu conseguia fazer um avanço muito agressivo com aquela Nafiri e toda vez que ele pulava, o Yamp tinha que ter a sua ultimate disponível exatamente para empurrar ela fora. Aqui embaixo.
Yikes. Yeah.
Vai pra cima já do Scamber, aproveita aí.
So, with Alistar, he is kind of squishy. He doesn't have that many resistances early. His tankiness is almost all tied into his ultimate. Unbreakable. Will. But he does have sustain. He can heal up in lane, so. Oh, the insta cleanse from Smalley. But that was kind of clean. He didn't even break his step. It sucks that he had to blow that early, but. Yeah, I don't know if Flamengo can really take advantage of that. It's I don't think, and most they get a good trade. I don't think they actually have kill threat this early on in the game. Ooh. Dang. I mean, props to Pilot. He's losing a lot of health, but he's actually up CS. I think Quats has missed some CS trying to get some poke onto Pilot. That's the risk of Foxfire. It's guaranteed damage if you're in range, but it can also mess up your wave if you're just out of range. Yeah, Yves can afford to be a little bit more liberal with his Flame Spitter use here when he knows the jungler's coming up. No! Pilot missed the siege! That's unfortunate. Shino's actually just straight up outplaying Yups this series. Interesting. Like, I thought Shino was good, but I always thought Yups was like tier 1 ready. Apparently not. Oh, that flash from Ninja Kiwi. Yo, that's so good! That, oh my goodness. That flash from Ninja Kiwi over the pulverize from Scamber was clean. Okay, Ninja Kiwi, I see you. You are seen and you are verified.
A Trindade é muito importante pro Cork conseguir aplicar dano, conseguir ser chato e pra dar tempo do resto do seu time chegar no seu.
Okay, Yips is finally actually getting the damage onto Shino. Shino was playing that top lane incredibly well. Maybe Saru's gonna try and swing it again. I mean, technically, if you get the Ambessa rolling, once Ambessa starts to win that top lane, it is kind of tough for Rumble, but. Yeah. If Sarula wants to gank this lane, he's got a small window. Half a level more and Yups gets equalizer and the gank gets really tough for two melee champions. Oh, interesting. Lane swap already. They're looking for the dive. Yups is not close enough to it yet. Okay.
Ah, o Ambessa pula 7 km.
É, gastou o próprio flash, mas conseguiu sobreviver. E aí o time do Fla agora
Here's the
vai
roam
pra
up.
torre, mas
Yeah,
vai
good call
chegar
from Yus to
perto
not
daquele
just back in that
barreiro.
bush.
Pode ser 3 contra 3 perigoso.
I don't know if they saw it,
Também
but they, yeah,
chamando a
the call was
galera,
good.
Sarulu vem fechando, todo o resto da Cade tá posicionada.
Oh, Scamber is so screwed. He's only level 3.
Muito dano, eles fizeram um engage.
Is Pilot? Oh, Pilot's not 6 yet. If Pilot was 6, they're also dead. They blow more flashes. Oh, they're so low. Oh my goodness. Holy crap, Shino actually lives. I thought they were just gonna get double killed right there. Again, no, they're very lucky that Pilot isn't 6 yet. Quats actually hit 6, but Pilot doesn't. And Pilot had to leave that lane partially early.
Pode ter mais briga aqui, o
Ooh.
time do Flamengo tá posicionado.
Oh, that was fun.
Vai fazer os 3, o time do Flamengo não tem contestação e não vai conseguir nem responder do outro lado, a galera da Cade tá totalmente.
So for Kate Stars, they do manage to funnel a bit more XP into their lanes, but
Sarulu quer roubar?
oh,
Deixaram pra ele, né?
Tá louco.
Saíram fora, vão
Yeah.
quebrar aí a execução, né, do
yeah, because again, they have somebody with ultimate, and Smiley also got a little bit of an edge,
É, qual é?
farming up.
Sabe disso? Ela
Não, eu
sabe.
não sei. A Fogueta não sabe de nada.
Fogueta
Não?
sabe.
Não, a
É que
Fogueta não
a
sabe.
front woman é a Tabinha, né?
Yeah, but Scamber was so screwed. He was level 3 walking into that. He just got absolutely
Pelo
melted.
que eu ouvi,
Holy.
assim, a
Tá.
Fogueta é a que sobra, que fica
Ah,
sozinha.
então tá bom, então tá bom.
Ah,
Nossa,
então
não,
foi essa
que
última aí.
isso.
I'm actually really surprised Kate Stars opted for the
Vai
fight.
Gosto
nascer
de
ainda,
você, Fogueta.
na próxima. Mas é curioso que a gente acabou de...
It might come back to that.
Agora, porque foi
Maybe they thought it was
uma
like a smaller skirmish. They weren't expecting all the bodies to show up
conseguindo
from
puxar
Flamengo,
bastante
because Flamengo sent all 5.
Aí a gente
where Kate Stars
viu
only
que
sent 4.
tava chegando pra encaixar
But the problem is that gets worse with them once the ults actually get unlocked. Now the team fight, like that fight wasn't even Flamengo when they're in team fighting mode. That's they were still in laning mode at that point.
Ninguém do Flamengo. Então, no final das contas, a rota ficou na metade por ali, ninguém ganhou pressão.
Yeah, but now there we go. Equalizer unlocked, Fate Shield unlocked,
Começou a se movimentar
Ninja
no
Glacial
celular,
Prison
E aí o
unlocked.
Flamengo simplesmente recuou e deixou a última pro Sarolu. Então, apesar deles estarem fazendo
Momochi's aggression on the Rel looks a lot better than his aggression on the Amumu. The Amumu looked like just untempered over aggression.
Tem alguns momentos que eles ainda estão pisando um pouquinho no freio, respeitando
Oof.
talvez até demais a Vivo Kate
That's
Stars.
health, Momochi's
Tá
health.
jogando com o frengão puxado.
Estão ainda sendo bem cautelosos, né? Agora o 4 conseguiu causar bastante dano ali pra cima do Momote. Dá pra entender, né? O nível 7 aqui, o mid laner, enquanto o suporte ainda tá no nível 4. Faz toda essa diferença. Vem também o dano do eletrocutar, né? Uma runa que tá muito forte nesse momento.
Sarulu 6 as well. Oh, they're looking at cheese.
Vamos ficar
É pra
ligados
cima
nessa
dele.
jogada.
Yubs
aí.
doesn't have flash.
O Chino
Foi?
ameaça.
Oh!
Agora sim apareceu. Flashou, veio pra cima. Eles estão no equalizador. Aí
Yeah, he's
veio
dead.
o Yubs,
That's too much
não
damage.
resiste. E o Sarulu pega uma barreira,
Perfect,
time
perfectly
dele.
played from Kate Stars Academy. This is exactly what you want to do. Like they have strong solo lanes that will pair well with the Vi. Just go with those ganks.
Mas enquanto isso, o
Neither Yone nor Rumble have great escapes. Like Yone's got Fate Sealed-ish, but like Soul Unbound is not really an escape spell because he drags you back. So yeah, you can absolutely abuse the jungle ganks into those lanes.
Olha a entrada do piloto. O Momochi também não consegue. O Scamber por enquanto foi sempre
Scamber
pra
barely able to get
expulsar
out.
todo mundo do Flamengo. Achei que a Cade tinha avançado demais. Eles sabiam que estavam fazendo o dragão ali.
Yeah.
Mas consegue sair graças à habilidade.
Dragon for a kill, effectively was the trade
primeiro
there.
dragão do jogo, né? Pro Fla, agora o 4 vai tentar ainda. Tá na visão ali. O Momote, enfim, não acho que ia conseguir eliminar,
Okay.
né? Agora sim o Scamber vai indo pra frente. Tem o primeiro.
Are they looking for the
objetivo
dive down
também,
bot now?
objetivo fechado aí pro time do Fla com esse dragão.
Uma coisa que eu ia comentar antes
With
da
curtain
jogada
call,
em
it's
cima do
doable
Yubs,
from
é que o
great
Smiley
range.
tava um level na frente do Ninja QI por
Yeah,
conta da
Pilot knows.
movimentação que ele fez pelo
Good
mid,
instincts from
né,
Pilot.
de
Really good instincts.
continuar empurrando a rota da
And now that
Ninja,
Momochi's
e
here, it's
ainda
okay.
continua um nível na frente do Ninja. Então, ele, né, que tá vindo, a gente tá até vendo aí na tela a nossa barrinha, o Ninja é o cara que tá com 2 abates, é o cara que tá conseguindo acelerar.
Yeah, the solo
mas
laners
fazendo
for
essa
Kate Stars have
composição,
experience.
E é um cara muito importante, Quats.
O outro foi pra cima dele.
Não
Mas vai ter
chega.
que voltar, não tem muito como. O Quats tá bem no jogo. A gente acabou de ver ali, é o cara que tá mais na frente em questão de nível, né? O farm dele também tá muito
He's
bom,
gonna
é o top
regank
4 da
Yups.
partida.
I don't know if
Então,
Scamber
vai
has
pegar o
enough
Yups,
damage to actually get the
dessa
kill.
vez o Yups vai sair.
Ele tava sabendo ali até onde ele podia chegar, tinha também, de certa forma...
This
posição
Alistar feels
dominante,
homeless right
tava
now, just
próximo,
roaming
se
around
preparasse
everywhere.
pra essa luta dava tempo de chegar a Sejuani, e o jogo ele vai dando essa...
Like it would.
Mornada, né?
He would benefit from getting level 6 first before roaming this heavily.
Eles vão dando uma segurada, tá pra nascer a segunda leva de vacilarvas e aí sim a gente pode ter o jogo pra frente.
Jesse, mas eu não
Fala.
acho que no momento em que o Flamengo tá, era pro jogo tá amornando tanto.
Também acho que não, inclusive a vantagem de ouro que eles pegaram naquela primeira jogada grande.
How lucky do K-Stars Academy feel right now?
Pode ser mais uma briga aqui, porque os
Because they're wanting to fight this. Like they're calling for the TP. Both mid laners are coming in. Pilot's really far away though.
Avançando, o teammate pegou no Sarolu. Passou por ali o piloto e lá de trás o Smiley. Abriu o ultimate, vai, mano.
Oh, no equalizer to come down. That's huge. A lot of damage missing. Yeah, Pilot's in the middle of them too. Nicely played from K-Stars. Really nicely played. Okay. Very, very impressed. I think Yampi pulled the trigger a little bit too soon with the Glacial Prison. The brothers were not on the same page. Hey, Dark Knight. You're coming in for, I think, the good series. Yeah, this feels a bit CDLCK, but at the same time, like, it's good choices. K-Star's playing really well right now. That's a really good fight. That one already happened. I mean, the Rats versus Kaboom already happened. This is the second series. Rats versus Kaboom was better than I had feared. Like, Rats actually put up a decent fight, but it is Kaboom after all, right? And Kaboom is a CB low team. So it's really tough for Rats to try and play into that. This is the second game of the second series, though. K-Stars already won the first game, which was really, yeah. They identified the weak spots and just punished Flamengo for a weak lane with no backup. This game too, Flamengo draft is like incredibly OP, but K-Stars is playing very, very well in the early game so far. They won the first big team fight, which is surprising. Like, how this comp team fights, I don't know, but they actually won it, so. Props to them. And now Momoshi's actually behind in levels. He was actually up EXP on Scamber initially, but now he's behind.
É, e agora o Chino tá conseguindo trocar pouco melhor ali contra o Yamp. Essa ambição crescendo, pode ser...
O outro é o Yups.
Yeah, Yups might be in a spot of bother too. When Rumble starts losing that lane, it generally goes downhill in the 1v1 from there.
A gente tinha comentado nos Picks e Bans como essa ambeça tinha papel de protagonismo muito grande nessa composição, já que o Jin vai dever pouco nesse dano, né? E a gente já tá vendo agora o Chino aí antes dos 15 minutos de jogo.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. That's why, like, I'm not saying that Flamengo will win this for sure. Just that, yeah. And I'm just impressed. The K-Stars is finding ways to get around the sort of OP AoE engage. What is going on? Is this my connection? Here, I let it buffer an extra half a second. We'll see if that keeps happening. Okay. I don't know what is happening here. I'm letting it buffer like a couple of seconds first, and then, yeah. Hopefully it's fine. Yeah, that's the one problem with a lot of these AoE wombo combo compositions, is if you start losing team fights, you don't have a comeback mechanic, right? All you can do is team fight. I mean, we're not at that point yet, but K-Stars is getting significant advantages right now from turret plates and just rotations. They also got like second Drake, uncontested, untraded, and they also got the second set of grubs. So game's pretty even. When you consider the strength that Flamengo have in their base kits versus the gold advantage that K-Stars have.
Mas se não, os objetivos vão demorar ainda pouquinho mais por conta dessa quebra dos campos de vacilarvas.
Acho que o time da Cade tá bem perto de derrubar uma primeira torre, cara.
Eles estão sempre com pressão, né?
É, muita pressão em todas as rotas. O time do Flamengo parece estar meio perdido em relação ao mapa, né? A gente viu ali no bot, eles não conseguiram defender, levou aquelas duas barricadas, no meio também tá nessa situação. Lá no topo, o Chino conseguiu
an infernal map.
Empurrar bastante.
Ooh, these dragon fights are going to be spicy.
O Scamber e o Momoshi apoiando os top laners.
Estão chegando bem aqui no mapa, né, o time da VKS. E sempre chegando no objetivo, chega um pouquinho antes, coloca a visão. Agora o time do Fla tá respondendo um pouquinho
What?
mais, né, um pouquinho
Wait,
melhor.
why didn't Momoshi finish that off?
Na rota inferior, tá, tem um matchup
Why did we just leave that ward there?
matchup agora, porque o
You're gonna lose the control ward now.
agora tá encarando o Pilot.
Like, that's an expensive
Esse Ione. Então,
choice.
o time tá muito melhor otimizado, vão dar
There's a cost to this.
Perigoso.
Perigoso, hein? Sarolo veio, corta a onda de
Oh?
Minas, o piloto.
Oh, that was really good patient play.
Ele usou um bom flash pra escapar e a galera do Flamengo encaixou um teleporte.
Does he have ult? No, he doesn't. Oh, wow. Wait, that's actually crazy. I thought Sarulu and Shino did really well waiting for the engage on Pilot, but Pilot actually gets the kill on the 1v2. Damn. Yo, that's damn. Pilot has always been a very good defensive mid laner, but watching the 1v2 is crazy.
A gente tá vendo aquela jogada no mid que acabou virando aí abate em cima do Smile.
Oh, they just got baited.
Fizeram uma tentativa de chegar pra cima do
Nice.
Ninja, mas aí
Yeah, I think Moshi hitting 6 is massive for them.
pra defender o seu AD carry,
The Rel with the Magnet Storm.
não é
If they had that in the last fight, maybe they could have turned it.
muita movimentação.
Tempo
acaba
better than
sendo
boards.
pego e cai. E aquele dive lá embaixo
Apparently,
foi um pouco desrespeito da Vivo Cage
Tempo
Stars também, porque
this
foi esquisito.
split has felt
Era Ione
more
que
important, I
vinha
feel
com
like, than previous
movimentação
splits. I was just telling Luna earlier that I feel like
e
the
agora
teams have actually done really badly this year. Like, all the teams feel weaker than last year
anular um pouco a força do Ione,
for some weird
vai
reason.
por água abaixo, porque a gente já
But
viu que
today,
o
like,
Flash consegue bater bem.
yesterday and today, it feels like teams are getting better. I think they've woken up. Like, I suspect split one. Well, in CD, there was no split one, right? This is a split one for CD. But it feels like teams were not really fully awake yet. And then this week, they're finally there. They're playing better. Their macro is cleaned up.
Vai cair a torre do poste, hein? Mas enquanto isso, né, não contesta aqui em cima, mas sem o crossmap. A Ambessa tá sozinha lá embaixo.
E se derrubar a torre,
Their macro is improved, I say, as Quats just TPs into lane.
Botas com upgrade então pro time da Cage.
To try and set up something?
Nossa, não tão vendo ali, Momote.
Oh, Sarulu's here. Quats might be dead before Sarulu gets here. Oh, the interrupt from Yampi is huge! It's not enough, but it was really good. Can Mochi get out? No. Oh, and they're dabbing Yampi. It's a bloodbath. Ooh, yikes. Holy. What a weird... I don't know, like... The dive onto Pilot bot lane was really weird. The fight mid lane was really weird. This top fight's really weird. I don't understand what is going on. Like... It's working, don't get me wrong. I just don't understand, like, the setup for it. It's just happening. Like, this was good from Pilot and the Momoshi. They got the damage down. There was no Fate Sealed. If there was Fate Sealed, maybe they could have turned it, but... Yeah. And then Kate Stars Academy just, like, tripled down on this. Yeah, I feel like Yampi ulted early there. He should probably just run further and then ulted backwards, like, when you're under turret. When you've got whoever's got aggro on you under turret. But yeah, wow, that's crazy. Aside from teams playing for the qualifier, most were still building their rosters. Yeah, true. And even now, like, Rats hasn't even finished their roster, right? They just got Beanie in today to play for the first time this split, right? Because they had Buero into Soweto having the cover last week into Beanie this week. And then, yeah, so. But yeah, I saw like the LTA South teams too. They felt like the Brazilian teams weren't fully awake for split one. So hopefully they are more awake now for split two. Classic empathy player trying to help and then just dying with your teammates. Yeah, kind of. But it just felt like for K-Stars too, like they invested a lot of resources in that top side. Flamengo weren't just able to punish anywhere else, which is, yeah. Okay. Oh, they want another one. Oh, hey. With the grubs. They should have had more grubs. I love how Yampi's just willing to turn around for the fight, actually. And Scamber's just melting. Oh, that's huge. Is it enough? That hit butt. Oh, man. Scamber just saved quads there. If not for the headbutt, that goes very, very poorly. But you see, this is what I'm confused about. Like, when K-Stars Academy made the play for topside, they committed all the resources there. And technically, they should have lost out somewhere else on the map. On this play, Flamengo commit all the resources, and they're losing Dragon for free. I just... I'm not quite sure what they're looking for. It's very like high risk, questionable reward. Like high risk mid reward, I guess, is what a lot of their plays feel like right now. For both these teams. I don't know why. Last game they were making like really generally good plays. Yeah, they were just doing what you had to do for macro. To be fair, K-Stars Academy was ahead significantly in the top lane, so I guess what they needed to do was more obvious. This game's a lot closer, so teams are taking risks. Ooh, nice from Ninja Kiwi. That's the second time he's done that, Scamber.
Ele teve pequeno deslocamento ali com a Valkyria e depois o Smiley também não consegue encaixar o aprisionamento do seu W e o Ninja sai de uma maneira até barata, né? Não gastou nenhum dos feitiços.
Yeah, up to almost 2,500 gold for K-Stars. That's a pretty good position to be in.
Pra brigar, né? Tudo bem, nasceu o Atacama, mas tá lá no topo, não tá ainda na hora de realizá-lo e aí acaba fazendo reset. A VKS sem grande custo.
The tough part for K-Stars right now is that, in terms of items, that's a big jungle lead. But I think by the time the Dragon and Baron spawns, well, more Dragon than Baron, Flamengo should have kind of equalized their item disadvantage. And they're still the better team fighting team, so... Or team fighting comp.
Grande resposta para essa área e nem pressão dessa. O Yups está muito prejudicado. Se ele for tentar bater de frente com qualquer um dos dois, ele pode acabar sendo abatido.
On one hand, I feel like Cade should be trying to play for side lane, but on the other hand, that they did get caught on side lanes, and I feel like that's one way you might end up losing is if you try and play for side lanes and got caught out.
E o Sarolu tá ali pra poder apoiar. Olha como veio pra cima do piloto. A hora que o piloto tenta engage, o Sarolu instantâneo.
Like, they all just blown there. Is Sarolu in trouble? Maybe. Oh, okay. He's out. He's fine. He runs fast enough. The feats are coming in real handy for K-Stars here. They're actually playing faster tempo-wise because of literally the boots kind of saved Sarolu there. The whole team was collapsing in. Oh, is Scamber dead? Unbreakable had to be used. Okay, he's out.
Fechou rapidinho, o Smiley tava de longe, ele tinha aclamação para poder participar. Pegou o encanto no Ninja, mas o time da Cade não conseguiu devolver tanto dano assim.
Yeah, Flamengo's playing well defensively around this mid outer turret. Cade is struggling to try and break it.
Tá castigando o Quats, hein? O Momoshi foi muito danificado. Scamber faz a entrada, lá de trás o Smiley abre o ultimate, as balas.
And they body block? Ooh, Ninja Kiwi still alive. Oh, Pilot got body blocked by Sarolu. Is Scamber into? No, he's fine. Okay. Unbreakable is such a short cooldown. I thought he just used it. Oh, the dancing grenade just canceled Momoshi's face.
Só com uma eliminação, acaba caindo só o
Unfortunate.
E é sempre a VKS buscando o jogo. Parece que o Fla não quer lutar, não quer ir pra cima e por isso a VKS vai encontrando o melhor ângulo.
Okay. Yeah, K-Stars again winning out that trade. It's very small wins, it's very incremental wins, but wins are wins and they build up over time.
Chegar no fundo, na verdade foi uma boa ultimate do Yups também, que caiu pro fundo ali, pra backline do time da Cade, mas eles conseguiram se posicionar muito bem, por isso que eles acabaram ficando com pouca vida também, né, por conta dessa ultimate do Rumble.
Okay. Sarolu's been just living in the Flamengo jungle this entire time. Surely no, he gets out again, right? Memoji gets so low on this play. Considering the amount of bodies they had. That's low-key funny to me how low he got.
Vai nascer o Dragão Infernal, que poderia colocar a VKS em ponto de alma. Uma vantagem boa pro time do Fla. Tá sem caçador. Caçador já tá sem flash, sem ult. É pra garantir esse drag.
Pelo menos o time da Cade tá aí, ó, do outro lado.
Yeah, but K-Stars are just playing macro better again. Like Flamengo make a play somewhere, they get a kill, and then that's it. K-Stars are always able to find like a turret, an objective, something to answer back. Quats doesn't even go down here. But the inner turret goes up, down up there.
A favor do time da VKS, eles de novo querendo jogar o crossmap
Oh.
agora pra cima do Yups.
O Yups usou um flash ali meio estranho.
Can they melt him?
São dois contra
There's a TP coming in.
teleporte chegando. Será que ele fica vivo?
Yep, okay. Well played from Yups, he's good. Oh, that hit bot again from Scamber. It got buffered. The shield? That's clutch. That's super clutch. That's actually giga huge for Flamengo. It's huge, but it's also very, very, very clutch. To a certain extent, Flamengo got a bit lucky on that. That KHS Academy chose to overextend.
O Pilot consegue eliminação, né, pra cima da Alistar, sozinho a Alistar ainda na volta, consegue cobrar o Chino, fica o Dragão, estão mais ou menos de volta na partida, respiram, a moral cresce.
É uma montanha russa de emoções, Fogueta.
É
Uma hora vai bem, uma hora vai mal, uma hora dá tudo certo.
uma
tá tudo
sucessão de
errado.
erros aqui por parte da Vivo
Yeah.
Cage, né? Começa com o Sarelu sendo pego fora de posição, com o dragão prestes a nascer. Aí a Cage faz uma boa escolha de pressionar aquele topo, porque o Quasi também tinha conseguido segurar o bot.
Still 2k up for K-Stars right now. But I think that gold is kind of nullified by just the compositional advantage. Oh, Shino's looking for the flank. He's there? They found Ninja Kiwi? Nope, they did not. Yeah, Momochi managed to create enough space. I think this is fine? Nope, not enough damage. Oh, Ninja Kiwi dies to Baron? No, he gets out.
Piloto encontrou bom ângulo para dar ultimate, enquanto o Ninja vai escapando lá do
Okay, so
outro
2 for
lado.
3 when it's all said and done.
O Ninja tenta se
I think
esconder,
Kate did a wonderful job pulling the trigger when they did.
porque a Cade tá
Oh
fazendo
no,
barão.
it's 1 for 3, not even 2 for 3. They stopped this?
Agora a VKS tem a liberdade de realizar o
I don't think they
objetivo.
can. Yeah, they just give up Baron.
Só perderam o Chino e vão garantir o bônus.
Olha como demora esse barão
What's the
aí.
setup for this?
É, vai ter até replay.
Okay, so they see.
Dá tempo do replay quando voltar.
Yeah, they know that they've got numbers advantage.
Garantido ali. E a luta
They call for TP first, so they just have more people faster.
ele não fala.
Ele não pontua.
I think Momochi did a good job buying as much time as possible. Ninja Kiwi actually got back out and created space, but yeah, it's just 3v5 to start for even 3 seconds is too long.
Tem mais uma. Mas aqui, de novo, a gente vendo que o posicionamento desse Yone nunca
Okay,
parece tá bom
Kate's impressing me today.
pra conseguir. Ai, que
Olha lá,
susto.
olha lá. É?
Fizeram
Tá
antes de voltar ao replay.
Foi pra você essa.
Não, tudo bem.
Pra você.
Valeu,
Again, just small, slow leads coming through from Kate Stars. They did this last game too. They're not giving Flamengo good opportunities to try and make a big comeback. But also, Flamengo are playing a little bit disrespectfully. Or, is that fair to call it disrespectful? I don't know. It just feels like Flamengo is not correctly identifying what Kate Stars comp is capable of doing. Last game, they just like left the Cassante to go die to a Jace in one of like in a really brutal 1v1 lane. And then this game, it feels like they're not respecting that the Vi Ari can take out any single person really fast, and that Smalley can engage from like 2 screens away. And even here, like they're focusing on Atakan and losing their base. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Flamengo just feels like they're not.
Cara, não,
Yeah.
não acho que é uma boa troca, não. Ainda com
Oh, and now Yups gets caught. Former teammates, by the way, Yups and Kots on Pain Gaming Academy.
agora levando essa torre. Eles querem forçar a jogada. Lá de trás o Smiley abre o seu ultimate. A primeira e a segunda bala já saíram. Ele não conseguiu dar aquela quarta bala. A time do Flamengo vem avançando. O Scamber defende a Cage do jeito que pode.
Yeah, with the GAs, they're willing to play that aggressively. They didn't even need the GAs. But see, again, they get kills, and what does Kate Stars get? Kate Stars get your base. They took an inhibitor, 2 inhibitor turrets, and an inner turret on the top side. That's a kill. Like, Kate are just getting more objectives every time.
Que eles também conseguiram ganhar, né, de travar o Flamengo ali, né, nessa rota do topo, permitiu que o Quats empurrasse bastante a rota do top, também chegassem os primeiros super minions pelo mid, nesse quesito, de novo, no quesito de tempo de mapa.
Flamengo need to abuse this Atakan that they have, the GA, try and get as much standing gold as possible, try and get kills.
Flamengo tem que fazer tudo que pode com esse buff do Atacão agora, o GSTV. Eles pegaram uma primeira torre.
Dragon,
do bot,
40
faltam
seconds.
40 segundos pro dragão, eles precisam desse dragão também. O problema é que eles têm que controlar as rotas laterais, né? Tem no meio o Super Minion.
I don't know if they can really fight this drag.
Tá dando um jeitinho.
The reset timing is a little
O
awkward.
Quats tinha empurrado aquela rota. O problema é que a Cade já tá toda numa...
Because by the time they get back to this, they're not going to have any control over this. So unless they brute force and just run their faces in.
Tá contra o Super Minion, o Smile não quer saber não, vai pra
Se
cima.
pegar o piloto aqui pode ser fatal pro time do Flamengo.
É, acaba dando uma recuada agora, tem que esperar a chegada do Rumble também, só que o Yuki parece que não quer descer. 4 vai chegar, mas a torre vai cair rápido.
Yup foi pra engajar o
TP do Quats.
Scammer, ele aceita, jogou 2 pro alto, Sarolu.
Okay, Quats with the TP flank.
Tem que se reposicionar, virou todo o Flamengo pra ele.
Yeah, see, once again, Kate Stars have numbers advantage. Yups is a late with the TP.
O Ninja também vai voltar. Chino faz o que pode pra aguentar de pé, mas ele acaba caindo.
I mean, nice equalizer, but
Pra encaixar uma boa luta,
yeah,
tirar
they just
todos
fall behind.
esses buffs.
Flamengo's just really, their tempo is all messed up this game. They're just perma behind
Só o
every
time
single time.
eliminado, o time da VKS agora garante espaço de mapa, vai ficar em ponto de alma infernal.
Boa movimentação do Quats nessa última luta, tá? Ele consegue encaixar um bom teleporte que pega o time do Flamengo todo pela
And props to Kate Stars. Kate Stars is absolutely abusing the fact that Flamengo are slow on the rotates for some weird reason today.
Pelo menos isso aí o time do Flamengo vai conquistar, garantir, é uma torre da base, né? Vai forçar inclusive a volta da galera.
I mean, I like this call from
Tá
Pilot,
no
but
chão. O Flamengo tenta pelo meio também, tá
it's
fazendo de tudo
kinda-
pra tentar recuperar um pouquinho o jogo. O Ouro não distanciou tanto assim, tá com esses 3 mil. Faz tempo, sobe um pouquinho.
can't we just walk over both of those
O
traps?
Cade ganhou muito mapa, já
When you see him trying to clear it and get gold.
muito o jogo.
Mas a Cade não resetou, né? Não voltou pra base depois dessas lutas aí do Dragão também.
Monchi has no GA. I don't like that
Quats e o Fla
flank angle he's
força
trying
ele pra
for when he's
ficar
got no
pra
GA
poder
and half
receber
health.
Mas acabou agora a onda de Minions, tem Super Minion chegando a favor da VKS e vai ficar difícil de colocar pressão.
Pelo topo também o Chino que acabou morrendo, então ele consegue fazer o seu reset e agora ele já começa a se movimentar pra empurrar aquele top de novo.
Vamos ficar ligado como que a Cade vai pressionar agora, porque eles têm a vantagem de ter Super Minions avançando pelo meio. Lá no bot o inibidor tá sozinho, tá pelado, né? A torre foi derrubada. Ainda assim eles tentam controlar o território em volta do Barão. O Barão falta 1 minuto e 10, até que falta um pouquinho. Tô vendo as zonas saindo.
Minute till Baron.
O Quats já tem zonas há algum tempo, saiu a zona agora pro Yups. São esses tipos de itens que às vezes fazem muita
Yeah,
diferença.
mid
na hora da
inhib
luta, né?
É, o
will
Flamengo tem
be
muito
respawning
mapa,
around that
muitas torres,
time.
mas agora vão ter que
I think
tentar
wave-wise they're
conseguir
fine.
ganhar a
They can just deal with the
tem que
wave.
colocar a visão pra cima do time da VKS. Não tem como brigar na questão do split, de jogar o pilot pro bot, não tem teleporte, nem ele, nem o Yups. Então tem que vir tentar tirar a visão pra poder contestar o Barão, que faltam 40 segundos pra nascer.
Pois é, o time da Cade conseguiu avançar a visão, tirar aí o que o Flamengo tinha de sentinela, eles voltaram base, então...
I want to see Flamengo actually be the one to pull the trigger for a change. So far, all the team fights have been Kate Stars recognizing that, hey, Flamengo is not fully here. We have numbers advantage, go. And the fights have still been fairly
Tem
close.
mais sentinela no inventário, Flamengo.
The goal difference is about the same as the last fight anyway, so... If Flamengo can pull the trigger and find the fight they want, I think there's a chance that, yeah. Like, just drop an equalizer right there. Yeah, perfect equalizer. Is it enough? That's not enough, okay. Yeah, too little, too late. It's done. It's over. Yep, if they couldn't do that, and that's like the perfect conditions they could kind of hope for, then I think, yeah, Flamengo
E sempre sabendo como executar
will not be able to win this game. Kate Stars just look too clean.
Meu amigo, não vai morrer não, hein?
Too strong.
Vai chegando a galera.
Garantiu o escudinho
Tá
da
tranquilo, tá tranquilo.
Like, you're praying for a Kate Stars mistake at this point, if you're Flamengo.
Vai cair a torre do Ninja, mas
Because that fight was as well as you could hope for. You're in the corridor, it's a tight choke, you get the equalizer down, you got the jump on Sorolo as well. You couldn't even kill Sorolo.
O problema é que agora a Cade, com esse
Doesn't get much better than that.
tanto de mapa que eles têm, vai ser difícil pro Flamengo segurar.
E aquela luta também que eles conseguiram encaixar ali, né, que a gente acabou de ver, forçou muitos recursos do time do Flamengo. A gente tá vendo que a ultimate do piloto já tá voltando, a ultimate do Yups já voltou, do Yamp também. Mas a Cade, além de tudo, como eles fazem esses...
Yeah, the funny part for this Flamengo AoE comp is this is probably the best wombo combo you can get when you're playing from behind, because you still have skilling. It's not like you fall off the edge of a cliff.
Mas a
But-
ultimate do Jin de longe acaba forçando as
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like there's any ways for them to come back in right now.
diferentes, né? Então, quando ela vai faz faz a primeira entrada, gasta-se uma ultimate. Quando o Jhin abre aí a vai sai, o Jhin abre a sua
This burn
ultimate,
buff is like
outra-
particularly hard to
outro
deal with
recurso
too.
do Flamengo tem que ser gasto.
The wave
Então,
clear from
a
Flamengo
Cade
is not
vai
amazing, and
pegando
their range is very, very
tudo
short.
que o Flamengo tem pra utilizar aos poucos,
Rumble
e é
and
difícil
Yone are
de
effectively
voltar,
melee,
se eles não
and
têm
Corki
mais
has one of the shorter ranges among
Aí
AD
agora
carries
quem
when it
vai
comes to trying to wave
atacando pelo
clear.
meio com o Quats, o resto do time na parte inferior do mapa. Os dois inibidores aí estão sem defesas. Só depende do Flamengo se posicionar para tentar segurar essa onda de minion bufada pelo Barão. No meio deu certo, o piloto consegue limpar por ali. Na parte inferior do mapa também. Ainda assim a Cade vai pressionando devagarinho. O inibidor do meio tá muito detonado. O Quats vai aos pouquinhos ali batendo e quem ainda uma catapa. O piloto faz o que pode.
Yeah,
ali,
Quats just gonna let that
passando
siege minion
sai no
siege.
meio do encanto. Yup, vem pra cima, ultou na backline,
Yikes,
vai
Yampi
ter
missed.
sucesso assim.
Okay, so Rolu stepped onto the equalizer though, so there's a chance.
É detonado. Quats chegou por
Or
trás,
not. They couldn't get on Smalley.
Smalley's
Smalley's free firing. There's like zero pressure on this Jhin right now.
Lá na backline, tenta pegar todo mundo. E
Yep.
o piloto foi abatido.
That's rip. That's
Aí
it.
ficou difícil. A Cade domina
And that's gonna be game.
os abates e avança pra cima da base.
Pra destruir agora mais um inibidor do time do Fla.
Really good measured play from VKS. Oh,
Chegou
maybe
o
not,
Gil
because
Flamengo,
Scamber just dies. Okay.
garantiu o abate.
I thought that was gonna be game, but
Não consegue resistir. O time do Flamengo se segura, respira do jeito que pode.
interesting choice from Quats too. He TP into the top side rather than trying to TP the bot and cover.
Pro nosso Jhin, mas o dragão infernal tá vivo, é a alma infernal, eles estão correndo, mas tá vivo o Yamp. O Yamp tem o Smite.
Blame Dark Knight Lunar.
Cuidado, VKS.
Aí eles começam puxando esse dragão, vão tentar ganhar algum tempo. Tem 3 jogadores da Cade contra 4.
I mean, maybe Dark Knight's a bit of a Kate Stars fan, in which case he'll be happy.
O Yamp ficou travado, o Chino fica por ali, ameaçando o Ninja Kiwi. Galera da Cade.
Wow, Flamengo actually gonna get this dragon?
Na base, não
O
veio no
Sarolu tá
backline.
chegando. Vem o Chino pra tentar matar
Okay,
esse
they get the
jogo.
drag, but then what now?
Fez o dragão, o problema
Pilot has
pode
TP.
ser
Is he coming in?
claro. A galera da Cade
Ninja Kiwi's already
chegou
dead.
pra obliterar o time do Flamengo.
Yeah.
Balaço lá de trás.
It's a slaughter.
Os abates saíram e a Cade domina mais uma vez a luta. Piloto chegou aqui pra tentar ele
Yikes.
só vai morrer, meus amigos. Anjo Guardião vai voltar e aí já era pra ele.
Scamber just walked around the corner.
Esse pro time da Cade, que vem pra fechar o jogo.
Yeah.
Não
Okay.
tem mais ninguém vivo do
I think
Flamengo,
personally, I
não
actually
tem mais o que
MVP
fazer
Quats
pra
this
segurar
series.
essa base. O
Between
time
both
vai
games, I think.
botando os minions a
This
passar
game,
pra chegar
Smalley has
no
impressed me,
back.
but also he's had an amazing front line.
O time da Cade veio
Either Shino or Quats to me.
primeira partida, dominando a série.
Yeah, Flamengo looked
Mostrando
not
que
great
quem
this
ganhou o
series.
jogo, que vem pras cabeças, que
It looked
vem
like they had a
pra
certain game plan in their head of what they wanted to do, and they kind of stuck with it without looking at what the enemy team was doing to them.
vitória da Cade.
They're being taken apart. They're being absolutely shredded. And when it came to mechanics to this game, game 2 especially, Yampi didn't get a single good like team fight ultimate to kick things off. Pilot's Yone didn't get a good ultimate either. Yups was fine. Yups' Rumble got some good ults. Ninja Kiwi played fantastically, I think, this both games, game 1 and game 2. Ninja Kiwi did great. Which is, I guess, the whole point of the Ninja Kiwi award, right? That Ninja Kiwi does great, and then his whole team doesn't, and then he just ends up suffering. Yes. Yeah.
Acho que a execução dele
Uh,
muito. A Foguete tava falando ali perto
Yeah, that's
do
really interesting to me,
jogo,
though.
né?
The way they just kind of keeled over and died is not what I expected from
Sobre
Flamengo
o
here.
Sarulu ser o cara que ia
It doesn't
chamar
look
o
as
time de
bad as
volta
like
depois,
Rise, the
e
way they
saiu, ia
died,
tomar
but
todo o dano, ia dar
Rats
espaço
almost
pra
look better.
jogar, dar espaço também pra Ambessa jogar,
Yeah.
a ult do Jhin pra forçar, né,
Like
o
Flamengo
time
had
ficar
their
pra
game
também,
plan and then just
e
couldn't
essa
execute on it.
execução que contou muito pra fechar o jogo.
I just really don't like the way Flamengo didn't adapt to anything that Kate Stars Academy was doing to them.
Depois dessa, parece que o alvo prioritário do time do Flamengo vira
Like they didn't set up
Uhum.
in places first and then try and force the fights. You know, they were always engaged upon. They never found their own engages. But even that start of the fight was just like, okay, I engage and then. Like, Sejuani out came across as nothing to follow. So yeah, I was very, very impressed with Kate. For that, I'm willing to move Kate up. I'm not sold that Cade is like. I'm still gonna have them below Flamengo
Aquilo, né, se você
for now
iniciar
because I'm not sure this is normal for Flamengo and I'm not sure this is normal for
Cade.
Cade because yeah, Cade goes up and down a lot. High variance, that's the term. But this was a very good series from Cade. This is more like the Cade from last year when they were like second best or best. When they won split 2. not as dominant individually necessarily, but they just seem to like they all knew the game plan and they stuck to the game plan really well. What impressed me the most is that they weren't giving opportunities for Flamengo to get back in the game. Like we didn't see Shino just randomly split pushing and getting caught. For team fights, we always saw them approach it very respectfully. I really like the fact that they were using curtain call properly, not as a fight ender necessarily, but to kick off fights a lot of times. I like that a lot. Yeah. Like I said, if anything, Flamengo just disappointed me this game. This is not the same Flamengo we've been seeing the last couple of weeks. And that's the whole thing about this week, right? It seems like every team is just showing us their true colors. So we'll have to see if this happens again tomorrow. Tomorrow, Flamengo have a critical game, actually. They have Kaboom tomorrow. And the way Kaboom played today versus the way Flamengo played today, they could get 2-0 body like without any chance at the rate they're playing. So huge to them. Yeah, you've played well this game. Yeah. Quats surprised me. This is not what we're used to seeing from Pain Gaming Academy Quats. But this Kate Stars Academy Quats looks really good. I like his mid-game strength. He was making a lot of plays with the Talia game 1. Like a lot of plays in game 1. And then here in game 2 too, he was a big part of their win. Chunking people out, getting picks. Yeah. For that, I have him as MVP. I'm curious to see if the CD broadcast agrees. Lower game. But yeah, I just felt like they were making sure they didn't throw games by accident more than anything else. Yeah, really well played. Yeah, tomorrow's games are going to be interesting. Like I said, Flamengo versus Los is the Flamengo versus Kaboom is the big one for me. Red Academy versus Los will be interesting too, because Red Academy yesterday actually looked pretty good. Yeah, teams have generally improved. And we haven't seen Los. Oh, well, we saw Los play against Stella, and that was actually really messy. Because Los game 1 won, but it looked like Stella was like playing brains off. Yeah, they gave it to Quats. Nice. I'm in agreement. Whereas like game 2, Los looked like they played brains off. So if Los plays the way they did in game 1 and game 2 against Stella, I think Red Academy could actually take that, which is interesting. So okay. That's it for today. I'm sorry, I'm very sleepy and tired right now. I don't know why. Well, I didn't sleep well last night, but I don't like the games today were a bit slower too, so I'm just really tired. Thanks for all of y'all who dropped by. Appreciate it. I know that we had a couple of lurkers today, more than usual, which yeah, welcome lurkers. Hope you enjoyed watching the CD games. I swear it's usually more action packed than today. Today was a little bit sterile, which is not terrible, but certainly not the fun that we're used to. Oh, there we go. There's the standings. Yeah, we're starting to see the standings shake out a lot. So there's Kaboom and Flamengo. That could split things out a bit further. And then Los and Red. Okay, so it doesn't really spread out the things too much, I guess. Yeah. Like that. Okay, but we'll leave tomorrow for tomorrow. I'll see y'all then. Peace. Have a good day. Bye.